They say the perfect intro song to a podcast doesn't exist, but they have not heard that song, Donnie.
Yeah, that's true.
I think I comment on it the start of every show. And I'm realizing too, like I'm a guest on your StreamYard account, so I can't see all the bits and the bops and the buttons and stuff. You can see me while that intro.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just vibing. I'm just like, I'm just loving it.
They're the best.
Good stuff.
They keep releasing new music. They release new music.
They don't have to. They release that one.
Yeah.
They're good.
What's up, Sean? It's been a minute.
Where the hell have you been?
Where have I been?
I know, right?
I'm not the one doing all this life stuff, globetrotting around the world and stuff. That'd be
man.
You. Not me.
That's been great. But it's thanks to you. It's your idea.
Oh, yeah?
The house party. We did a house party.
Yeah.
We had a house, sort of. We ended up doing the content sort of elsewhere, but kind of a house party.
Extra Life.
Extra Life was pretty good.
That's house party, I guess.
Yep. Well, because you had great conversations with the guy at the Airbnb about like internet speed and tell him what you're all about. We didn't get into that kind of detail. We could have, maybe we should have. Maybe that's next. We'll see.
Yeah. Could always go to like a hotel and like get like a ballroom.
That's what we did. We did that too.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, well, we had the Monday after it was all done. We had like a conference room, which was really funny because I think it was just last week. I was at work and we ended up at a hotel in one of those kind of ballroom kind of things, and it was very professional, like training day.
Hotel Wi-Fi. Now that I think about it, it's always like shit.
Yeah, it's not the best. Not the best. But I mean, honestly, you don't need fiber to set up like a pretty basic stream. You don't need the crazy
one. You're right.
Yeah, definitely.
We had visions of doing like multiples and like a lot of it, like around the clock. Like,
yeah. We recorded a podcast from the Airbnb. Like we did that. We had
that's cool.
We had like a mixer with 4 microphones. It was one of the
in person versus.
Oh, I liked it. What I like about it too, listening back, is like you can hear people who weren't right beside a microphone laughing, and it was like a live audience. Like it felt neat, and it was interesting because I was thinking about Married to the Games, who have done.
Makes me think of Gabe and them,
100%. Yeah, like, and I went back and listened to some of their Centennial episodes, and it's like, we got to do one of those too. That was pretty neat.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I miss Gabe. A lot.
You listened to the one that I went to, where
I did. Yeah, they were calling you out. I was just listening to that a little while ago.
I dominated our gaming section and our escape room.
Yeah. That's a long time ago, man.
It really is. Yeah.
Is that pre-PSVG?
No, PSVG
had
started. I recorded an episode from the hotel, and there were Married to the Game folks behind me, like in the window.
Oh, no way.
I don't know what episode it is, but like I remember, like, not that you could ever forget him, but I remember Brian Walden.
Oh yeah,
was there. He was one of the crew, and I was in the hotel, and I went to a little printer station that they had, and
nice.
Had like glass windows, so people
walked by. Business center,
like a radio booth. I'm sitting there on the show, and people are like knocking on the window and waving and stuff. Yeah.
No, I love that. I was thinking about doing that as well. I had I was on a work trip, and I thought, what if I just did set up a webcam on one of these business center computers and recorded the Xbox drive from there.
I have a travel mic. It's not as good as my actual mic, but it gets the job done.
What's your travel mic? What do you use for that?
I don't even know what this thing
He's
is
got it in
called.
his pocket.
Whatever this thing is.
Oh.
The Logi Orb, I think.
Oh, look at
maybe?
that.
It's like, see,
Yeah,
it's
kind of.
small.
Yeah.
See? It's
Nice.
not very big.
Yeah, but you can hold it. Like
Yeah.
that's.
Oh, yeah. It's very easy to like put on something or like throw in a bag. Sounds good. I do work stuff on it too. Like if I'm doing like webinars or recordings or something, I'll throw this in.
Oh, I should look at that. I had the old headset I used for the Xbox Drive for so many years. And
yeah.
I broke it. It got smushed traveling with it.
Didn't sound that great to begin with.
Damn, I thought it was okay. Tell me
I remember those old Xbox episodes. I'm like, man, can we get them an actual microphone? You should have picked an old school, like the old, like the news, like you just hold. You know, like
while driving.
Microphone. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. You drive with one hand. Yeah, I mean, come on.
Standard. I've always driven a standard.
You hold it like you can hold a microphone.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's mostly straight lines around here.
Is you build some sort of mic stand onto the steering wheel.
Oh my gosh, like a roll cage
drive
situation.
You just yell into it.
Why didn't I think of that? I totally should have done that.
It just impales you. Like it.
Oh, that's
your
why.
Love is what takes you out. Like
I have always, I did think about that often. Like, oh, at least he died doing what he loved, you know? Podcasting. Yeah. Who dies podcasting? How only we would find a way to do that.
That I might. No, I don't think so.
I don't like that you talk about your mortality and jokingly a little too much. I don't like this.
My wife too. She says the same thing.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It's very funny.
Take care of yourself. I don't enjoy this. You're like, whatever.
Nah, definitely not trying to do that.
I know you're not. God damn it.
My next door neighbor is like 90, and we do this back and forth. I think it's like his favorite thing. He's all like, by the time you reach him, like your age, you're gonna be here when I go. Like I'm not trying to be there.
You know how miserable you're gonna make it for the rest of us? Like, have you ever thought about that for a second?
Dude, here's the funny thing. I do like the dark comedy. Like it just makes me happy in my soul. But honestly, I've put a lot of thought into it, and it's like, man, like why stick around?
Because that's all you got. That's it.
Yeah. No. I'm not trying to be 85 and working.
Well, that's
I've got
fine.
Debts and bills to pay. I don't want, old, like diseases and cancer. Like I don't want to go out that way. Just like
what if you could go to Mars?
On to something and all.
We're just about to move. We're packing our bags. We're getting ready for another planet.
No, I probably would say no to that too. It's just no.
I'd say no to that. Why don't you? Look, if you're so eager about it, why don't you make that such an epic way to go? Like if you're gonna go early anyway, it's like go to Mars, go die on Mars, and be a legend. You'll be on like a plaque somewhere forever.
Nah.
Okay, well you won't be on a plaque, but still go die. I can't believe I'm telling you go die on Mars right now.
Go die. Just go die already, Donnie.
Don't. I mean, look, I've known you long enough that arguing with you on a position that you're pretty well settled on is pretty dumb.
I'm excited to talk to you tonight because there's something I want to talk to you about.
Okay. Do you want to like pin it? Do you want to get into it? Like, I had a feeling.
It's up to you, but like I was like, I've been. You're not really doing the threads thing, right? I don't see you much.
No.
Like I send things at you and I tag you and you never respond, so I'm just like,
sorry.
I don't think he's like actually there.
No.
I've just it's all fine. I've been having conversations with folks and I was like, I'd really like to hear his thoughts on the matter. It's Sean.
Oh.
And I'm wondering if my microphone is too low on my audio. How do I sound to you? How do I sound to anybody that's in the chat? How do I sound?
You might be a touch low. I'm nervous to say it because getting you popped up might be worse.
See, I've been turning everything down because for weeks I feel like on Shack and stuff I've been really loud and I've been.
Well, this is a nice evening. We're kind of chilled right now. You're not screaming at me. It's not like you got Dev or Delvin to be yelling at. We're just having an actual conversation.
Facts.
Yeah.
I want to know what you think about this whole everything's an Xbox.
I wasn't on the Xbox Drive this week, so I've missed it. Actually, this is perfect timing. It was Ellie's birthday yesterday, so I missed the Xbox Drive.
Because I don't like it.
Well, nobody does. I don't know that anybody does like it.
No,
does anybody like it?
Yeah, Daniel in our Our man D Life, he loves it. He's like,
Oh,
this is great.
yeah, sure. I feel like it's a little early for this. I feel like I don't know.
Because
I get what they're saying.
I have big like philosophical issues
Okay.
that I need somebody to like. I don't know. Like I double question myself even sometimes. I'm like, am I just spouting off for the sake of spouting off? Like, does any of this shit make sense? Because to me,
Well,
it feels like it's like right there, but like nobody's talking about it. Like even TPR is on our. He's like, Donnie, you're the only person I'm hearing say anything like that, and that makes me feel crazy or like I've lost the plot, like I've missed something.
like you're the only one complaining about it.
At least in the way that I am. I don't like this. So there was a point in time, probably during the Xbox Empire, where I kind of saw this writing on the wall, more multi-platform, right? More money. And I was like, yeah, this is great. Like console wars are stupid. Let's do this.
Yeah.
It seems to be like the general take that people have had.
Yep.
But my problem with it is I feel like it's an overcorrection. Now we've went too far to the other side.
Yeah.
Where now people are like, consoles don't matter. And it's like, I felt like maybe I was there. And then, you know how my brain works. We've talked long enough. Like I start to game this out. I start to map this out. I'm starting to do the math. And I'm like, wait a minute. No, that's, at least currently, given the current status quo, that's a real problem. You know, like Xbox is doing all this, like there won't be any ramifications, right? It started with it's just 4 games. And it's like, of course, it's not just 4 games. It's all the games.
Yeah.
All the games are going to come over. And they're doing it now. And they're like, we still have a bunch of console players. It's like, yeah, because there's not been an inflection point for people to choose the other side yet.
Yeah.
When that inflection point happens, I guarantee you not as many people are going to choose that side. It's just, they just won't. Like I can almost guarantee that to be a reality.
Yeah.
And now you live in a world where everything's an Xbox and you're not selling as many consoles because the console, quote unquote, isn't as important to you as it used to be.
Yeah.
The problem with that is that Game Pass is still very dependent and relies heavily on the console. So what does that mean for Game Pass?
Well, that's what they're trying to undo. Like I'm not trying to like defend this. I think a quick answer to that is
I wanted you here because I actually want somebody. I want somebody to be like, Donnie, you're just. I feel like almost like I'm encroaching in like conspiracy territory. I'm like,
I don't think so. No,
like...
you've done this many times before, and you end up being right more often than not. So I think we should explore this space with you. I can understand where Xbox is going with it. I think there's a lot of quietness about it. I think generally because like people don't care about Xbox right now. Like I think just generally, and I guess maybe that's the overarching kind of sentiment that is happening. I feel like we're finding it even with an Xbox podcast. It's like there's just not a lot of care there. And I guess maybe one question would be like, does this change that? And I think that's where you're going. Like, probably not. No. Like, does this change the sentiment that Xbox has? Probably not. I think a big question that I have, and I'm curious on your take on the timing on this. They're launching this everything is an Xbox in what, maybe 18 months until the next Xbox, maybe? Because I think we're going to hear about it in December. I'm pretty sure
that's soon. I was thinking E3, but I could see it.
Well, I remember like them talking about the next generation, and we would hear about it like next holiday. I thought that was I'm seeming to remember that being a thing. I think we're coming up on it, and I've wanted Xbox to detach themselves from the parallel launch with the PlayStation. Anytime it is PS4, Xbox One, PS5, Xbox Series, like get out of that. And I don't know if that's actually going to be good or not, but at the very least, it'll be different and interesting. Where maybe we have like a brand new thing that allows us to do something else.
I want them to differentiate.
Yes.
I don't think it's so much the timing, be different, do something else.
Doing something different at a different time, it's safer.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to, so I wrote a tweet that got a lot of comments, or I tweet a thread, whatever we call it. I don't know. I posted on Threads about this commercial. And I got a lot of feedback, and I was wanting, so can I read it to you?
Yeah.
All right. So it's Pure Xbox, and it's an article that says, how do you feel about the new Xbox world we're living in? And here's what I wrote. And it's 2 tweets, so it'll be a little long. So I wrote, I miss the Xbox brand proper. The Xbox that was obsessed with disrupting the console market. The only reason that they're doing this is because they have so little market share after all these years of bad decisions and game delays. Until they get Game Pass on other platforms that offer them more users, this will cap and hurt Game Pass as they inevitably lose players to other consoles. Unless they have something up their sleeve with the next console that can differentiate them from everyone else. While I worry about Game Pass in a future where they sell less hardware because, quote, everything is an Xbox, given the situation, this is the only move left. Microsoft Gaming, the Windows way, the Azure way, Sadia's way, would be to get as many and as much of their product in as many places as possible. They're third party now. They just also offer hardware should you choose to buy it. I'd rather buy hardware that gives me access to Xbox games and other games than just Xbox games. So let's get on with it. Day and date on everything.
There's a lot to unpack there. I think you're right about pretty much everything. I wonder about the day and date with everything, though. And you and I are 100% aligned on the next console. Like that's kind of the missing piece for me is like, what does it mean to now, like the Xbox? If everything's an Xbox, what is an actual Xbox?
Yeah, then what are you making? Why are you making one?
Right. Like it's,
we're making a handheld. Why? According to your commercial, we already have one.
Right. So it's the same Surface question.
And it's, I'm feeling like really nostalgic. Like I understand the market ramifications of where they are.
Yeah.
And I understand it would take billions to like get back in the game. But like, where is that Ballmer spirit? Where is that
big sweaty dancing man?
Do it. Like, where is that? We're soldering the wires before we go on stage. Where is that?
Well, that attitude,
Xbox.
I'll tell you where it is. That attitude is built from actual achievements. You get cocky because you're hot shit. And they haven't been hot shit in a long time. So it's a second guess decision after a second guess decision. It's a lot of doubt. And it's not there's no momentum built up here. That's why. Like Steve Ballmer was on top of the world because like Microsoft was they got so big and so monolithic. They got sued.
I think back to people who are like, well, they can't do that because they have to show growth and profits and they've got to pay back these deals and like we've all become like money forecasters and it's like
I know
what happened. Like they came to Steve Ballmer and like, look, we fucked up and all of our consoles are failing. And it's going to cost us hundreds of millions of dollars to fix it. And he was like, fix it.
Yeah.
Where's that?
Yeah.
Where's the fix it? You know what?
Well, it's 69 billion. One
Halo,
might argue Activision was fix it.
But did it? Has it moved the needle? They just released a Call of Duty on Game Pass. Has anything seemingly changed?
So, again, I think it's a good question. And I just want to pause because I'm always going to come across as an Xbox fanboy, whatever you want to call it. Who cares? The latest that I saw, and I never know what the hell to believe when it comes to Phil Spencer and what he's saying, what's true and what's not. Apparently, Xbox platform has more Call of Duty players than any other platform, whatever that means. So I guess from like a Microsoft metric, they're happy, right? But like, does that include they've
got to be doing some creative accounting. Like that's
right?
like the same thing. They're like, we have more console players than ever. It's like, no, you don't. Are you counting Xbox One and Series X? Are you counting PS4 players that log in and attach to a Xbox server? Do you count that too? Like, no. Like we all see what's happening.
And I'm with you.
It's not possible.
I'm with you. I guess maybe to calm the fire down a little bit is if that is truly what Microsoft is after and they're truly happy with those numbers, however creative the accounting is getting,
sure,
then we have nothing to worry about.
Then why not just be day and date? They're like, yeah, we're going to keep doing it. We're going to have this. Then why aren't you doing it? Why isn't Hellblade on PlayStation already? Like, then why the dance? Because like I'm getting like, is it like, are they just trying to figure out like just how many exclusives they need to have some justification for hardware?
I think it's a big decision. And actually, like in a way, like I'd almost rather them have started Game Pass, the day and date with Game Pass on Xbox games. I would have rather them start that way rather than coming out with a blanket statement that says every single Xbox game is going to be day and date. because it would have been easier for them, would have been safer for them, less risky to go. Some will be, and we'll see how that goes. But like things were so dire back then, they went everything. Sea of Thieves, Crackdown 3, State of Decay 2.
It's that unknown. It's that maybe. That's the thing that I think I hate most. Because I count myself among you. I count myself like I love Xbox and I love the company that they used to be. And it's like I feel like I'm partly too nostalgic to want that. Like it's a different time, different place, different market. But like I want that spirit. Like I want that we're gonna, infiltrate this business and change it for the better, because I think they have, and I think we've learned a lot of it.
But I guess, and I think you're spiraling. Like this is me saying you're spiraling.
Just being
normally I'm the one spiraling.
Party. They're just like we're just happy. Well, I want to read another one, so I'm not gonna read the person.
Well, let me counter something, but before you get to that one, Square Enix just said no more PlayStation exclusives. I feel like that can only be good for Xbox, right? And it actually has nothing to do with like first party stuff. Right. So this may be another one of those examples where Xbox is so ahead of the game. Like this is where like Sony will end up doing the exact same thing just because of the way the economics are working out that way. And so maybe in the end, this is where you spiral back again. Maybe there's no consoles ever and we end up just playing on mobile phones like we thought we were going to be in 2012 anyways.
So like lots of, and again, this is why.
And that's why everything's an Xbox.
There's lots of branching paths because
yeah.
The cloud people, the Stadia kids, they're like, the cloud is the future. The cloud is the answer. And it's like, dude, we've had Game Pass on cloud for years.
Yeah.
This isn't like a thing they just launched. It's been there and nobody cares. Not my words, Xbox's words. On trial, under oath. They were like, nobody uses it.
Yeah.
Like, I hate that they were like, oh, this is the future. Everybody will just do this. It's like, but then where are they?
Yeah.
Kids don't have consoles. They play phones. It's like, yeah, guess what they also don't do? They don't buy games. They don't want to subscribe to it. Like that can't be the answer.
I think that's a bigger panic point for me is Game Pass itself is more so. Like, I feel like Game Pass is just in a whole other place right now.
That's where the fear comes. Like I see this future where I play this out and it might be apocalyptic. I confess, but I see this future where less hardware means less Game Pass revenue, which means less games in a game, to the point where it slowly chokes itself out.
Yeah.
Where Xbox is like, this just isn't performing. We're going third party. There is no more game. And like, I see them almost like backing out. And it's like, to me,
they are backing out.
That's worst case scenario.
Yeah. They upped the price too early. I would say they needed
they just hit a tier that doesn't even have day one games.
I mean, we could get into the tiers. Like that's a whole other,
well, of course,
that's a whole other situation.
But I'm just, the day one thing was like that was like, okay, we have multi-platform games, but consoles have Game Pass and here they are, they're introduced. And they're like, nope, actually that's going to cost you more money. And we're actually going to try to shift people into this tier where we don't have to give them Call of Duty.
Right. Yeah. Because we'd rather sell it.
This whole sphere of where they are. It's like, I really, really dislike where we've gotten to in 18 months.
So is it because like you wanted Game Pass to be the way that you play games for the next however many years you plan on living?
Like, is that, that's why I wanted it. It's just like, I wanted it to realize its potential.
Yeah.
Because I believe in the mantra. I believe in the initiative.
Yeah.
Like it was there for the taking. There's a different universe where they land Starfield and Halo on time and like we're off and running. It takes off. Right. It feels, I think maybe the better said, it feels short-sighted to pull the plug. Like I realize 100%. It costs money, but it's like, but you're a trillion. Like I'm less worried about the shareholders at Microsoft.
100%.
Like, don't you have enough money? Like you guys talk about creating a positive impact on the world and people's lives and all that. Like gaming is a part of that. And it's a core initiative to your entire business. So it's like treat it as such. Like where's the Balmer? Like, you know what? No, we're going to double down on this. We're going to make it better. And if it costs $100 billion, that's okay because we're invested in it.
Well, and on that front,
feels like they're like, let's back out.
It's remember how like people used to make fun of Jeff Bezos in the early days of Amazon, going, your company doesn't make any money? Like, what do you mean it doesn't? It's not profitable. Like, how many years have you not been profitable? He's like, we're good. We're fine. Like this, like strange confidence. Future. Like, what do you know, dude?
Future.
100%.
Netflix
And
has
that's like
burned money for a decade because they saw where they
that's the
needed to be.
playbook. 100%. Yeah. It's like everybody wants to get in on the subscription, but they don't want to do any of the homework that those who really have the subscription services locked down. Like, man, even Disney Plus to a certain extent, like you got to get in there and it is stupid cheap. You know, like, and I don't know if Game Pass was ever really that. Maybe on a trial basis, the $1 and you get
So the thing I
whatever it
brought
was.
up to Daniel, he's talking about the mobile gamers and kids with their phones. I'm like, then where's the ad-supported Game Pass? Where's the cloud-only Game Pass tier?
Oh,
Where's
don't,
it's
don't,
so
don't do it.
stupid cheap. You have to have it so you can play on your phone tier of Game Pass. Why isn't that like if that's really where they are, then why aren't we there?
Yeah.
What's stopping us?
Oh, that was a move 10 years ago, honestly. Like 2014, Xbox One, Game Pass is $5. Like
So
EA Access was, or EA Play or whatever it was.
Two things. There are 2 points I want to make. I want to read this tweet in my response to
Okay.
it, and then I want to say one more thing, and then I want to get your thoughts. I'll shut up for a minute. This person responded back to me, which I appreciate. Really, really good dialogue. And he says, I could not disagree with you more. The strategy is a very smart play. Game Pass will grow organically across other platforms. The console market is stagnant, to which I replied, it needs platforms to be able to grow to. Like, that's the thing that this whole thing I don't understand. It's like cloud. It's like, yeah, it's been there. PC, it's been there. Game Pass isn't just stagnant on console.
Yeah.
It's stagnant. Game Pass is flat.
Yeah.
So what are we doing to reach more players, to find this growth that Phil Spencer keeps going on? Like, he's fixated on saying this thing about growth. It's like, well, what are you doing to find it? You haven't done anything. You're doing the same thing.
But Donnie, in their minds, this campaign is the answer to that very question.
Oh.
What have you done to make people go sign up for Game Pass on these other platforms? Well, they don't even know that it's there. So they need to say something like smack you across the face with it. This is an Xbox. And as Xbox fans, you go like, what are you guys doing? But as people who might be outside of Xbox, maybe like that's a weird balance when you have like a targeted audience and you got a key message for like this audience. Like, you got to smack them over the face with it. That's an Xbox. You can play Xbox games over there. But we'll find out if they actually want to. Like,
yeah,
what I love to see
I don't
is
think the demand is there.
play Call of Duty on this thing. Play whatever the hell game you want to.
Didn't we do that with the Fire TV stick?
Yeah. But again, I think it's like quarter baked. I wouldn't even say half baked, that partnership, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I do get it. And I do think cloud has potential to just organically grow, but like there's so little show for that after years of trying. It's like that's what we're putting our, like, you're risking this decades long business for that.
Yep.
For infinite mobile users. Like, hasn't so many come before and failed to do that? Like, to me, my thought is, where's the ad tier? Where's the cloud tier? Like, where are you targeting that customer? It can't be for $20 a month, because they're going to tell you to pump sand.
Yep.
And then the other thing is, then you either have to, okay, for Game Pass to succeed in the current status quo, like, and I'm not thinking today, I'm thinking 2 years from now, 3 years from now, the next inflection point for hardware. Xbox has a console, PlayStation console, Nintendo has a console. Customers have a choice to make. When we get to that point and people are like, what do I play? What do I buy? I think it's really, really hard to make a case for Xbox when you can play all those games on other things.
Yeah.
And the thing that I hate about that is that people will hear that and go, you're being a console warrior. And it's like, there's a difference between like console warring and like toxicity and like wanting what's best for the platform. Because the point that I'm making isn't that they need to make the Xbox experience better. The point that I'm making is that if you're going to lessen the need of the Xbox console in their business, in the Game Pass, then you have to replace that loss with something else.
Yeah.
So why aren't we getting Game Pass on PlayStation or Nintendo or having a cloud tier on mobile? Like, you have to, how are you replacing that loss? Because it's going to happen. They keep putting more games on PlayStation. When the PlayStation 6 comes around, people are going to switch. Like, that's a reality. Like, we've seen that decade after decade. Like, I think there's like,
so play it out. So then who cares? Like, so what if 20 million copies of Halo sell on PlayStation?
Right. Is that make up, like, so what does that do for Game Pass?
Maybe it's not who cares about game. Maybe it's just like for Xbox, for Microsoft.
That hurts because I care about Game Pass. So that's where I am. Like, I'm feeling I'm feeling really down on the whole thing because I really love Game Pass, and it's like I
But
kind
do
of
you
feel
think
like
that
I'm
still?
like,
Do you think that
this
kills game?
sucks.
Why does that kill Game Pass? If
Because
20
it
million
relies on the hardware. So there's fewer game. Like, are they going to sell 70 million copies of Halo on? Like, I hope so.
I think they could. Yep. But then at the same, like, I think they get both. I don't know. I don't know if it's a zero sum game here. I think it's both.
Okay.
I think you get
So
Halo.
you're thinking the software
sold?
revenue on a different thing makes up for the loss of hardware.
No, I think you'll sell game. Like, I think you'll end up wanting. You want Game Pass on other platforms. Isn't that what you're saying? You want Game Pass?
I'm not saying I want it. I'm saying if you're going to make up for the loss of hardware because everything is an Xbox, then that would be one way to do it. Get Game Pass on another platform, so you can reach more players. Because here's the thing: I know that if you put Game Pass on PlayStation, people subscribe. You know why I know that? Because those people play games and they already pay for subscriptions.
Yeah,
that's the difference between mobile.
Yeah,
like those people already do it. So why aren't we trying to do that?
I'm torn on the. Like, do I want Game Pass in perpetuity kind of thing? Like that, I'm really stuck on that. I don't know if I want Game Pass forever. It's like this, like, it's like a water bill kind of thing. And I'm not sure, but like the benefit that I'm experiencing right now is I'm playing Call of Duty and I didn't buy it. Like, I feel like we're not even talking about that very much.
Yeah.
You know,
I
Call of
haven't
Duty
really
is it's a massive game and I didn't pay for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's me talking out of both sides of my mouth. And I realize that.
No. That's not you talking. That's you being honest.
Yeah, but like I get it is me talking about both sides of my mouth because I'm saying I'm not sure that I need Game Pass, but at the same time, I love the fact that I didn't actually buy Starfield and I didn't buy Call of Duty. You know, I
would have loved to have bought Hellblade, but they didn't give me the option.
What do you mean?
I'm just my place to make a case about not having a physical copy.
Oh, a physical
copy or a controller,
that's
literally
anything
piece. Worth buying.
Yeah.
Besides a digital code that I have for Game Pass.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I'm not gonna buy a digital copy of the game that's in Game Pass. But I would have bought a disc. And
I mean, Game Pass does this. Game Pass allows us to play games on day one, and if you ever want to own it, you can just wait until later when it goes on sale like crazy. Like there is a world where Game Pass is good and it's important.
I disagree with Kevin, 100%. Kevin says, if anybody that's not in the chat, not watching live, Kevin says PlayStation Plus subscribers won't pay for Game Pass because it's one or the other. No, Call of Duty moves that needle a lot. Like, if Game Pass was available on PlayStation, a lot of people would sign up. I'm not telling you all of them would. I'm not even telling you most would, but people would.
Yeah,
like that's actual growth.
Yeah,
you actually would have people that would either buy both or switch or whatever.
Yeah,
like it would happen. That's.
I mean, this gets back into my whole like. I don't think they do a good job of selling Game Pass. Period. I think they do an absolutely shitty job of it, of being completely in your face all the time. What's in it? I think they rely on tweets and they rely on content creators. I've said this 1,000 times before. I think they do a brutal job of giving you it's a no-brainer to have Game Pass. You know what I mean? Like it's just
we've talked about this for years.
Yeah. What is interesting, Yarden brings up Avowed in the chat. Avowed is it actually confused me a little bit. Avowed is being like advertised or promoted within Battle.net on PC. Yeah. That's cool. I think that's really interesting. You've got this whole like Activision Blizzard thing going on. You got Warcraft, Diablo, and Call of Duty in this app, and all of a sudden Avowed shows up. Like that's kind of fascinating to me. That's what I was saying to you 1,000 times before about like the whole purchase of the users within Battle.net and Activision and World of Warcraft, things like that. Like, okay, now you've got this whole audience who wasn't listening to you before. You get to put Avowed, which was Obsidian. I was talking to, I think it was Nagachaka earlier today. I'm like, who the hell even made that? That's not Activision or Blizzard. Like, how does this?
Right.
It's like, oh yeah, this whole family thing starts to happen here. So I think that's interesting. And I now play that, like, you know, you spiral on the negative, but spiral on that one a little bit. Like, what else shows up all of a sudden? Yeah.
Okay.
Because Battle.net is great. I think a lot of people like Battle.net. I think people look at the Xbox app and go, this is shit. You know?
I think the Xbox app's gotten a lot better.
It's getting there. And I think that's where a lot of people are waiting on them. Like, make an improvement on that PC app. Why can't I feel like I can't see screenshots on my Xbox app. I could do it on my phone app, but like screenshots I've saved, I feel like I don't know where they are.
It's not a unit. That's the other thing. They're like, this is an Xbox. It's like, but it's not.
Right.
the Game Pass app on your phone is not an Xbox. You know why? Because I bought games on my Xbox that I can't play there.
Yeah,
So it's not an Xbox. Like, how does that work?
that's the other
I
thing.
can't I can't play NCAA football on my Xbox app.
Do you think that'll help? People are that's supposed to be coming pretty soon.
I
But if you
do.
own a game digitally and you can play it anywhere, like
Yeah, I
feel
do
like
think
that's
it
kind
would
of a
help.
missing
It
puzzle
would make
piece.
more sense to unify this experience. But I still don't know how you do without alienating some pocket. But I mean, I guess that's just like that's business. Like you just got to crack some eggs sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just generally where I've been of late. Not even like I've been here for a moment.
Yeah.
And this commercial, this campaign, like really put the screws in. And I was like, oh, this is really going to happen then, isn't it? Because I
Yeah.
was like this. I've been this way somewhat since they announced the multi-platform strategy. Since they were like Grounded and Pentiment, I was like, guys, this is a major deal. Like I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, this is huge. Like,
Yeah.
how are you? It felt like the whole industry was dismissing it. I was like, God, no, this is massive.
Are you like, would you not buy an Xbox, the next Xbox?
At this today, I honestly don't understand the
Like,
argument
no.
you can make to do so.
Mm.
Why would I? Why would anybody? Like literally, so there's two answers to that question. There's my answer, like my personal use case. Then there's like me trying to make the argument for anyone like John Doe.
Yeah.
Why would somebody choose that over alternatives?
Yeah.
Because to
Well,
me,
Game
in my
Pass is part of
head,
it.
it's the least viable of the alternative. Like of the options, I would rank it at the bottom. Doesn't mean you can't have it at all,
Yeah.
but like it would be my least recommended.
Okay, so you play that out. You don't buy an Xbox. Do you still subscribe to Game Pass?
If you want to, if you're on a PC, sure.
I mean, like you.
Me, I mean,
Donnie.
okay. So like, let's not
Yeah.
talk about hypothetical. Let's talk about Donnie.
Yeah.
I have Game Pass until whenever it runs out because I talk about a lot.
Yeah.
At this point in time, right now, I'm not planning on renewing my Game Pass at all. Like it'll run out whenever it runs out, and then that's it. And that's coming off of a year where I feel like I've played less Game Pass than ever.
Yeah.
The only thing that I've played and loved and played through the completion completely 100% through Game Pass has been Hellblade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everything else I tried, I dabbled with, played it somewhere else, or haven't really finished or haven't stuck with it. Or, and honestly, this is the answer, been more preoccupied by playing other games that I'm actually buying. Like I'm buying too many games to keep up with the games that are coming on Game Pass. And that's the difference between this year and last year. Where last year I played a bunch of Game Pass games because I felt like we had like bigger windows where like I needed something to play. This year, I felt like I've had so many like day one purchases that I wanted to play that I don't have time for Game Pass because I just bought this game and that's taking my attention.
Mm-hmm. And that's probably what I think they're seeing that a lot. I think that's the whole thing. Is they're seeing people just still buying games.
So that's and I think that's really kind of driving this is like I see it.
Yeah.
There seem to be backing away from Game Pass, lessening the importance of Game Pass, lessening the commitment.
There's no
to Game
doubt.
Pass,
yeah.
Right. So that's where I just keep coming back to. Then why even make hardware? Why not let the PlayStation be the Xbox? Why not make that commercial? PS5. This is an Xbox. That's the like. Why do it?
I think part of it is they get a much bigger like slice of every Call of Duty that's sold when they own the ecosystem. Like there's definitely like an owning the digital store that's a pretty important part of the equation.
Yeah, the store it is. Even if, and this is the point I've always been making, even if like they sell hardware and it only sells to 50 million people, that's still 50 million people buying games at 30% that they don't have to like. That's not nothing. I agree with you there.
Yeah,
like you could just say that like we're happy to be in dead last. Like
totally,
it doesn't matter because it's valuable. Mm-hmm. I think that might be the answer. Like that's the simplest answer. They're like, yeah, we like money. It's the same reason why they didn't turn off Xbox Live when they should have.
Totally.
Like, nah, we like that. We're gonna keep that cash.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, like you got really excited about this. Maybe the last one. Like, what if the next Xbox does let you run Steam or Epic Games stores, or like, what if it really like opens it up like that? Like, that's what I think in my head. That's what I think different. Yeah.
You take the Steam Deck approach to a hardware, you apply that in the Xbox sphere, and I don't think that's a way of like getting over. Like I don't think you're gonna win back massive market share, but I do think it creates a niche,
Yeah.
that you can sell to, and it differentiates you from the competition.
Mm-hmm.
And I would probably be interested in that, but then I'm back in the same boat. Honestly, the same boat that you're in. I already have that.
Mm.
That's where I am with Xbox. Like, but I already have that now.
Yeah.
So now what? Like, am I just buying it just because? Because I already have one.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not there yet, but I'm not sure I can defend it all that well in terms of like I probably buy the next Xbox.
You're there. You just like having the Xbox play on the Xbox, but you're
Well,
there.
and it's like my library is going to keep me there as well. Like
Sure.
that's where all my games are.
But
But
all of your
PC is like right there, dude.
Coming to the app and everything's an
PC's
Xbox.
yeah.
See, that's the thing. It's like I have the PC right here.
Yeah.
If you're bringing all the games, I can play everything, and it's all like, then why have hardware? For
Well,
me,
the hardware is a third of the price as a PC.
sure.
That's always that's always an element. But I mean, you're not wrong. Like, and this is an argument that
It's the same thing with the handheld. They're like, we're making a handheld. It's like, yeah, I got it. I got it. I've got the Xbox handheld. Like, I have it.
Yeah.
This is an Xbox, according to Xbox. Like,
I mean, this is where they'll have to eat some shit on that. If it's a handheld, like they've got to win you over somehow. And I think price has probably got to be part of that. It's got to be cheaper than some of these other things.
If it was affordable,
yeah,
that would definitely like raise the, because at that point, the more affordable it gets, you get my interest just because I'm a connoisseur of this.
Totally. Yeah.
I'm just like, new tech, cool. But if they're like, here's an $800 console, I'm like, yeah, you go fuck yourself. Like,
totally.
It's like, I'm not interested in that at all.
100%. Yeah. No, and they're in no position to launch something like that. It's not like they've got all the games everybody wants to play. It's not like they're PlayStation and they'll launch they launched a Pro and everybody's buying the Pro.
If you're making a Windows box, like if we're going back to like the original idea of Xbox, you're bringing DirectX to the living room and you're making a PC that plugs into your TV, then you do have the PlayStation games. The PlayStation games that come to Steam.
Yeah.
Right. And all the other games that come, like, it literally solves your exclusive problem. And then I don't mind that space that Xbox is in, because then at least their messaging can be the same. They're like, yeah, we don't really care if you're buying it on our store, Steam store, like, we don't, whatever, do whatever you want to do. Like, it'd be great if Phil was like, buy wherever it's cheaper. Like, I don't know, but at least it's something to say. But yeah, I feel like they're just going to trot out another console, Sean. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to be like, this is
they need some sort of tech, like the thing that allowed back compact games to run at 4K and like up-res and all these things. Like they need something like that. Tim in the chat brings up, it doesn't have to be cheaper if they were to do a handheld.
And that's why I said, if they're coming out with an $800, like, I have no interest in that, because I have those. I've beaten them to that punch.
That might actually prove the whole point that they really don't care what you buy, so long as they're seeing uptick in whatever ecosystem is showing up on a ROG Ally or a Steam Deck or anything like that, or a phone or Fire Stick. I don't know. It is tough to be everything to all people, man. Like, everything's an Xbox. It's really difficult to just go, yeah, we're everywhere. Like, that's not a message that's targeted at all, and it's really difficult for people to understand that. Yeah.
And gamers have grown up conditioned to feel special.
Yeah. I don't know.
Apple Arcade doesn't let you buy like half the games in Apple Arcade. You have to subscribe to them.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even buy them on the phone, like on the hardware you're playing. You can't even buy the game. They have exclusives to the sub. Like exclusives aren't like toxic by the default.
Yeah,
it's a play to appeal to their like most loyal supporters.
That is a shame. I
was one of them, and you're one of them, and I feel like all that's gone.
Yeah, no exclusives is a bummer. I think, like, and I know it's not a popular thing to say. It's like, well, you want less people to play. It's like, no, I just want people to play it where it is.
I want people to value the experience that Xbox is selling.
Yeah.
I want Xbox to value the experience they're selling, not telling you, oh, it doesn't matter. You can literally experience it on your toaster, on anything you fucking want to with an internet signal. You can, like, no, then why make hardware? Like, I would love the Washington Post, Rolling Stone. Why didn't they feel everything's Xbox? Then why are you making one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be a good question.
Then. Why are you making one? Why are you keep saying we're making a new console? Why?
Yeah,
we already have them.
Yeah, what's it going to do? Yeah,
what's it going to do? Like, that's the thing. It's like, what's the special part of this? What can you do that nobody else can.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, like to me, like nothing changes. I continue to play on my Xbox. I continue to
What's
have Game
stopping
Pass.
anybody else from making an Xbox then?
Maybe that's what they want.
Oh man, you go like full blown Steam machine.
Well,
That's
full
now I
blown
feel like I'm a conspiracy
IBM.
theory.
Everything runs
Well,
Windows.
yeah, but like, why not Dell make an Xbox or Lenovo?
wasn't that what is it, the 3DO, like the Panasonic
Yeah.
3D, like everything? Everybody made one of those.
Yeah,
That'd be interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
Philips. I don't
Philips
remember.
3D. It was Philips CDI, or maybe it was the CDI that everybody got to make.
Trip Hawkins.
It's like a Blu-ray player kind of thing.
Yeah, Panasonic. The Panasonic 3DO.
Yeah, I feel like there's a platform or
Manufactured by Sanyo.
hell yeah,
I have
Sanyo.
I
That
have a
worked out for
Sanyo.
everyone.
I have a Sanyo CRT VHS combo
Hell yeah,
sitting in the
yeah.
closet.
Sanyo. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just that's where my head's been. Like with all this buzz about this commercial, and it's been very divisive.
Yeah.
And honestly, I didn't really want to talk to anybody about it but you, because I'm talking.
I don't know if I'm
Discord.
coming through for you. I'm not going to be as
You-
catastrophic about it because I'm kind of like
No, and that's
whatever.
why I wanted to talk to you about it. But I'm talking to people in my Discord, I'm talking to people on Threads, and it's like, yeah, I mean, especially Daniel, but even everybody, they're like, you're really out there, and I'm like, why is nobody else? It's like, why does nobody else see how dependent like they're all like, it's all about Game Pass and services. I'm like, but the service is tied to the hardware.
But what if
Like,
like but that's what
literally,
they're
they
trying to undo.
coexist.
But that's what
I
they're
know,
trying to
that's
undo.
the
But
point
and you're
I'm
saying
trying
it's
to
not
make.
going to work.
It's like they're killing it. You don't like you're saying it's what's best for Game Pass, and I'm trying to tell y'all they're killing Game Pass. Like this is killing it.
Mm.
This is hurting it. Less consoles sold.
That's
is
the
not
most
good
concise
for
way
Game
you've put it, and I disagree. That's what
Okay.
I think I disagree on that. I don't
Okay.
think this kills Game Pass.
Do you
I don't
think-
understand why.
So the to reiterate, I'm thinking in the future years to come, with a less emphasis on hardware, in the current situation where Game Pass is stuck to the hardware, right? You've got PC and cloud.
No, but you can't
primarily
keep
it's-
that being part of the situation. Like that's
then
exactly
what
what
else
they're
you gonna
trying to
do?
But that's what they're trying to undo is that the
How?
only place by saying everything's an Xbox.
Okay, then okay. Well then,
And that you
So I
can get
guess-
Game Pass on everything.
I guess the answer is, when do these 10 million phone Game Pass subscribers show up?
Good question,
you
but
think
they
they
haven't
will? Like, do
they
you believe they will?
haven't done a push like this. I guess maybe this is where we'll
Okay.
get into it. I don't think they've done a good I said it before. I don't think they've done a good job talking about Game Pass, and I don't think they do a good job when they say it's like it's on a Fire TV stick. I think they've done a shitty job of that.
Yeah,
This
I
is
agree with you
in
there.
plain language. You play Game Pass on this thing. They could go a step further to say, because I actually don't think Xbox holds a lot of brand value. I guess is part of the problem here. This is where you play Call of Duty with Game Pass. Like they're saying this is an Xbox. Maybe this is step one of just like
I got you. Yeah.
brainwashing everybody.
I'm willing. I'm open to being proven wrong that like Game Pass actually does show growth, and I guess that would be Phil's answer. He'd be like, "We're going to get them on cloud." I'm like, "Great,
Yeah.
how?"
Yeah.
Marketing.
Well, they're doing it. Like I
Like,
said,
your
I'm
point,
not
marketing
going
is
back
one.
all the way on this. They're early because you can't. It's not an Xbox. You can't play your games library.
and I'm
over
just
there.
really pessimistic that it's going to happen at all.
Oh, you think really?
Yeah, I don't think people want to play Call of Duty like proper on their phone. I think the people that want to play Call of Duty on their phone play Warzone. I think they already do that.
Probably, but they get that money too now. I
I don't
guess.
think people want to play Hellblade on a phone.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know.
think people are going to want to play Avowed on a phone.
It's
you know
one of
why?
those things.
'Cause I
Like
don't
you
think the
get, you
people that-
understand why they're doing it.
I don't think the people that play games on phones think about that or those games at all.
Mm-hmm.
They think about phone games. They play phone games.
Yeah. Well, this is them trying to salvage and save the future of the games as we know it. Like this is the fight against mobile taking over with all the games you just talked about.
But it seems like
Fortnite
they're
on
going
your phone-
towards the mobile.
No, but you're saying
Like, they
that
talk
people
about-
don't play
he
those
talked about
types.
he talked about wanting to buy more mobile devs
Yeah.
and reach more mobile players. So, like, I don't think this is the fight against mobile. I think this is Xbox opening their arms to me that maybe we should be more like mobile.
Well, that was the King thing. Like they bought. People
Right.
forget they bought King, so that's
Right.
part of it.
That's a huge
Um,
part of it.
Well, and
They're talking
we're
about
saying
launching their
slightly
mobile
different things.
store.
I'm not saying that they're trying to destroy mobile games as we know it. But they're still trying to find a home for the games that we play and know and love. Because the home for that is it's like it's like the polar bear on the iceberg that's melting all around it. It's like he's running out of room.
So put them on Switch and PlayStation day and date. That's the point I keep like. That's not the point I keep making, because that's the wrong way. It's not like I'm saying to like. That's where I keep landing. I read all these I'm like, then why aren't you doing the obvious? Sell the games to the people that buy and play those style of games where they buy and play those games.
Because they only get 30% over there.
Okay. No, they get 70. The other ones get 30%. Nintendo and PlayStation get the rightful 30% because they've made the ecosystem. But you can still sell the game.
Okay.
Just like they sell Call of Duty, and like they're going to do Doom. Then why aren't we doing it with Then do it. If it's about making the money, or else these games would go away.
Yeah,
then
let's
make some money. Then what the fuck are we doing? Let's make some money. Why are we?
Well, you got the timed exclusive for Indiana Jones.
That's the whole thing. Why even make it timed exclusive? Why is that time exclusive versus that's not? It's like, do you want to be Xbox or do you want to be Activision? Because you say you're Xbox, but you're acting like Activision. Like, be Activision. If it's about making money and then let's be Activision. Let's make some fucking money. Why even make a hard console? Why not let the PlayStation and the Switch be your console? Let the PC be your PC. Let the phone be your phone. Like, let's light this candle. Like, if you're gonna do it, let's do it. But they're like, but we still want to keep our little ecosystem too, and we'll play with this game and we'll play with that game, and it's the unknown and the lack of commitment. Not even the commitment. It's the lack of. I don't have a good understanding as a customer of what to expect from this thing you're offering me to buy. That's the reason that I get so, I don't want to say upset or just, I don't know, disgruntled, frustrated. That's why I'm frustrated, because it's like, what am I getting? You're like, if next console comes around, Donnie, going to buy it. It's like, what am I buying? What am I buying? Am I buying exclusives? For how long? How many? Game Pass for how long? Could anybody answer? If you're a brand new customer, it's like, what am I getting from you? What are you selling to me? I know what the other two are selling. They've made that abundantly clear.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. I just like it on Xbox. Like, that's where I'm at. But
I do too.
But I know that's not a good answer to give to somebody else who has like viable options somewhere else.
I love the controller, and like I'm there. It's a preference for me, but not
100%. Me too.
Of playing less games and having less options and less. I keep saying commitment. I don't feel like that's the right word.
Yeah.
Having just more confidence in what I'm buying into. That lack of I can't confidently tell you. Xbox is like, here's our brand new console. I can't tell you what that experience is going to be.
I have a really good answer for you on like why does Xbox still need to make their own consoles, and they need to still have their own stake in their future. When I think about PlayStation, and this is going to be whatever, people can say whatever they want, but they just wrote off $400 and some odd million in Concord that didn't really work out. And they've got a bunch of this stuff in the work. They paid how many billions for
half of it though
for Bungie? Well, so I mean, again, this is gonna sound catastrophic. I don't mean to just like pull this out of my butt or whatever, but like, what if all of a sudden PlayStation decides, or Sony decides PlayStation's not a good business model for them, and then all of a sudden Xbox is like, we've got this $69 billion publisher that we just bought that doesn't have anywhere for games because PlayStation's dead. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's also assuming that PlayStation will be around forever, but they don't have the Sony doesn't have the backing to keep PlayStation around forever. They're doing well now.
I think that's a pretty good assumption. I think PlayStation will be here for a long time. But having a piece of your own destiny
hang on. No. Have you read what the hell they're saying about PlayStation over there?
Yeah.
Like, Hiroki Totoki's like, we got to rethink how we do business. Like, this is not going well.
They want to make more money than they're currently making. But like, that's
fast forward six to 7 months.
It's being a bit alarming. They're still making a lot of money, and it's a healthy business.
For now,
they made some bad bets, but that's I think that's very short term. You're missing like the past 20
but
years.
If I spent $69 billion,
they're not going to close the thing up because they made 4% instead of 6% over 2 years out of the
I don't know, man. I read the tea leaves on this one, and like studios are getting shut down. Like, if you listen to anybody talk about video games, like the whole thing's going to explode in like 3 weeks.
Well,
Like,
yeah. So no,
we're
I
on
think the
borrowed
point that
time.
you make, I think the point that you make is Xbox is reaching for growth to justify these experiences that they make that aren't paying off. Right.
Yeah.
Starfield, Bethesda, Activision, although I think Activision pays off. Hellblade, South of Midnight, the smaller things that probably
Yeah.
don't pay off. And I always thought Game Pass was that.
Yeah.
Right? These all things individually don't pay off, but if you throw them all together in service, you sell that and you grow it enough, it all pays for each other. And I
Yeah.
still believe that. I actually still believe that would be happening if they were driving fucking people to the console and the Game Pass. They're not. Guess why they're not? Because they're putting shit everywhere and everything's an Xbox. But it's a whole other thing. But again, the point was if the financials are like, this isn't feasible anymore and we have to make more money, then the answer is, then let's make some more money. And it's almost like they're like, yeah, but we'll do Indiana Jones, but like a little bit later, it's like, then you're leaving money on the table. You just said it was about money. So why isn't it about money?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. It's like yeah, it's the Notebook. Tell me what you want.
I wonder if it's just a matter of time to develop it for PlayStation. Like maybe they would, but they hadn't been building it for that. And
Yeah,
maybe they just
so, but I mean, they couldn't have done it in 6 months. Like, right? Like the port would have, like, they've been doing it the whole time. I think a lot of these developers that they bought would like to ship day and date on PlayStation. They've openly said it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like, and a lot of them do.
Yeah.
Like Doom is day and date, and Call of Duty's day and date, and Minecraft's day and date. So it's like, then why isn't everything day? Then let's get on with it.
Well,
If
maybe
it's
they
about
will.
making money, but it's you know, because it's not about growing a market. It's not about earning market share.
Yeah.
So if it's not, then like, what are we doing? I agree.
So would that
with
make you
I don't-
happy if
I
Indiana
don't-
Jones was day and date on PlayStation?
I would understand it more.
Okay.
I don't know if it would make. I don't know if happy is the best way of saying it, but I would understand it. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
understand it if they were like, look, what we're doing now with the market share we have just doesn't pay the bills. So for us to keep going and to keep making these games that you like and to keep making Game Pass, then we're going to do this and day and
Yeah.
date. That I can understand. That's the part that's missing. I
Yeah.
don't understand what the goal is.
Hmm.
What is the goal? Are we trying to sell consoles? Are we trying to sell subscriptions? Are we trying to make money? What's the goal? If they're
Yeah.
like, yes, like to what?
Growth.
Okay, then let's grow. You know, like that's what I'm saying. Like, then let's grow. Then
Yeah.
where's like you're like, we're gonna reach people in cloud. Not at $25 a month, you're fucking not.
Yeah.
Where's the cloud mobile? Where's the mobile only version?
Mm-hmm.
Where's
Yeah.
that?
Yep.
You know, it's like,
That's
then let's
That's
grow.
the best point. Mm-hmm.
You know,
100%.
that's where I'm at. It's like I just don't understand. I'm
Yeah.
not bought in. Maybe that's just it. Maybe it's just a personal. I'm not bought in
Yeah.
to what they're currently selling.
Well, they still sell an Xbox and they still put games on that. So, like, again, I'm
And I'm
good.
totally happy and have always been by just having, like, they can have a hardware.
Yeah.
They can just have hardware. They just be like, hey, we just want to have an option out there.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy it.
I will start
I
getting
wouldn't
so
buy it, but like I'm happy to have it.
yeah. I'll get a little upset if like the way I'm experiencing my Xbox starts to change. But like everything that they're adding, I don't see it changing how I play
You don't see
games
it
on my
lessening.
Xbox.
You see it additive.
I
I
don't
think that's better than it's not changing. It's just additive to what you're doing.
it's irrelevant
Okay.
to me, actually. Like like again, like if all of a sudden I started up my Xbox and it's like, you can't play here, go start up your phone and go do something over there. It's like, okay, now you're pissing me off. But it doesn't change anything for me. Like I'll
got
play like no matter whether if they did day and date Indiana Jones on PlayStation as well, I would still play it on my Xbox because I like
funny-
my like it doesn't change anything for me one way or another.
The funny
As
thing
a
is,
like sort of like quote unquote like armchair quarterback, I'm as confused as you are as to why do it this way. Don't understand that. But as far as like playing it, like I fired up just the same. And none of this has I have a PS5 in the house and I still look at it and go, I can't believe how huge it is. And none of this makes me go like I probably should play on that now. Like we can talk about it for however long and I'm happy to, but none of it changes my behavior.
Does that change when more consequential games start showing up for PlayStation? Because they're
No, not even a little bit.
Okay, I think. Well, for me, I think the answer is yes.
If Avowed showed up on PlayStation, I'm still playing my Xbox.
Here's this day and date on PlayStation, then I am wondering. I'm like, then what? Why do I have that box? Because that's what I bought that box for. Like I can play it on my PC, and that's what I've been doing. And honestly, I was just about to tell you a minute ago. I honestly just think this is me coming with the ramifications that I've almost like fully just switched
a
over
PC
to
player.
the PC
Yeah.
And it's really hard to justify
Guess
the
what?
other things.
That's an Xbox too, Donnie.
I know. And
So it's
that's it.
okay.
Hey, my shit's green, dude. It's fucking green. Okay. I put an Xbox sticker on it.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm with you. And I
Mhm.
feel like that's really where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
I'm having a harder and harder time justifying Xbox because of the PC, where I don't with like the Switch.
Right. Yeah.
And that's
I
it.
mean, and Nintendo does its own thing,
And that's
God bless
it.
them.
Like, you know, people are like, hey, when the next console comes out, you're gonna get an Xbox. It's like, I really need you to give me
already
a good
have
reason
one.
to spend $400 or $500. Why?
You already have one.
Correct.
It's a PC.
Well, apparently.
So you made their point.
Yeah.
So it's fine. So that's okay. You know, have Game Pass on there as well.
It just doesn't feel as good.
Yeah, we don't like change.
That's true.
The handheld, I would
feel
like it to
I am
be
nostalgic. Like I'm missing it. Just, and I get it. I understand that like everybody's, and it's proven like they lost. I get that part. It's like, but man, I really
Yeah.
wish they were still like willing to fight.
100%.
You know, it's like, but just fucking like just try.
Yeah,
Like we can't. It costs a lot of money. I'm like, aren't you worth like $4 trillion?
I
Like,
know. Like that, the money thing,
answer
it's
can't
never
be the
made any sense to
answer.
me. It's the
It's like,
closing
don't you
studios.
make your own money? You're
Oh,
fucking
I
Daddy
hate it.
Warbucks over here.
I
What the
know.
fuck are you talking about?
I hate it. I've never understood it. Like, and feels like, oh, the business is healthier than it's ever been. You know, like I don't look. We're just podcasters. We don't know
Doesn't
what
seem like it.
numbers they're looking at and what makes for a healthy business and what
I
makes
think
for
it's
like who
creative
knows.
Counting. They're counting all the console players. They're counting everybody that touches an Xbox game on console. If you
Yeah.
get Minecraft on your Switch and you log into Xbox Live, they're like console player. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that realization, that's why I feel like, and I'm sure you've heard this. It was in the articles. If you notice the gentle step back from Xbox into Microsoft gaming, it kind of keeps getting dropped here and there.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's just, I think that the sad part, like my depression, and I'm not like depressed over it, but like there's just a part of me that is it feels like the spirit of Xbox, the Xbox that we grew up.
Oh yeah, it
with.
was underground,
Like
man. It
it's
was
gone.
scrappy. It was the rebel.
Right.
Like it
And
had a
it's like
hard
it's
drive
gone.
in it.
It's
Yeah.
dead, right? Like it's dead.
Yeah.
It feels
Yeah.
dead. It feels dead to me. Does it not feel dead to you?
It feels like I
want
mean
somebody to come in and be like, "Fuck it, we're gonna take the fight to these guys." You know, they're like, "Nah, we're all happy. We're all good here." It's like, oh, okay.
yeah, it's definitely missing like that aggressive. I mean, the Xbox was like, you know, child of the 90s kind of thing. That X was so extreme and that
Of course, but I'm thinking of the folks that were like, let's go get, and not again, I want to be clear, not that I would expect them to do this today, but like on a smaller scale, but like, where's the folks that's like, let's go find Halo.
Yeah.
Let's go get Grand Theft Auto.
Yep.
Let's go fucking move the needle. Like, you know, like that doesn't seem there.
Because it's a giant swing. That's a huge, you know, that's Concord risk, you know, which is terrible. I hate it. I hate that that's what that really is. How do you come up with the next big thing without being like Epic acts like that, actually? Like what you're saying? Like that's
I feel like
Epic
all
is the
this-
new Xbox.
Oh, I was going to say Valve, but I think you're right.
Well, Valve is, I mean, they're both super interesting.
Like the whole Steam Deck just has that Xbox energy. It
Yeah.
just does. They saw a market. They were like, we can capitalize on this. Let's build something. Let's build something and make it different. Let's penetrate
Yeah.
what everybody thought. Let's penetrate the status
Oh,
quo.
I wanted to talk to you about this handheld PC business and what Xbox might be able to do here. It needs its own identity for sure. Which one was that? A Game Gear you just showed me? What the hell was that?
It is as big as a Game Gear. This is the ROG Ally.
Oh, it's a black one. Ooh.
This is the ROG Ally X. I'm not sure if you've listened or caught, but I upgraded several sometimes.
Yes.
I went from the OG ROG Ally to the ROG Ally X.
Well, the OG one is super on sale, and I have a
Absolutely.
strong feeling, we'll say, that I might be getting one.
You might be getting one soon.
We'll
It's
see.
very exciting.
We'll see. Yeah.
This was a floor model that was discounted.
Oh, hell
and
yeah, man.
And
Get
at
it.
the time, I don't remember why. I got some sort of kickback. Something happened. I don't recall. I don't remember. I had
Yeah.
like $450 of like free money.
Nice. Love
Like
it.
I got something refunded or something, and I
Thanks,
wanted to like
Biden.
make the most of it.
Yeah.
And I ended up going with an upgrade. So I sold
That's
the one
green,
and
though.
updated this one. and I got the. Oh, I mean, I can do better. That's just the login screen. If I actually log into this damn thing.
It's 120 hertz, or what is that one? The X?
Yeah, 120 hertz. So the X. Do you not know that? Have you not seen the X at all? Is this new to you?
Barely.
So the X.
I almost don't want to know about it because I'm not getting an X.
When I don't
I'm
mean
getting the
to-
other one.
Yeah, I definitely don't mean to. I don't want to persuade you at all.
I'm instantly
forgot.
obsolete.
Did you know it can do this? I can
does
Last
it
of
do?
Us my damn login. Did you hear
What?
that? Yeah. Hang on, I'll do it again. I forgot that this show is like whatever we want it to be, and it doesn't have to be all scripted.
Definitely. I was actually thinking about like at one point we're gonna just be like looking some shit up on Wikipedia or something.
Oh yeah.
I was also listening to us a couple of years ago. You and I did like the Game Awards. We were gonna fix
Have
the
we been
Game Awards.
doing
We had a
this
lengthy
this long?
conversation about that. And I will say I sounded lighter. I wanted to just call that out. I sounded like almost happier.
Oh, I was like,
Like
you
it-
can hear. I was thinking you meant like weight.
No, oh yeah, that
It's
too.
like,
I
what?
mean, I was definitely. Well, I don't know. 2 years ago, I was probably
There you
heavier.
go,
2
there's
years
the
ago, I was
screen.
probably not as healthy.
Oh,
But I
dude. No,
sounded.
I have a matte screen protector.
Yes,
to remove
I
some
would do the same
gloss.
thing.
Okay, so I want you to watch this. So these are the fun things you can do. I'm gonna hit Armory Crate,
Yep.
which is like their little launcher, right? And I'm gonna open up Steam. Well, I said I was, and then I went the wrong damn direction.
That thing looks comfortable too. Like it looks much more comfortable than a
I'm
Steam
gonna open
Deck.
up Steam, and I want you to see what happens when you launch Steam.
Okay. It looks like Windows. Steam is blinking.
What is it? Is it updating?
On the bottom of the taskbar there.
Watch it pop up now that I took it and looked at it. Because I just closed it, so it may have. Damn it.
What in the world?
Steam. Okay, so like you know what the Steam Deck looks like, right?
Yep.
And do you know about Steam Big Picture Mode? Right? I understand
Yes.
your PC, you've got
Yep.
okay. So Big Picture Mode is like Steam OS, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have it set to where on the Ally, when you open up Steam, it opens into Big Picture Mode, which basically just turns your Ally into a Steam Deck. It's the same
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
You can set custom load up screens, and they have Last of Us shit that they just added.
I love
They
that.
added like God of War. They're always adding like why and like, there's none of those are Xbox, but there's no Xbox Steam anything. But PlayStation's got a bunch of shit on there. Like so do a lot of other games. Elden Ring. There's a bunch of other games in there. So I was like, I found this out about a month ago, and I was like, why didn't anybody tell me I could Last of Us my fucking Ally?
Yeah.
Like where was that blog post journalism?
Mm-hmm.
But it's super fun.
I was talking to you about that thing earlier today, and I was asking you if you had a dock, and you're like, no, navigation would be a little bit tricky. And I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have thought of that. Like you're totally
Yeah.
right. Because I'm thinking,
If you dock it to
Switch.
the TV and you like go sit down,
yeah,
you're very limited what you can do. But then I remembered you can use your Xbox controller as a mouse and a keyboard, or like a mouse,
Sure.
just a mouse.
yeah, which is
You-
fine.
If
you know, 'cause-
hold, I think you have to hold the Xbox button, and then like the right stick, you can move around and then use the trigger.
Oh,
So, like,
okay. Yeah.
If you wanted to, you could. I would get a mouse and keyboard with like a little trackpad in it. I would do something.
Right. Yeah. If
Like, I'm not doing
Xbox
that.
had one, I would want them to, I guess it'd be like a big picture mode kind of situation. Like, how do they make the UI doable for a dock
Absolutely.
situation? Right.
That's what I want them to do in the console. I just don't really think they're going to. I think they're going to make a console.
I know, like, because like Nintendo saw, like the Switch is perfect. You know, like in so many ways, it's just wonderful as a
It
console.
really is. Like
you know?
we take it for granted. Even the Steam Deck and the Ally, like the Steam Deck can put games to sleep. The Ally can. It doesn't wake up nearly as good. But
Yeah.
the idea that you could dock into another display
Yeah.
and it just work,
Mhm.
and you not have to adjust anything or to
Yeah,
like
you don't have to be a
literally
computer
just-
dork for it.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
scales inside. You just take it. It's analog. It's manual. Like they nailed it.
That's how
absolutely
Xbox
crushed it.
must do this. If they're going to make one of these things, that's what they have to solve for. Like these are for PC enthusiasts. If Xbox is going to have a handheld, they've got to be closer to, I'm not saying do a Switch, but they've got to be closer to Switch as far as like UI.
See,
and
I'm the opposite. I think they need to make Xbox needs to make Steam OS for Xbox.
That's what
the
I
issue.
guess that's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah.
They need to make Steam OS for Xbox OS and
Yep.
literally roll it out to PCs their handheld and their console.
100%.
And their console needs to be a PC.
Yep.
And let other PC manufacturers make consoles if they want.
Yep. That's
and
really
like
it.
it literally is the OS, and they're like, hey, if you want to click on Xbox mode, and boom, your PC is an Xbox. And I mean is an Xbox.
Yeah.
There's a library, UI, navigation, the whole fucking thing.
Yep.
Xbox Live. And then there's like a little tile that says desktop mode. And you click on desktop mode, and now you can go to fucking Steam and Epic and do whatever the hell else you want to do. I think that would be the missing link in the mystery that I keep trying to solve.
Yeah, because I wouldn't I don't have a Steam Deck or a ROG Ally yet, but I get the sense that it's not all the way there yet. A lot of people love it. People who own it, they really like it, but it's not all the way. You know what I mean?
If you're willing to embrace Linux.
Well, that's kind of what I mean.
There's a couple there's a couple concepts there.
Mm-hmm.
If all you're doing is playing Steam, the Steam Deck is it. Like they nailed it. It's done. Like it's good to go.
Yeah.
There are people actually putting Steam OS via Bazite on ROG Allies, just turning them into Steam Decks, like more powerful Steam Decks. And the Steam Deck can do most of the PC things. You just have to jump into Linux and download stuff to make it happen. Which
I know that. That's not what I'm saying.
You don't want to do that. I know.
Yeah.
We want this for Windows. What Steam has done for Linux, we want Xbox to do the same thing for Windows. I'm with you.
Or iPad.
Yeah.
Like iPad is just so stupidly intuitive.
Because then the commercial everything is an Xbox makes a whole lot more fucking sense.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're just early on this. They're like, R&D is at one point and marketing is like, we're ready. We made the ads. We have the JPEGs.
The commercial.
Yeah. We're ready to go. And they're
who's
like,
that guy that I don't really use Twitter anymore, but who's that? There is like the Xbox marketing guy who was on Twitter.
Aaron Greenberg?
No, not like the voice, but like the guy that's like making like the memes and
like Clobriel or whatever, the Conquer.
No, he actually works for the company. Like he's the one that did like, you remember the Xbox leaked in the middle of the night, and then they did like the eyes GIF.
Oh,
like they were doing that.
Is it
like
Brad Simons? Is that what his name was?
I don't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Whoever.
Oh, I see. The social media guy. It's Stein.
Yeah, it's like they're like, I think that's him. They're like, no, we made the commercial. It's like, no, we don't. We're not ready yet.
No. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It's like they've done it. They're like, we've got the blog post, we made the images, we've got the commercial, we're ready to go. It's like,
but fire it out there.
Nothing else is ready to go yet, though.
Right before Black Friday. That's the timing of it's a little bit weird. Everything's an Xbox, so don't buy one next week when everybody's buying everything.
Even think about that. You're absolutely right.
That might be the most damning part about it all. Can you just wait? You're just about to sell a record number. Like, this is when you sell the most, is Black Friday in December.
They're like, you don't need one.
You don't need one. Yeah, that is the worst part about it.
I'm waiting for like the other folks to like counter that commercial. This is a
PlayStation. Oh, I know. Like where's PlayStation when they go like, this is a PlayStation
console, an exclusive game, and just like pound you over the head with it.
Oh, it's they like, really I didn't even think of that. They totally opened themselves up for this is how you share games moment.
100% they did.
Game Awards, what if PlayStation shows up and goes like, this is a PlayStation. This is it. And this is and it's a Pro or like whatever.
Most powerful console, best they ran a sale on the Slim. The Slim's like $360. Most affordable console, best game. They have like a big Metacritic splash page, exclusive games, big splash, and just hit you over the head with all the reasons why this isn't an Xbox, and just fucking shutter that whole fucking campaign.
Yeah, could be fun. Could be it. It'd be the old Coke and Pepsi going back and forth with each other.
And don't.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm excited to probably get this.
I'm excited for you to have it. I have a bunch of knowledge to depart.
Oh?
All about the so like, I think people go one of two ways, and I'm not worried about you because you're a PC guy, and I think you're going to be just
fine.
But I've got a few folks that have gotten into these, and they're like, "Oh my god, I cannot understand like the Ally interface."
Oh,
the ROG Ally has Armory Crate that layers on top of it, and it essentially just lets you do everything with a controller.
Mm-hmm.
You can launch different programs, you can launch different games. I awake my computer, and it does that.
I love that.
And it does take a minute to get used to, but I'm not going to lie to you, having gotten used to it, kind of love it. And it's like
slick.
I look at it and I'm like, this is what Xbox, like this is the missing. That's what I meant. Xbox OS. This is what's missing. They're missing 100%. The launcher.
Yeah.
And I love it. I've talked to people about it, and people are like, yeah, but like Steam had to do a lot, and it's a lot of where I'm like, this is literally what they do.
Yeah.
They should be able to go over to Windows and grab 6 people and be like, I need you to build an overlay on top of all this shit. You know, like it's
Yeah.
a compatibility layer.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of shortcuts. So like I've never been a back pedal guy. I think we've had this conversation.
Back
Elite
paddle?
controllers, back
Yeah.
paddles and controllers. All the back pedals that I've ever have, I've always used them to like take screenshots and like I don't actually use them.
Yeah.
On this though, the ROG Ally, the back paddles have so many shortcut and macro commands.
Yeah.
And you can customize your own. I use them all
Yeah.
the time.
Yep.
I use them to switch apps. I use them to go back to the desktop. I use them to close things. I use them to take screenshots. I use them for the Xbox button because there is no
Yep.
Xbox button on it, but you can have an Xbox button. So I'm happy to not that you can't find that out yourself. You can look it up, but I use it a lot, and I do think it actively aids in the use of it.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you're down to learn that, like people talk about, when I say people, detractors of the Ally talk about the Ally like, oh God, using Windows on a handheld is a nightmare. I literally zip around and scream around Windows like it's no problem.
Yeah.
I'm like, I really don't understand what all the fuss is about. Like I'm unzipping file, like I've set up entire emulation station literally without a mouse, like on the actual console itself, because it depends on how much you're willing to learn, I guess. Because
I feel like I'd want to dock it. I'd probably
adapted
be with them, but I would dock it to where my PC is and have keyboard and mouse like plugged into it
I
and
did that
everything.
the first time when I first got it to set up emulators, just because like the file explorer and stuff feels small, like on the screen itself. So when I first started setting up emulation, I docked it, used mouse and keyboard.
Yep.
And then once I got used to it, like when I got the Ally X, I did my entire emulation setup without them. I just did it on the thing. I was like, no, I got this. I know where everything is. I know how to do all the things. I know how to maximize, switch to Windows. Piece of cake.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm excited, man. I'm trying to think, like, because there's a lot of
I can't see. Says I see Sam's Club has the ROG Ally for $379. If that's the non-extreme, it'd be hard to recommend that one.
So I think that's where it's at now in Canada as well, but in Canadian dollars. I think it's $5.99 Canadian.
If it's the extreme model, you're good. If it's when you say the base model, if you mean like the base, that's pretty.
Let me see what the hell this thing is. I've seen it. I probably wouldn't have even I've heard you talk about it. Everybody really likes it.
There's the ROG Ally, then there's the ROG Ally Z1 Extreme, then there's the ROG Ally X.
Amazon wants to make sure I'm not a robot. What the? Why can't I just log into Amazon? Get out of here, Amazon. I'll use my phone for God's sakes. I sent you a picture of it as well, of the Amazon.
Let me open it.
Let me see if it says there. Let's see.
I didn't even look when you said it.
No, because it was just the price. It doesn't say.
Regular
price was $849.
Yeah, that's got to be the Z1.
Down to $4.99.
There's no way that the non one costs that much. I can't see one thing that I can say. If you're actually looking at one of those base ones, yeah, it's not going to run a lot of AAA games because it doesn't have that extreme chip. But one thing I can say about this, and Sean, this Xbox conversation that we've had for an hour might actually play forward here. I've never ever enjoyed cloud streaming half as much as I do on this handheld.
Oh, yes.
Like you gotta do it, because and I don't know why. I'm not smart enough to understand why, but it's VRR and the high refresh rate makes streaming feel 1,000 times better.
I get it.
I don't know why, but it is. It just is.
Yeah, it smooths everything out. Why wouldn't that be better?
I've tried clouds. Oh, I posted this on Reddit, and somebody was like, why would that even make a difference? The stream is in 60. And I was like, I don't know why. I can't tell you why. Here's what I can tell you. I have tried cloud gaming on no less than 100 fucking machines. Yeah. Every Chromebook I've ever had, every PC I have, my phone, my Razer tablet, my iPad, like I've tried it on so many things. And it's always felt like, yeah, this works, but I would never actually play a game like this. That's how I've always kind of explained the experience. And I have legit played entire chapters, half of games, pretty much full game, just cloud streaming on the Ally.
This will kill my Nintendo Switch playing. Like indie games, not happening on Switch.
I get it. I've moved a lot of my indie games away from Switch.
Like I have Dead Cells on Switch, and it's like, oh, why did I do that? It is the AMD Z1 Extreme processor, 512 gigabytes.
You need the Extreme.
Yeah, well, that's what this is, and I don't want to say why I think it's happening. It feels
Yeah, don't.
shitty, but you know why.
I know. I loved it. I loved it while I had it, and I'm sure you're already aware. There's only one downside to that entire model, and it's battery life.
Yeah.
The battery life on it's really poor.
Well, I don't know if I have enough time to play games for long enough for it to.
And if you
that
don't,
to
you're
be,
good to go.
that
I was
might not
good to
be an
go for a
issue.
long time. I eventually did invest in a portable battery.
Yeah.
Portable battery helped a lot. I'm not sure if you already have one, if you already carry one, but like if you're going on a plane or something, like if you're going somewhere where you expect to play it for a while, then a good portable battery, like a good power bank would
Yeah.
go a
I need
long
to get a
way.
good one. I've got a couple decent ones, but they've definitely
'Cause I
gotten
would
better
play-
over time.
I would play like PS2 or GameCube games on it, just emulation,
Yeah.
and get like 90 minutes of battery life. It's just not a lot.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
not right.
and
That's
you
not
get
good.
less if you're doing like you play like Doom on it.
What if I
like
put a
the
couple
actual-
AA batteries in there? Maybe some
Yeah,
C batteries.
That'd be nice. That's
Maybe some-
and honestly the biggest reason why I upgraded to it doubles the battery life.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
It's
Oh,
got
don't
like
tell me
8 gigs
that.
more RAM in it to it. Like it does other stuff,
Yeah.
but it's really the battery life on this thing. Like I played GTA today for 3 or 4 hours, and I still have I think 50% of the battery still there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'll find out what kind of issue that's going to be. I will say, when I've seen it like in store and I've kind of like played around with it a little bit, like the screen captivates me. Like, I don't know what they've
It's
done. Like,
very good.
it's so smooth. I know you've talked
Yep.
about like becoming addicted to screens at 120 or
this.
144. Like, I get it, man.
I can't not do it anymore. Like I need a
I
refresh
get it.
screen.
I've been
stopped
thinking
using
about
my
like,
iPad. I'm like, this is shit.
I can't wait to just like pop it open and just be like you said, like just fiddling with it. Like,
You
'cause it's
also, the other thing I would tell you to do is you have to open up the AMD software, whatever it's called, and turn up the saturation on the screen like an uptick.
oh yeah, just let it.
Because by
bleed.
default, it's a little flat. You just
Okay.
not all the way, not even
Oh, okay.
not even just a 5%, just a smidge to the right, and
Yeah.
then damn thing will pop like you saw my screenshot. You
Oh.
remember those ones I did last
Yep.
year of like Prince of Persia and shit, and everybody's like, "Is that an OLED?"
Yeah.
It can look like that. It just doesn't out of the box for whatever
Like
reason.
God of War is on
Probably
Steam,
battery.
and I can play
Yeah.
it there. So
Yeah,
why do I
new
need
one.
a PlayStation, Donnie, if I can just play PlayStation games on PC on my
'Cause it
ROG
takes
Ally?
4 years.
Oh my God, who gives a shit?
I mean, for me,
Because I'll do it.
I need it for Astrobot. Like I have one answer to why I have mine.
Yeah,
Like, that's the only reason.
that's. I've never
But
been
no,
there. I've never been
Astrobot's
like a
pretty great,
one
though.
game. I
Like,
don't
like Astrobot's pretty
I'm
amazing
such a
though. Like
hater. I can't-
don't hate
good.
it. Astrobot's fucking awesome. You played it?
I don't.
It's
Yeah,
really
I don't.
good.
I dude. I don't. I. I always get in trouble whenever Astrobot comes up. I couldn't care less about Astrobot. I think it's the lamest mascot,
Jeff.
dude. Oh my God.
Oh, that's a shame.
What a sterile piece of shit that
Oh,
Astrobot is.
no, it gives Mario a run for its money.
Oh, whatever.
It's
Get
the best non-Mario game ever. for
if you
sure.
say so.
Not,
Yeah,
no,
well,
not-
Mario's
not if I say
cool.
so, without question.
Yeah.
Like
I
there's
know
no
that's what a lot
other-
of people say.
Yeah,
Don't-
no, like,
don't
there's
care.
no. Yeah, there's nobody else that's come for the crown quite like.
What a cool, shiny, sheen, nothing character. Who cares? It's
If you played it with a different take, if you actually played it, the nostalgia that the game has, you would be like, "Where is Xbox's version of this?"
no, because I think that's cheap. I think the nostalgia play is cheap, and I don't like that.
Maybe that's why you and I let's maybe like assume the role of the guru
Yeah.
on all Nintendo things. I have to push back on these things because no, it's not you. Hey man, I fucking love my little Switch too. So like, I'm fucking actively playing it. So
Yeah, I don't know. I'm always like, I'm overly sensitive to things
speaking
like
of
that,
games
and
you can get somewhere
or
else.
games that are designed to make you cry, and I'm like, eh.
I'm playing Horizon. You can't get into focus. I'm playing Horizon on Switch.
Yarden
Lego
in the chat says
Horizon.
I still can't get over how quickly Ryan kicked Xbox to the curb after his Xbox Drive tenure was over. Same.
I miss Ryan. I miss Ryan so much.
I know. Well, he's on the PlayStation Drive. You can
I'm
go
not
listen to
listening
that.
I'm not listening to that. Fuck would I listen
Damn.
to that?
I don't know. For Ryan, you said you miss Ryan. He's
I do
over
miss
there.
Ryan, but no, I miss my Ryan, not his Ryan.
Listen to the RPG Cave. That's a show for you. It's not a show for you. Do you know that about the RPG Cave? You know about the RPG
I'm
Cave.
aware that it exists somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of like that actually happens, but yeah, I have a basic awareness that it's somewhere, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan,
he's
just know that I miss you. I miss Donnie's version of Ryan, not
Hmm.
Ryan's version of Ryan.
What does that even mean? It's
I
the
like
version
you
of
on
Ryan
my-
that puts
I
up with
like you
my
on my
garbage every
terms.
week. Yeah. He's putting up with my nonsense, man.
I do love my little Zelda Light though. I've been addicted to this thing ever since I've got it. It's changed my not just the whole thing because I've been on this boomerang has been coming back around Switch's way for a while now. But
Yeah.
like the Zelda Light like fucking kicked it into gear.
Ooh.
Like I have been playing on this thing a bunch.
Yeah?
Tons of games. Yeah.
Don't tell the kids, but they're getting Switch Lights for Christmas. And that's
Zelda
gonna be-
ones?
No, just Facebook Marketplace ones.
The gold, man. It's the gold. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, but dude, we got 2 of them for $200
Oh, I
Canadian
know,
with
I know, yeah.
4
like, Switch
games.
Lights
Like
are cheap, yeah.
they're so cheap. One guy's like got like a terabyte SD card in there, man. Like it's been pretty good.
I've been hoarding games for like Switch 2.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna grab this on the cheap and grab
Like,
that on
that's
the
what
cheap.
we're
'cause
in
it'll
for.
be better later.
2025. I'm gonna have a baby
2
and a
hype,
new
dude.
Switch. Best year ever, man.
Switch 2 hype. Switch 2 fucking hype.
Switch 2.
And- oh, no. So you're getting the baby and the Switch 2. I need the Switch 2 and my 64.
Hell
I'm, like,
yeah.
fucking
Oh, your
set
analog 64?
on my analog
cannot
64, and I'm
wait.
so fucking set.
You need to start a podcast. You need to start an
the
analog
US
64 podcast.
I need the US to fucking hang on until the analog 64.
You'll be
drops,
fine. Everything's
and
gonna
then
be
it can
fine.
fucking go to hell.
You guys just calm down. Everything's gonna be all right.
You say so.
It's,
You see the people he's fucking appointing?
no, I don't care.
The guy he just put in charge of the health department, Sean, thinks everything is a conspiracy. He wants to like get rid of vaccines.
Dude, I'm just up here in Canada
He
living
says
my
it like
life.
makes kids gay and gives them autism. It's
He
not a
does not.
joke.
Is he
He
really?
does. That's a
He
real
says
thing.
vaccines make people gay.
I think it's definitely the autism. I think the gay thing. I may have been ad libbing there. I don't really follow him that much.
Well, that's why I'm laughing. I'm like, I think Donnie's on a run here. Like a limited run Donnie pod. I feel like that would rejuvenate the Donnie podcast. Little whatever's going on.
Oh, I'm so
You're
fucking
gassed.
up. I'm
You're
so
gassed.
fucking hyped for the 64. I've been buying games, buying controllers. Like I am ready.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm very excited for that.
I wish I was. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong with me, Donnie. I want to be there with you. Like I want to buy that thing and play WrestleMania 2000.
Yes.
You know, like
Do you
that's
know
what
that they
I'm.
make ROM hacks of wrestling? You can buy brand new 64 wrestling games
Yeah.
with brand new characters, stories, and everything. You can buy them right now. People
I
are
don't know what's
selling them.
stopping me from doing that because that sounds
what I'm
genuinely like
doing.
the best thing in the planet.
Okay, so to bring this back to some of our other private conversations, you recently reached out to me about our game of the year shows and like our schedules
Yeah.
and all that, and I told you that I don't know if I felt like the best guest this year because more so this year than ever, I feel really kind of I feel kind of disassociated from like the gaming like hamster wheel, like the game of the year game.
Yeah,
like,
well, you'll fit in perfect with carpool stuff.
because like I'm way more excited for my analog 3D than I am for like anything else.
That's how
exactly.
we
Like,
do
I'm
it.
not doing anything. Like I'm like that. Like I see the like I know the contenders that will inevitably be announced. You know, on Monday for the game of the year, and I don't know if I've played any of them. Honestly,
Good.
Like any of them, like any
Good.
of them at all.
Who cares?
I just feel like I mean I like that spirit. I like that who cares spirit, but it just feels ill informed, like ill equipped
yes,
to like
come to
you know,
us,
'cause I'm
Donnie.
just like,
Yes.
you know.
One of us. What? Dude, last year on our Game of the Year episode, Kato and Lachlan talked about Disney's Dreamlight Valley drama for
Oh, that's good
25
stuff
minutes.
then. Maybe that's where I need to be because I'm like, I guess this is where gaming is, but that's not where Donnie is. Like,
Yep.
I'm not doing that shit at all.
Hell yeah. No, I'm with you. Like, okay, so what do you expect to like be the
Dude.
no-brainers to show up?
Ryan says analog 3D.
I know,
Oh,
you
man,
guys
I'm
should-
so bored. You're on
You guys
board.
should do something together.
Oh, I can't wait. I was playing my 64 this week. I was playing Diddy Kong. Played Ready to Rumble boxing. Like
Oh,
I love my 64. Like
I know
so
you do.
much.
Like, this is your moment.
It really is. Like this is so much. Like when this thing was announced, I was like, "Oh my!" Like I honestly, here's the funny thing: I bought it. Don't even know what it is. We've yet to see that thing run a game. There's no
Yeah.
video anywhere.
It'll be
of
great.
anybody being like, "This is what it is." I'm like, I don't know, but
Yep.
but I want it.
Yep. Dude, that price point they nailed the price
They
point.
really did. Yeah, it was a
On
no
that.
brainer. If it was like
even
$249.
$299 would have been a little like, I'm telling you, like they really like slotted it in there.
I think
$250.
$399 would have been the like. I would have been like, I need to see it first.
Yeah, but no, then now you're talking like modern console pricing.
No, I know, but the thing that's
And like
held me
you
off-
would have got it.
the thing that's held me off on buying a modded 64, an HDMI 64, an Ultra 64 for the years was the price.
Yeah.
I've wanted one. I've wanted one forever. They're like $600.
The Pocket.
No. There's an Ultra 64.
Oh, the
like,
other one. Oh, yeah.
chip
Yeah.
that you can put in a 64 and you can HDMI and upscales and everything. Like I have I think it's a Super 64 is what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, let me look it up.
Sorry, I was reading chat for a second and started
No,
thinking
you're
about
good.
the Pocket.
Yeah, it's called the Eon Super 64. Do you know what that is?
No,
So I have this. This is how much I love my 64.
I can imagine what it is.
I bought an adapter that plugs into the back of your 64 and it makes
Oh,
it
yeah.
connect to HDMI and it upscales and smooths out the picture.
Yes.
I paid like $200 for one of those fucking things.
That's wild.
Just for that.
Yeah.
So like when they were like, here's the whole I was like, absolutely, take my money. Can I buy
Analog
two?
their hardware is excellent. It's so good. Like I feel like that also
Oh.
allows you to just buy it pretty willy nilly. You just
have
can
some
trust it.
confidence that what they're going to do is going to nail it. They wouldn't
100%.
be selling it if they weren't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have my eye on that Pocket, man. If this ROG Ally comes
People
through,
love the Pocket.
you don't love the Pocket?
No, people love like
I
everybody
know.
everybody like people say things about analog, about them like controlling demand and pre-orders and stuff, but the people that actually buy their shit and touch them,
Yeah.
people are like, this is the best.
I mean,
Like people that have
they
a
have
Pocket,
that
are
right
like, this
to
is the
do
greatest Game Boy ever.
that. Yeah.
So
I'm
I hope
kinda
that's what
there.
we have with the 64.
I got one of those, like you showed it to me and I bought it, or I asked for it for my birthday a couple of years ago. That RGX35, that XX35 thing. The
Yes. Yeah,
the
the little
made in
Game Boy
China.
one. Yeah.
It doesn't work anymore. Something like, I guess the SD
What?
card, I guess it's a common thing. The SD card died on it. I should just get a legitimate micro SD and I can put
Yeah.
the whole like OS on there and
Well, I could send you
it's
like
fixable.
I could dump my SD file into like a Google Drive and you could just download it.
I will take you up on that. Yes,
Yeah,
please.
because ours still works. Jack plays it all the time.
That would be great. And that would at least tide me over in the meantime. But I might just start, putting some money away and maybe make one of these purchases. I wanted the colors when they had those analog
Yeah.
Pocket, like the
I think there's a lot of people on the 64 side. They're waiting for colors.
oh
They want
my
it, but they want the
gosh.
color editions. They want the clears.
Yeah.
the-
I mean, yeah.
They want
Both.
the fantastic ones.
They had the solid colors and the trend. Everybody, that age.
I mean,
loves
I've got crystal blue.
yeah.
That's my 64 that I have now with matching
Mm.
controllers. And this is since Ryan's here, because I know he's just got EverDrive. I've got EverDrive. I thought about getting another EverDrive. Ryan,
Yeah.
I went so fucking bananas when this thing happened. I have the Ice Blue 64 with 4 matching Ice Blue controllers and 4 matching retro Brawler 64 controllers. I have the classic and the other ones just for vibes. And when this thing came out, because it's black, I didn't
Yeah.
buy the black controller because I didn't.
We should
want the
get
black
Ryan in
controller.
here. Get Ryan in
What I
here. To
did-
send
What
Ryan
I
a link.
did is I bought 4 classic gray retro 64 controllers because that's what I want, the black console with the original retro gray 64 look.
Hell yeah.
I'm like, that's the fucking look. Like that's what we're going for. I bought the whole damn thing. Like I was like, I don't need one. Jack was like, why have 4? We've never played. I was like, because there's 4 ports, damn it. We're gonna have a controller for every
Hey,
port.
what do you mean, why? Get the hell out of here. What are you talking
But,
about?
I'm so
It's
you've hit-
infectious,
you've-
man. It's very
you've hit a nerve,
contagious.
'cause I'm
you
like,
got, you got
I haven't
me.
felt this way about gaming in a minute. Like it's been a bit, and it's like I am way down that rabbit hole. Like I can't wait for that thing to happen.
Yeah, let's get Ryan up in here, man. I love it.
Ryan
dude.
wants
This is
to, message
this is
me. I'll send you
awesome.
the link.
Yeah, let's have a little. Not for the rest of it though, Ryan. Like, don't
I don't know if
overstay
he
your
wants
welcome.
to, but
Like for 4 minutes,
I don't want to bully him into it. But if he wants to, I'm here. Like message me. I'll pop you the link.
Oh my god, dude, that is so
Um,
great.
I bought games. I'm buying ROM hacks.
Where are
I
you
bought,
buying
like,
games from? You're saying
I
you're
bought,
buying
I bought
like
like 7
cartridges?
64 games this month.
Where are you going to like
Yeah.
Lukey Games or something like that? Like where are you
It's
getting it
either
from?
I'm buying from AliExpress
Okay,
or Etsy.
Etsy. Weird.
So there is a flourishing like ROM hack scene for 64
yeah,
where people take these ROM hacks. You can download for free. If you have a flash card, you can put them on there, and that's cool.
yeah.
But they make physical 64 cartridges
Oh, I
out of
love
it.
it.
And it's like, I want that.
Yeah.
To me, it's like I have an EverDrive if I need to. If like I'm just
Yes.
jonesing to get into like some Batman on 64 or something, I've got that.
Yeah.
But there's a part of me that's like, no, it's something I really want to play. Man, I want to put the cartridge in. I want to
Hell
blow
yeah.
it and stick the damn thing and flip the switch.
Mhm.
You know, so like I'm buying cartridges.
This is why you need to stick around for a little while. You want to have many, many years of this, Donnie. This is why you got to.
I've so here's the things you can do on 64. One, there's a lot of fan translations. So like for example, Animal Crossing first released on 64 in Japan only.
That's wild.
They
Yeah.
translated it into English, and I now have
Yeah.
Animal Crossing on cartridge for 64.
Yeah.
They're bringing other games you can run in emulators. I have
Yeah.
Pokemon Gold and Yellow and Red for Nintendo 64. And guess what?
What?
They're in yellow, red, and gold cartridges like on Game Boy. They
Amazing.
look
You-
amazing.
Look at you. Look at
And
you.
I was like, I'm fucking absolutely do want to play Pokemon Gold and 64. You're damn right I do.
And these are from
Like-
Etsy. You're getting these?
Do you want to see them? I'm gonna go grab one, show it to you.
Kind of. Yeah.
Okay.
Go get one. Ryan has not taken us up on the offer to join the show. I don't imagine he's messaged Donnie and Donnie just walked away from his computer. I've not seen anything in my DMs. I'm checking. The Xbox Drive chat is going. I don't know what you guys are talking about over here. I think Fiona changed her profile banner, I guess. And there's some gift chat going on over there. I'm just yammering on as Donnie brings up. What is that? You got like a whole, like a
This is
brief.
my
It's like you went to
box of 64
Blockbuster and rented a 64. You got a whole
This is my box of
briefcase.
64 games.
Oh, snap. Okay, yeah, let's go through. Okay, this is my favorite segment of any show. You go to the shelf and you grab stuff off of it, and then we look at it, and then we talk about it. That's what I'm here for, man. Hell yeah.
I'm just grabbing like what's on top, but here's what
Yep.
I got so far.
Yep.
Pokemon Gold.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
How legit is this?
It looks like a Zelda cartridge.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of Zelda,
Is that
Sean, this
Majora's
is a
Mask?
brand new Zelda game you've never played before.
What is that?
This is a ROM hack called Zelda. What is this one? Let's say Steel Palace. This is Zelda: The Missing Link.
Oh, that's a great name, actually.
It's a brand. There's like four. There's three
Oh,
or four
shit!
of these. He did it. There's 3 or 4 of these popular Zelda ROM hacks on 64. One of them's called the Sealed Palace. I have the Missing Link just because some YouTubers told me they thought this was like the most Nintendo-like one. So when I get my analog 3D, because I'm holding this one off, I will be playing a Zelda game for the first time, a new Zelda game for the first time on my.
Ryan,
new-
record a local, please.
I've got Smash Remix.
What's
Have you ever
Smash
seen this?
Remix?
They've taken Smash Bros for 64 and then they've added a bunch of new courses, a bunch of new characters you plays, Ganondorf and Mewtwo and all kinds of all kinds of folks. Pokemon Yellow.
Ryan, welcome in.
Thank you.
64.
I'm just in awe of Donnie's homebrew
Animal
card.
Forest.
Look at that
Okay,
Animal Crossing
Crossing.
card. That looks great.
Yeah. So I bought this for my wife because here's the thing, my wife lives 64.
I
may
love
have told
it.
this story on show. I don't know.
I wonder if
you have-
Chelsea would want one of these things.
So if
Why
I
not?
could tell the story, when I met my wife, high school
Not
sweethearts,
live.
when I met my wife, she was never ever allowed to have video games as a kid. And for her 16th birthday, the first birthday that I celebrated with her, I bought her a Nintendo 64 for her birthday. And I bought her a Nintendo 64 with Mario Golf, Mario 64, and I think Kart. And we played that thing for summers on end. And she loves Mario Golf. So I bought her Animal Crossing. So when the analog comes, she could play Animal Crossing on 64. She's never played it.
Oh man,
So
Oh.
I've never played the N64 version of Animal Crossing before.
I'm told it's a lot like the GameCube version, but 64.
I've heard it. Yeah, I heard basically the GameCube version is basically like a remake almost
Yeah.
of that game.
I've got a bunch of other stuff in here too.
But dude, that's so cool. I love just watching you go through like all your homebrew cartridges because that's one of the things that I love about like playing games on old consoles because I love seeing people make new games from even people making new NES games or Super
Correct.
Nintendo games and stuff. Like all that stuff's super cool. So I love the idea.
They're
of
getting these
doing that.
emulators running on 64. Like they're bringing actual
Yeah.
cores over so you can play GBA and NES and Super Nintendo stuff on 64. And then people are making ROM hacks of those so they can embed the emulator and the game on the cartridge and you can plug it in and have like Super Mario for Nintendo 64 and
Yeah.
Mario 3 and shit. That's really fun.
Dude, that's so cool. But more than anything, I'm just so excited to get this thing, Donnie, so then I can finally play StarCraft 64 in 4K. That is what my life has truly been missing, StarCraft 64 in 4K, because Microsoft won't give us it. Sean and I have been asking for StarCraft 64 to get remade or re-released or something, and they just won't do it. They won't do it. They would rather add StarCraft to Hearthstone instead of making StarCraft 64 come
Game
back.
Awards, man. It's coming. I'm telling you, Game Awards.
Sounds like it is. I've been hearing lots of StarCraft. Like, I don't even know StarCraft, so this is new to me, but I keep seeing StarCraft things on my many blogs.
Yeah.
Well, we just had the Warcraft Axis event that happened this week where they announced that StarCraft's coming to Hearthstone. So that gave me hope that maybe they haven't forgot about StarCraft completely, but StarCraft 64 in 4K, that is the dream that the Analog 64 or Analog 3D, I should say.
Why isn't that Warcraft remaster coming to Game Pass? That's what I should be mad about, actually. Give me that.
That battle chest, Sean, should have been on Game Pass.
Well, I'll buy it anyways.
It's a Focus.
Yeah.
Give me that Focus. What the hell is that?
Mario Party.
It's a ROM cart. It has every Mario Party on it. Castlevania 2, Double Dragon, Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3.
So many games, dude.
Super Mario Bros.
It's so overwhelming.
But it doesn't have Castlevania 64 and then Castlevania 64 2 on it.
That's why you got to have the EverDrive.
Oh, that's true.
The EverDrive.
Yeah, dude, I love the EverDrive. Like, here's the thing, Donnie. Like, I'm coming into this from a very different position.
Think about buying the new one.
Do
you have the 7?
No, I can't remember which one I have actually, but it's
a 5. So this one, as I understand it, this one is most similar to the 5.
Right.
It has all the same ROM sets, a full ROM set, but to save games, you got to press the reset button.
Right.
Is yours just the same thing?
It's similar, yeah. It's the 5.
So the 7 gets rid of the reset button, and I'm like, is that worth $150? And I'm like, maybe.
I don't remember playing enough 64 games that require saving for me to actually care too much about that. But I'm also the type of person too that likes to have since I live in a small apartment and I don't have a giant setup like you, Donnie. The consoles themselves, like if I'm playing a retro console, a lot of times I'll position it where it's actually close to me, where I can
sure, no, that's good.
The reset button and stuff like that.
Something.
So
yeah,
that's less of a big
play
deal
at the TV and away from the TV and all that.
Yeah, exactly. Like when I play with my Analog Mega SG as an example, I usually do that too because I mostly also play with EverDrives at this point. Because that's the thing. I collect a lot of.
What's an EverDrive? What the hell are you guys talking about? What does this thing do?
An EverDrive is a cartridge that allows you to load ROMs onto it that allows you to then play them on the native hardware as if the cartridge is inserted. The main reason I do that.
So you put that into an actual N64?
Yeah. And it it has like an SD card built into the cartridge.
Got it.
You load your ROMs in and you put it in and it just runs it for you. So like my EverDrive, when I bought it for $50. It came with a complete N64 ROM set. Because every Nintendo 64 game is on that cartridge.
Yeah. So you're playing with native controllers and everything.
I'm still buying. I still have other cartridges and I still use them and everything. But like, it's really for like like I've never played StarCraft 64. I was just telling Devin this because I've heard you guys talk about it. I honestly don't think I could pick StarCraft out of a. You could show me screenshots of games and be like, Donnie, which one's StarCraft? And
you're missing
I wouldn't
out.
know. So like when a game like this comes along, so like Rebecca is really hot to trot on Beetle Adventure Racing.
I also really like that game too.
Yeah, a lot of people are. So I had never played it. That's why I have the EverDrive. I can go throw the EverDrive in and try something.
Yeah.
Before I decide to buy, if I want to buy the cartridge or not. So
that's exactly the way I do it too. Where it's like those are, like it's almost like a rental service because you can't really rent games anymore. So that's the way to like try games out. But also too, it's like, if I have a really expensive game too, I don't want to like dirty it or risk scratches, especially it's like CD games. Like,
and I don't think I'm gonna play this.
Like for example, with the Mega SG. With the Genesis cartridge, like that's where I'll play my Sega CD games so that I'm not throwing like $1,000 game in my Genesis and trying not to scratch it, right? Like
because some of these things are really expensive.
Yeah, like that because then I still have it on my shelf. I still own the game. I just don't physically have to put it in my system. Like that's the other reason I like the EverDrive too, is because a lot of the games I play on my EverDrive are games I actually have a copy of. I just like the convenience of not having to swap it out. And it still feels like the real thing because the difference between doing this and playing on an emulator, Sean, is just that, you know, if you grew up with that hardware or if you just, like sometimes you're able to feel the latency that that emulators put out, even if it's just very, very slight, I can definitely feel it, which is why I don't like to play on emulators if I don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dragon Ball Kart.
Read it.
Dragon Ball Kart.
Yeah. It's Mario Kart but with Dragon Ball characters. I've
But
seen
Dragon
that,
Ball Z,
that
and you
ROM hack
throw
before.
like spirit bombs and
I want
fucking
that.
shit.
Yeah.
It's super fun. That's what I'm telling you. Like,
It
me and Jack
actually
have
just-
way more fun doing this than we do playing whatever the fuck just came out.
This actually really reminds me of playing like old PC games back in the day, Donnie, because what I used to do when I used to play a lot of old PC games back in the 90s when the internet first became a thing was, I don't know if you remember total conversions for PC games where like
No.
people would go out and mod like Unreal Tournament as an example as like a Futurama game or
Oh, wow.
Star Wars Jedi Knight as like a
Yeah.
a game from a different franchise.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like I would always go out and do a bunch of those things
Yeah,
and be like,
N64
okay,
has a bunch of shit like that. You can
yeah,
do.
exactly. Like that's what it
Yeah.
reminds me of. Where I used to do
Yeah.
that all the time. Be like, okay, what kind of crazy mods or like crazy overalls can I get for Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2?
Now it's just
Um,
Fortnite.
Yeah, now it's just Fortnite. But back
There's
then,
a bunch of there's a bunch of N64 wrestling game ROM hacks because to this day,
Yep.
the N64 wrestling games are still the best wrestling games you can play.
By far.
They've yet to be topped.
Yeah.
They're not
No Mercy was
no-
too good. That was the problem.
correct. And you can buy ROM hacks of those wrestling games that like do them in ECW or like WCW Saturday Night Live for like the 80s
Yeah.
or like at like pre-Attitude Era WWE with like Vader and shit.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that is the number one selling point for this. To
Because you
get
could
like
actually go and make all the characters yourself in theory, but like have someone else.
But
do
they,
the
but they
work for you.
changed now. They changed the arenas. They changed the music. They changed the signs in the crowd. Like it's not like a little thing. They do the whole. It's a whole new game.
Yeah.
They do the whole fucking thing. They have this one that I'm trying to get a hold of. I've yet to find a physical cartridge. I even forget the ROM hack. They have one ROM hack that has every era of WCW, ECW, New Japan, and WWF all in one game.
Yes.
Like you have to dive. There's like multiple menus. Like you have to pick the company, the era, and then you get stables to sort through.
Oh, I love it.
And it's like the whole. It's like the ultimate wrestling game.
See, we need to get together and play this. We need to be in person, the three of us, and play some damn wrestling like on N64.
100%. That's the thing. Like when I was in high school, like I was the person who had a PlayStation, but all my friends had N64s, and that was the main reason why I got PlayStation in the first place was because everyone else had N64. So I'd just go over to all my friends' places, and we would play wrestling or GoldenEye or the new Tetris, which by the way is one of my favorite Tetris games of all time.
Did you get the new Tetris? Did you get the Tetris?
Tetris
Tetris Forever.
I did pick
Did
it
you
up.
get it?
Yeah, yeah.
Is it-
I haven't played
is it
it
worth
yet
it?
though. I haven't
Okay.
played it yet. But
I'm like
I'm
I'm on the edge. Like I want to get it, but
Mhm.
I've spent a lot of money. So
I'm
like,
also
kind
just
of
waiting for Tetris on NES to come to NSO because that's supposed to be coming soon too.
Yeah.
Because that's still my favorite version of Tetris. But yeah, like we used to like go to Blockbuster every single weekend and rent 2 N64 games and bring back some beers and stuff and just used to play this N64 through the hours of the night. And like I'm someone who again didn't really have an N64 growing up. I always played it through my friends. So that's one of the reasons I'm actually excited for the analogs at 3D because I want to explore the N64 library, and there hasn't always been, and Donnie, you know this, there hasn't been a great way of hooking N64s up to your TV without like the Ultra 64 mod or something else.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I haven't really done that exploration that I've wanted to with the 64
Were you
library.
following and tracking that Warrior 64 thing as much as I was?
Yeah, I was, and I was just so
Yeah.
let down by the fact that it was terrible.
They've done this a few times, Sean. There was a console that came out, I want to say 4 years ago, maybe 5, it's pre-COVID. So it was called the Warrior 64. And they kind of did the same thing. They had a promise that they've made a 64 that would HDMI and upscale and everything. And it was a nightmare.
Oh, Kickstarter.
All these influencers got it. Yeah, it was Kickstarter. And they got it and started playing. They're like, oh, it's awful. The colors are warped. It's bad. There's like screen tearing. Yeah, and they almost got me on that one.
Oh, so Yarden asked a question in the chat that I want to address. Is Ryan going to start buying cartridges, or are you just going EverDrive? So Yarden, believe it or not,
Yes.
I actually already have a sizable N64 library of over 100 games on cartridge.
Whoa, that's all of them.
That's
No, it's-
that's really nice.
Yeah, so I actually have a lot of them already, and an EverDrive. But and to Donnie's point, like the EverDrive is more to kind of either be for convenience sake or to kind of fill out the games that I don't own,
Yeah.
then target which ones I want to. Because I mean, I just bought a PlayStation 5 Pro. I am a PlayStation professional at this point. I can't. I only have so much money to
no
spend on
disk
other
drive,
games
no
at this
stand,
point.
but professional.
Yes, so
Everything you need.
I'm never gonna get over that.
Yeah. So as a result, I only have so much money for N64 games, but that's why I want to pick and choose the ones that I get. So yeah, that's why I have a pretty sizable collection already of even some of the more expensive ones, like even the more uncommon ones like Resident Evil 2 and StarCraft actually is fairly pricey. I have a couple other
I
expensive
played
ones as
RE2
well.
on 64 originally.
That's certainly a game. Let me tell you what, it doesn't love the playing it on native hardware actually now sucks because of the fact that the resolution changes between 240p and 40i, and it breaks a lot of TVs or a lot of upscalers. So I hope and I pray that it actually runs pretty well on the analog 3D, which it should, because that they've been able to fix problems like that in the past as well, which is actually a problem with a lot of PS1 games as well. Like playing Chrono Cross would break a lot of people's upscalers and stuff like that, simply because the resolution switches back and forth every time you open the menu, which is very annoying.
I was trying to find an article. There was another one in addition to the Warrior 64.
Well, I know Hyperkin was also working on one.
Hyperkin, that was it.
Well.
I was going to say it was a
Yeah.
PDP or somebody was Hyperkin. Hyperkin at E3 announced that they were making a 64. They had a console and everything. They're like, we're making a 64. It's coming. And I'm telling you, Sean, the amount of hours that I wasted diving into Reddit and forums trying to get updates for these fucking 64 consoles through the years. It's all I've ever really wanted. Back in the SNES Mini and the NES Mini, it was I just want the 64. Just do this one and I'm good. So I jumped all over the analog the moment.
Does Analog do one for Super Nintendo?
They did, and they no longer sell it.
It's out. Yeah, it's done now.
Yep.
Oh,
you can buy one on eBay for over $1,000.
There it is.
Yeah.
That sucks. I love Super Nintendo. How did I miss that? Really?
That was 4 or 5 years ago. I remember when Rebecca got hers and she was so excited to get one, but I missed out on it too. I didn't actually get it either, but Super Nintendo, I am actually content enough with, hooking it up with component cables to an upscaler, and that does a good enough job for me. So I'm usually okay with that for Super
I'm
Nintendo.
usually good on the Super Nintendo. I'm fine with NSO and my Super Nintendo Mini and emulation. I'm not yearning for I'm not going to start buying.
No, the
Super
N64 is a different beast because it's been tough to play it on anything besides emulation on a PC. That's been the tough thing. And PS1's kind of like that too. So that's why I hope maybe we'd get a PS1 or a disc-based console at some point that from Analog, because they did one with the TurboGrafx recently. So I hope that they do more disc-based consoles. But the other one that's out there, Donnie, is the Polymega, which I know Victor Lucas is a big fan of, because I think they have an N64 module coming out pretty soon for their console.
Nice.
Nice. But it's also emulation based, and I don't know how well their emulation's kind of in a better mix. Yeah,
I've got that. I've got emulation. Every time I get any device, and I was going to tell you, Sean, I actually bought a device specifically for emulation. We can talk about it after we get through this stuff. But the ROG Ally, the PC, anytime my Razer tablet, anytime I ever do, I have an N64 folder on Google Drive. I just grab it and throw it in there. I'm like, let's set up my N64 stuff. But emulation's not the same. It's not the same. I want the controller. It's the same reason when it came to NSO, I was saying the same thing. It's not the same.
Not especially the controller. It makes a big difference because it's tough to adapt those controls to a
playing 64
and have it feel the same
Switch
way.
with Joy-Con and shit is ass.
It is ass.
Absolute trash.
Yeah.
If you're gonna play N64 and NSO, you need the 64 controller for Nintendo Switch Online.
I bought one. They got me. What do you think about the controller for the 3D?
The 8-bit one? I think it's okay.
No, the analog 3D, sorry. The controller that looks like it's kind of a mix between, obviously it's not like a 3-claw N64 thing, but I feel like it's a pretty nice modernization.
Yeah. So that one's actually made by 8-bit Do. This one, it's a Bluetooth controller. And it looks fine, but it's still one of those things, Sean, where it's if I'm going to play N64, I want the almost like the D-pad for the C buttons in the top right, and I want the Z trigger on the back, kind of in the middle of the controller. I don't know. There's something special about the feeling of using just a traditional N64 controller that I just really like. But yeah, like Donnie's holding up right now, one of the fighter pads as well, because like there are lots of options out there already. Like I have a few of those other controllers as well,
Yeah,
but that are in
those
that
look
style.
great. Those look fine. They're not good.
No, I love these. These are this is what I bought instead of the 8-bit dough one, which I'll probably still get. The black one isn't on sale. I'll probably get it just to have it, like just to match it. But
Yeah,
I'm a fan of this is the Brawler 64. So this one's wireless. This
Yeah.
is Bluetooth wireless, so it'll just go wireless. But I bought 4 wired ones in the classic gray to go
Now-
with my analog as well.
Sean, you actually will not have to worry about getting one of these controllers anyways, because they don't ship them to Canada and they don't include one in the box. So we won't, unless you send it to
What?
Donnie and then he sends it to us. That's it, because they sell them on Amazon.com only. They're an exclusive
Yeah.
product to Amazon.com, and they only ship them to United States addresses.
Oh well, there it is. I was waiting for like this. All sounds too good, and it
No, they
is.
do that. That happens
That's
every
awful.
time with these
A
analog.
lot of people
consoles.
were making fun of them for not having a controller in the box. That was
They
a-
should be made fun of for not having a controller in the box.
They never do though. People still buy their consoles anyways. Like
to keep the price.
I don't
in.
think.
We were talking about how great the price was. That's a big reason is they don't have a controller in the box.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I was gonna say, like, any analog system I've purchased, they
But these
never come
Brawler
with a controller.
64 controllers are not that expensive.
The
Yeah,
the
that's
only
what-
reason why the analog Pocket came with a controller is the fact that the Pocket itself is the controller. That's it.
Can you imagine? They just sell you the top part.
Yeah, no buttons. It's just
Bottom
a-
part
just
is.
a
I mean,
screen.
they do. There's so many add-ons for the Pocket, like the
Yeah.
dock and all the different adapters and everything else. Like you could be up to $1,000 easy.
Sean, you're making me feel bad. I own every single one of those adapters.
The wireless one that I bought, of course, gold. This is a limited one that they're selling until it runs out. And I was like, I've got to have the gold. I got to match my Switch Lite and my Pro controller. Got to do it. So this will be the one I use most. And it also works with Switch, so I can sync to the Switch and use it. that
Oh,
way.
that's cool.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
a
maybe I
very
should get one of those anyways.
nice way. Yeah, like so it serves dual purpose.
Well, yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not quite there with you guys as far as like chomping
Only
at the
when I
bit
start
for an
sending you
analog
screenshots
3D.
of Super
Right.
Mario Star Road on 64.
That's also one of those things too, where you'll have lots of time to think about it anyways, and we'll probably be able to tell you about it first
They didn't
because
sell
they
out,
are
right?
sold out right now.
Oh,
So,
they are now.
I'm
Yeah.
looking right now. They're out
Yeah.
of stock.
They weren't for a long time. They were like
Yeah.
totally like readily had.
No, I think they'll come back in stock probably closer to when they actually release early
I
next
was
year.
scared.
Kind of
that
like
I
the
was gonna
Pocket.
have to. I was scared that I was going to have to buy the white one because I wanted the black module, and and then the white one sold out almost immediately, and the black one was up for like a week.
Yep. Well, a lot of times, like, it's weird because they kind of did it kind of like the reverse of the Pocket, where the black one was the one that had limited stock, but the white one they had a bajillion of them.
Interesting.
And now it's kind of reversed. With
Did you get a white
this
or a
one.
black one?
For a Pocket? I got the white one.
The 64.
Oh, the 64. I got the black one.
Yeah,
I want the
like,
black one anyways. Of the
the
two.
white one was like selling. Like people were so excited. I saw so many screenshots of people buying the white one. And I was like, this is objectively the worst one.
Yeah.
I'm convinced it's like a Euro thing. Like I don't know where it comes from, but like maybe I'm just wrong. But apparently a lot of people just like their hardware in white.
Right.
But like 64 in white, like I was like, this is just not okay.
It just reminds me of the Wii, and I'm like, I don't
yeah, like
need you
this
to
isn't
remind me
right.
of the
Like
Wii.
there's something wrong with this. Like something like if I had to buy it, if it was my only option, I would.
Right.
But like I was like definitely wouldn't buy it over the.
No,
black
that was what I was thinking too. I was thinking like if I I would be fine with either one, but I would prefer the black one.
Right.
And I'm thankful.
And
I
Sean,
got
you were
that
talking
one.
about you weren't talking about, but you were like, where's the shooter drop? What's the catch? We
Yeah.
had the similar dance on Nintendo Shack. Rebecca was like, I can't believe you're not putting a controller in this. Why wouldn't you do it? And I had to explain to her, I'm like, do you have any idea how much an Ultra 64 costs? Like
Yeah.
an HDMI mod. I'm like, no. For anybody that has any remote of interest and have ever looked into this, this is a must buy. Like it's
100%.
an instant purchase. Like
Mm.
how much? Here's the money.
Yeah. No, it actually again it kind of blew that price out of the water because again I'd been looking to do like getting an Ultra 64 mod for the longest time, and it costs a ton of money. It's like $300
see.
US
I'm
dollars
gonna
to
go
get
check
that
it right
done.
now.
So yeah.
I'm just sad. I'm on the site right now. I'm
Yeah,
like I'm
here's
combing
one.
through this. I'm sad because
Ultra
I'm looking at the
64
pockets.
HDMI mod with no controller, $699.
Insane.
But Sean, I mean, you can go over down here and get an analog duo, and then pop your cue cards in it. like
A
Darkwing Duck. On,
Duo? A what?
it's a TurboGrafx 16. You don't want it.
No, I want a Pocket. I want the classic editions. They got these perfect colors. That's the Game Boy I had. That green, it's the same green, and
Yeah.
it's the size of
That's
a.
the thing. Analog gets it right. Like, they
Oh
do
my
that to
god,
that
dude!
detail.
It's
They get it right.
perfect.
I
Yeah.
can't wait for this.
I'm going to try and get one, but they're going to be in such low supply. It's going to make me very sad when I can't get one. Because I want the jungle green one, because that was my, like, the N64 I bought. So
I never had so I've told this story before. I think it's kind of like not really a sad story, but for anybody that's Sean knows this, you listen to DLC and stuff, but like I had trouble background as a kid and I moved around a lot. And for that period of like 3rd grade to like 6th grade, like the only possession that I owned was my 64, which I still have. And it's a base gray and it's got like sticker residue on it and scuffs where I dropped it and stuff. But I carried that thing with me from Cleveland to Columbus, from a homeless shelter to churches, to Greyhound buses, to Atlanta, to the friend's home, to my grandparents. It's upstairs. It's in my attic. When I got my ice blue one, I officially retired it. Like I put it in a box and I put it away. I probably overly, as Dev and Delvin say, like this is my era, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm just younger. I'm just slightly younger enough that like the NES is not my era. I appreciate for what it is. I do love some games. The Super Nintendo, I had a lot of that. I played Tecmo Bowl and shit. Like I've Linked to the Past, but it's not my era. This is my era, and I'm overly nostalgic for 64 shit.
Awesome.
Like just insane. Like I'm gonna play so much Blitz and
Oh, dude,
GoldenEye,
NFL Blitz.
Pokemon
Yes.
Stadium. Like I'm gonna fuck around with Quarterback Club. Like,
This is it. A lot of
then you
people
can-
wouldn't understand because they would say like,
I can
"Oh,
go
NSO's
deep
got
here.
all the games."
No,
But it doesn't.
You
It
haven't
doesn't
listed
have
almost
Diddy
any
Kong.
games on
It
NSO.
doesn't even have Diddy Kong.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't.
And it's
There's
like the-
so much stuff it doesn't. It also has a
It's-
bunch of weird stuff like Descent or Nightmare Creatures or like
shout
a
out
bunch
to
of stuff
Descent.
that
You gotta
isn't-
play Castlevania 64, Sean.
and then
The
it's sequel.
experience.
You get there's 2 Castlevania.
I've never
64
seen that
games.
actually.
It's something.
It's not good. Let me
Is
tell
it
you what.
3D?
It's 3D.
Yeah.
Both of them are 3D.
Yeah, Donkey Kong 64. Oh hell yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but then yeah, you could play some Beast Wars Transmetals
Oh.
or
I'm gonna
Play
play your
Fighter?
guys' minds. So in addition to StarCraft, I can't say that I've never played it because I've definitely like booted it up, but I've never like played it. I've never sat down and played.
It's on Game Pass.
No. Banjo.
oh,
Oh,
I've never
Yeah,
sat
that's
down
fine.
and really played Banjo. Like I've never
Yeah.
really played
Banjo
it.
sucks.
yeah, I kind of agree.
I'm going to though. Like I've put it in
Banjo
my head-
sucks.
I've put it in my head with this. Like I'm actually going to sit down and play it. Not like
You
boot
should.
it up for a minute and turn it off like I did with Rare Replay and stuff. Like I'm gonna play it. And
Okay.
try to play Banjo and maybe see what all the fuss has been about.
Play Tui.
I like
play Nuts and Bolts. Those are.
No,
So
don't
I'd-
play
I'd
Nuts
love-
and Bolts.
So, hang on. Nuts and Bolts is the only one I've played.
I think, but Nuts and Bolts is kind of fun.
Yeah, I do too. I like Nuts and Bolts.
Completely discrediting myself to like literally anybody, but I think Nuts and Bolts was neat.
Oh my
I
god.
didn't hate it.
I mean, Tony Baker in the chat with the greatest shout out, of course. Play Gex instead. Clearly, that's the real
Ooh.
answer. Gex is okay.
Oh, sorry, Yarden. Did I catch you off guard?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I think that might have been for me.
Yeah. Or I mean, just the Banjo hate. Sean and I are definitely not the people to talk about.
No.
Banjo,
I've
'cause
never.
Neither
Yeah,
of us
that's
like
why.
that game.
That's why I never really played it.
Like, so here's the thing. My thing with Banjo is I actually like the platforming. I think it's fun, and I like the lightheartedness of the story. I think it's fine too. But it's just the collectathon nature of it. It's just too much. It's too much. Like you got to
Oh,
go collect
man.
so much crap.
I think
Oh,
I'd rather
dude, the
play Sonic
fucking-
Adventure.
The
Me
Star
too.
Wars games. I'm gonna fucking Rogue Squadron this. shit
Rogue
out of this.
Squadron
Oh, my
is
goodness.
gorgeous.
The Battle for Naboo.
Yeah,
About to
that's
go
a great
down,
game
Sean.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've got one good level in Shadows of the Empire. You could play that.
You can play some
I'm not gonna
episode
play
1
that.
Racer, Shadows of the
I'll play
Empire.
some San Francisco Rush, Ryan.
Oh, dude,
Yes.
Cruising USA,
The
Cruising
best.
World.
No, San
So
Francisco
good.
Rush is much better.
It is.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Beetle Adventure Racing, you can finally play it. That game is actually
I
really
played
good.
it. I actually funny. Rebecca told me about it. That's what I bought my little EverDrive clone for. I bought it
Oh,
for
okay.
Beetle Adventure Racing. I was
Okay.
like, I'm gonna try it, and I did play it, and it's
Oh.
it's not unfounded. It's definitely not the best racing game on 64, I had to
Yeah.
break her heart with that. Like,
Oh,
that's-
I agree
it's
with that. I
definitely
think Diddy
not
Kong
that.
Racing's much better.
But it's deeper than you think, and it's fast. Like it's faster than most racing games on 64. And I think that's maybe why people like it.
Right.
Like everything moves very quickly, and there's like hidden levels. Like that was all the rage in 64. Like clipping through layers into like little hidden
Oh,
layers
yeah.
and shit. Yeah, it's got a bunch of that. So like, it's not it's there's something to it for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Star Fox 64.
Yep.
which
Have you
is
ever
the
played
Star Fox? in
have
my
you played
mind.
Mischief Makers, Donnie?
No.
Dude, that game is awesome. It's from Treasure, the makers of Guardian Heroes.
Yeah.
And that game is super fun. It's like a kind of like a
Mischief
platforming
Maker.
game. Yeah. It's kind of
Right.
like a later N64 game, but it's really, really fun.
Yeah, I honestly plan on like when this happens, whenever it happens, whatever month it happens, like just whatever is coming out around, just rule it out for me. I'm not doing any of that.
Yeah.
Like none of these consoles or PC games are getting played because I'll be in my own little fantasy land.
Even Assassin's Creed, that
Even
February,
Assassin's
a week of February looks nuts, dude.
It
Even
does.
Assassin's Creed. Like when
Yep.
this thing happens, when this hit
Come on,
happens,
that's wild.
that's
Good
all
for
I'm
you.
doing for a
I'm
while.
happy for you. That's awesome.
Donnie, you're gonna play some
100%.
of the boomer shooters, like the N64 version of Quake 2, which is totally different from the normal version of Quake 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I've told this story before. I'm not sure how much you guys listen to me, so I feel like I need to say these things so I don't regurgitate or.
Sometimes I need reminders. I listen,
Okay.
but my
Yeah,
memory.
my first introduction to Doom was on 64. That's like
Oh,
me,
yeah.
like, Doom is Doom 64. You know, so I'm definitely gonna be playing that. I'll be playing Hexen. I'll be playing Turok, one of my
Hexen,
fucking
yes,
favorite
Turok,
franchises.
Yep.
I'll
Yeah.
be playing all of them.
Dude,
all
you were
over
talking about
again.
Turok. This is a month
Oblivion
ago.
Is at hand, Sean.
Dude, when you were telling Dev and Delvin about the cerebral bore, I was just like shaking my fist. I was
They
like,
have no idea.
they had no clue. I'm
They
like,
have
how
no
did you
clue.
miss
They're like,
this?
huh? I'm like, this is like seminal part of my childhood.
Yes,
Is
and
this
then they
fucking
copied
thing
her on Starship
sucking
Troopers.
brains.
It's like, that's
Yeah.
from Turok.
Yep. Pretty much.
Rebecca sent me TikTok. I think of what's her name?
Taylor Swift.
No. Who's the the girl that used to do video games for like IGN?
Pierce.
A lot of
Yes,
Alana Pierce.
her name.
Yeah.
She did a TikTok where she just looked into the camera. She goes to speak and she pauses. She takes out a breath. She looks back at the camera. She goes, "Does anybody else just sit around thinking about Turok?" And that's the
Hell
end of the
yeah.
TikTok. And she sent it to me. She's like, "I immediately thought of you." I was like, "She fucking gets it, man.
That's
Mhm.
amazing.
You guys don't know what you're missing."
Nope.
Turok is a dude. What a concept for a game. You're a dinosaur hunter.
Dinosaur Hunter.
That's
Do you
it.
remember the saw blade? That
Mhm.
boomerang fucking saw you could like frisbee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
Do you,
I-
do, you, do you remember
Sorry,
when they rebooted Turok on Xbox 360? And no
Yes.
one-
No.
Everyone hated that game. Yes, that was a thing, Sean. Look it up. Look up the Turok reboot on Xbox
Oh
360.
no.
gonna
That was
play the
that era
real-
where we were getting like Bionic Commando remake, like the
that's not
reboot
my
of that,
favorite
and a
era.
bunch of other stuff. And they were all kind of made by the same company.
My first Rayman was on 64.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
play Pokemon Snap, the good one.
You could
The
play
only
so
good
many
one.
The good
real-time
one.
strategy games on
It is the good
N64,
one.
like Command and Conquer.
I
on
looked up a
N64.
video of the StarCraft. I don't think I'm gonna play that. Like,
No,
I'm
it's
like, that's
Definitely not on
I'm
console. Like we joke
not
about
doing
64. If
this.
you're gonna
This
play,
is
play it on
not it.
PC.
Yeah.
fucking-
Split
But
screen
you
StarCraft.
won't play it. You'll hate it.
Yeah.
oh,
And I don't
man.
want to hear it. Don't
Yeah.
touch StarCraft. I don't want to hear you
Pro
shit on my
Skater,
StarCraft.
Sean,
Yeah.
Pro
Skater
Skater.
1.
Yeah, Tony Hawk's.
Wave
Yeah.
Race, Pilot Wings, Mischief Makers. I found it.
I'm also
Yep.
going to point out
Scrolling
that the N64 is
platformer.
clearly the Donnie
a
console
system.
because it only has 2 role-playing games on the entire console, and
Here's the
everything
funniest
else
thing.
is not a role-playing game.
Not the funniest thing. Definitely not the funniest
It-
thing. But here's the thing. So Ryan, you were like, "Have you ever played Mischief Makers, the
Yeah.
platformer?" And when you said that, in my head, I went, "There's not enough platformers on 64." And I
Yeah.
look it up, and here's the first thing it says: a side-scrolling platform on a system with very few of them.
Yeah.
I was like, exactly. I have to play this now.
It's so good. It's actually a
Okay.
really good game.
I've
Yeah.
never played it. I'm gonna put
Dude,
it on the
it's
list.
really
And I'm gonna wait until I get the analog. I'm not gonna play it on my. my
should.
drive. I'm gonna
You should wait. Kind of like how I waited. I waited. Everyone kept telling me to play Stellar Blade this year, and I was like, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till I get till I'm a PlayStation 5 professional, and then I'm going to play it then. And that's exactly
It's very
what I'm doing.
pretty. I definitely bounced after like 2 hours, but it's very pretty.
I'm excited. I'm excited to play it.
But yeah, I'm saving half of these ROM cards and stuff for that. Like, to me, I'm buying them so like when I get my new system, I have brand new games to play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
It'll
a
be like
constant
Christmas
watch
morning.
for me.
I wish you streamed, Donnie. God damn it. And you never will. You never have, you never will. You won't make like because this is what makes you such a good podcaster. Like your enthusiasm is so infectious. So you fire up a stream and you play the game that you want to play and let just the passion bleed through and not have to feel like you have to talk about
But then
this,
I
that,
have
or the
to-
other
But
thing.
then I have to pay attention to the chat and talk to people, and like I don't want to do any of that.
I think you should
I just
try
wanna
it and
fucking-
not address the
No,
chat
I just
at all.
I want to double axe handle Hulk Hogan to the ground and fucking suplex people over the ropes and be in my own bubble.
I know, and I want to see it.
Well, then
Donnie,
come
I'm just going
hang
to throw
out.
it out there. I've
You're
streamed
welcome to
multiple
come.
times before where I never addressed the entire
Yeah, I
screen
know you
and
can,
still
but
had a
then-
great time with
But
it.
even then, I gotta hook up the things, and I gotta set up the stream. And like, I don't want to.
I hate it.
You know,
I
like,
hate
it's
Donnie
like I-
listen off
It's
excuses.
the same reason. I'm not sure if
bullshit.
you've listened to this, Sean, but I saw you. Did you tweet or thread? Or you talked about something about Pokemon the card game, the new app, right? Pocket.
Yep.
The thing. Right. I turned that shit off and hated it because as soon as I got it, it was like you can buy this shit and you can buy that shit. and here's
I'm
this
with
other
you.
shit
I
and
heard you
this-
talk about this.
and
I'm with
and-
you.
and I just don't want it. I'm not
It's
saying it's
fine.
not good or bad.
It's
like,
unrelated.
I don't want to be bothered by it. And
Fine.
I feel the exact same way about stream. Like I don't want to be like it lessens. I just
This
want
has
to-
nothing to do with what you want. This has
Oh,
everything to
okay.
do with what I want. I want to see Donnie geeking out over games that
Well,
he
no, I get
loves.
that, because this has
so
nothing to do-
stream
I want
it.
Ryan back on the Xbox drive. Like exactly. So
Oh,
I
shit.
understand your point. I feel
Sometimes
I
you can't get
feel
what
you.
you want.
exactly. Sometimes you can't. I get it.
You know,
What a
sometimes
negotiation we have.
I mean, the
ourselves
truth
in.
is, Donnie, you know, once I
Be
played
able to
Inspector
turn.
Gadget's Crazy
Well,
Maze
you
on the
have that at the
PlayStation
ready.
1,
Fucking God.
there was no going back for me.
you have that in arm's reach. What the hell's going on?
I mean,
here?
I also have this copy of
that's
Darkstone.
right there.
How
on the
did you
PlayStation 1,
manifest this
that's
out
right
of
here.
nowhere.
I've got this copy of Dragon's Lair on the Super Nintendo right here.
Sean, I'm
And then
about to
I've
buy
got I've got
Pokemon
this
Christmas,
Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King PlayStation
a
2.
ROM
right here.
hack for Pokemon on N64.
Stream it.
Pokemon Christmas.
That
You
sounds
should.
cool. Stream
Is
it.
that what you wanna
Share
do?
it
You
with the
wanna set up
world.
a-
Show us, Donnie.
Prove it.
Actually,
I want people to jump on this bandwagon. I want to see Donnie stream. I feel like this is what the
Oh,
world
it's-
needs.
You can keep trying.
Yep.
Best
Oh,
of
you're
luck.
so frustrating.
Let me know when it happens.
Oh my god.
one of these days.
Let
Sean,
me know when it happens. Let me know when I end up streaming,
Right,
he says.
Right. Let me know.
Yeah.
Pokemon Christmas. Full playthrough.
You're really cheating the world out of something amazing.
I'm not. You can all join me. I'm sharing. I'm spreading this good news out. into the
How?
Like, I'm telling you, Sean, go buy an analog Pokemon. Like, go do it.
No, I want to watch you play it.
He just wants to see
I
see
won't
the
enjoy
joy
it as
on
much as you will.
Donnie's
That's not the
face.
same.
Oh,
Donnie, we just want to see the joy on your face when you play the game.
Yes.
well, I
Yes.
there will be joy. I honestly, I think I've already said this tonight, but I have not been like this giddy, like this feeling about video games in some time.
Yeah.
It's been a
Stream
minute
it.
since I felt like that like childlike rush. And the moment that I saw the analog 3D, like it hit me, and every time I get a chance to talk about it, it just like I've been in this mood. I feel like all year where it's just like all these things that keep coming out. I'm like, these are just this shit's just not doing it. Like we were talking, I think we popped or interrupted or tangented off it, but we were talking about like what game of the year would be.
Yeah.
Right? And like I see all these things and like the tweets or the candidate lists and stuff, and I'm like, I'm more than ever least interested in what gaming the industry is doing.
Yeah.
I think is like the best way of putting it.
Yep.
It's just
Yep.
like, and that makes me feel old. You know, I feel
Mm.
like I've like at some point unknowingly to me, like unnoticeably, I crossed some threshold. Like where something happened.
Would
I
you have
was
said the
like,
same thing this time last year? Is it just the
No.
selection of games?
I think
I-
it's just
yeah, I
like,
thought
it
you would say
feels
that.
like a this year thing.
I think it's a this year thing.
Yeah.
I think this is temporary. This is not the
I hope
this
you're
is,
right.
This is not the state of the forever future. This is not the endless now.
I mean, Assassin's Creed's right around the corner. Maybe that'll get you.
Maybe.
Well,
it will.
Switch 2 I think is really what's going to shake it up. I think
Yeah,
that's
Switch 2. I'm there for Switch 2 for sure.
yeah. TOO.
We'll
Of
see what
course.
they. Don't do that. Don't do that.
As soon
Tom.
as
I'm with
Metroid Prime just shows up, Donnie will be like,
No,
turn
I'm,
around.
I'm not that into Metroid anymore.
Oh man,
Yeah, no, I'm
It's
with
never-
you.
I
it's
thought
never
you might have been
really-
with me on that.
I
Donnie.
loved it back like the Wii was all about the trilogy pack and played it right.
Right. Yeah.
But like through 3DS and Switch, like I played Metroid Prime like the remaster. I played like
Mhm.
halfway through and like basically just bounced, wanted to play other
Okay.
things. Like, you know, I think it's just the whole. I honestly felt very similar to like when Resident Evil 2 remake came out,
Mhm.
and I started playing it too. And then, like these are games that I grew up absolutely loving and played hundreds of times.
Right.
And I played Resident Evil 2 remake, and I was like, the constant backtracking and the zip zagging back and forth, like it's just not for me anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like my time, like I'm like, this is just wasted. Like
Yep.
this is just here so I play the game longer than it needs to be played, right?
Kind of like all those people who played Dragon Quest 3 HD this week and realized, oh no, I have to spend like 4 hours just grinding slimes out
100%.
in the field.
Or the
I
people
bought
who
that game
played
and I don't even
Dragon
know how
Age
much I'll
Inquis-
actually play it.
the Veilguard is what I meant to say.
Yeah, you were very
That game hurt
sorry.
me, Donnie.
That was, I could tell. That was very sad to see.
Yeah, Ryan
That
likes
game's-
it.
That game seems to be very divisive. There are people that really love it, and then
He's
there are
right there.
people that seem to really not.
That's okay.
That's an interesting one. I don't know enough about Dragon Age, and obviously haven't played it, but I don't think I know enough about Dragon Age to weigh in on the matter. What about it that isn't doing it that Dragon Age Inquisition did? Because if I remember correctly, you really liked Inquisition, right?
I love Dragon Age Origins. I love Dragon Age 2. I love Dragon Age The Inquisition.
Right.
I do not love the Veilguard.
So I played Inquisition and was like, I do not see what all the fuss is about. Game of the year, who?
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm
get, and I
into
get that. I get not getting those games as well because they're a little obtuse. I would say this one is probably more accessible on that front. Like you can just jump in and play, but you probably won't know what's going on. That's for
People
sure.
are trying to bait
Yep.
me into it in our Discord. They're like,
No,
it's like
this is-
Fable.
What the hell's the matter with
That's
people?
what they tell me.
No,
They're like, Donnie, it's
No.
like Fable.
I heard
no,
that.
Donnie.
Absolutely
okay,
not.
No. It's okay.
No.
This is definitely
Saved me.
from
You
both
saved
of
me from
us.
myself.
Someone who
What the hell's
likes
the
it
matter
and
with
doesn't like
people?
it. Yeah.
'Cause
They
when
know who
anybody
you
if
are.
anybody tells me this is like Fable, I'm like, you have my attention.
Well,
Well, that's what they're doing it on purpose. They're like clickbaiting you.
I
It
mean, Donnie,
works.
I may have crossed over
It's a
to
good way to get
PlayStation
my
Land,
attention.
but I know Fable, and this game is nothing like
Because
Fable.
I fucking love me some. I was like, oh, is it now? I didn't know this.
It's not.
Okay.
Like nothing like Fable at all.
Maybe
the
humor
only-
wise in Origins, like maybe some irreverent kind of just like
Even then.
almost Monty Python esque, like not really, but kind of maybe.
Sure.
No, this is not Fable.
the closest parallel between this and Fable is the fact that both are action RPGs, and that's it. Otherwise,
Like fantasy.
yeah, exactly. But otherwise,
What's the
they're
other
completely
game?
different games.
What's that game that like crashed and burned?
Concord.
Concord.
No, that is
Got him.
correct. You've answered the question correctly. But there was that game that like Kurt Schilling made.
Oh, Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning.
Everybody told me it was like Fable. So like it's
It-
like Fable.
Yeah,
So
it's like mature Fable.
I tried to play it, and I wasn't getting a whole lot of that.
Yeah.
I was like, to me in my head, having never played it, I was like, this feels like what World of Warcraft might be.
No, the combat was very structured like Fable, where you had like your magic
Yeah,
range
that's
and
true.
melee
Yeah.
attacks all
Yeah,
assigned to specific buttons, like Fable was. But you're right, like the humor was not like Fable, and the world was not like Fable. Like it played like the combat was like Fable, and which is why I think when I would describe it when comparing it to Fable, it was more like it's a mature Fable. Like it's like it's not like a humorous kind of Fable, but
got
the
you.
combat is set up to be
That
very
makes more
similar.
sense. I wish I had
Yeah.
talked to you instead of other people.
Yeah.
Because I bought it. I own it. Because people were like, it's like Fable. Because that's
But
how you get me.
it's one of
You
those things.
bought
It's
it?
like, oh, 100%. If you tell me like, if you're like Donnie, it's like Fable, I'm gonna try it.
Send it back.
Because I've been chasing that dream. I've been chasing that for some time now, Sean.
Hang on, we're still talking about the Veilguard, right?
No. We're talking about Kings of Amalur.
Oh, kick those people out.
Just say do what Yarden says. Kick
That's
these
the
people
already
out of
says in the
Discord.
chat. Kick those people out. They should be maimed.
They're on the staff.
I love
Get rid of 'em.
Yarden's comment here. Donnie, you need to realize that everyone who tells you it's like Fable is just like they tell Rebecca it's just basically Zelda.
It
when
might be
that's
true.
not
Yeah,
true.
because I've been chasing that high for a long time.
Yeah.
Nothing
I
is like
do-
Fable. There's
I
nothing
do
like
love me
it.
some Fable.
So-
I've said it a bunch. I've said it to you guys. Like Fable to me is what I think most Xbox fans say Halo is. So
Yeah.
like, oh, I fucking love Halo. I love Xbox for Halo. For me, that's Fable. It's Fable and Gears. But
question for
it's
you,
Fable
Donnie.
first.
How much like Fable do you think Fable's actually going to feel like?
Not
Because
a
that's what
lot.
I'm scared about. I'm scared that Fable coming out is actually
won't
going to
be.
try and be more accessible
Here's the
and not feel like Fable at
It's
all.
gonna be like the Veilguard.
It's going to be
It
like the
can't be.
Veilguard.
It can't be, right? Like, I've been saying that from the start. It can't be like Fable because everybody that's making it are brand new to Fable.
Yeah.
And they're making a
Like the
modern game.
Veilguard.
What I think we're gonna get though is I think the writing and the dialogue I think will be Fable-esque, and I think it will play like a modern third-person action adventure game.
Okay.
And I think I'll be okay with that,
Mhm.
knowing that we're never gonna get another like true Fable.
Right.
What I would like is for them to actually remake the Fables. That would be
Yeah,
that would be like prime.
they really
That would
should.
be the best for me.
Yep.
That'd be fun. I would play those games.
Xbox needs like a studio like Blue Point or 3 of them to just go
Yeah,
back.
They could do a
and-
bunch of it.
Mm-hmm. Just crunch out a bunch of like 2 or 3 per year.
Because when I found my Xbox, like I bought my Xbox. I love that we're all here and talking about this. Is all I ever want. This should be the Xbox drive.
New Xbox Empire.
When
Yep.
well, there you go.
Sean,
When
Ryan,
I-
and Donnie. Except for
when I
Ryan
got
doesn't like
my
Xbox.
It was for sports games.
His PlayStation ad.
I was with my foster family and my foster dad, and we were playing like 2K and shit. So it was mainly for sports games, and then I played like Grand Theft Auto, third-party things. As I've always told Sean, my Xbox was my path to like finding PC gaming before I ever knew what PC gaming was. But Fable was like the one where I was like, oh, this is like Zelda. Like it
Mm.
was my Xbox version of like this thing that I knew and loved from 64 and beyond, and like this is a core experience for me. I found something like it somewhere else, and that was big for me. Like when the new 360, like it wasn't even a thought in my mind. I was like, that, because that will have Fable. You know, like to me, that's what Fable was, and that's what I want Fable to be.
Yeah.
Is as much as possible, still be witty and humorous, but be like a Zelda game, as best you can. At least
Yeah, well,
that's where my
Now you
head-
can buy it on the next Xbox that they make.
well,
Yep.
well, that's true.
It'll be a launch title.
I was gonna joke if they make it. I'm still really so you're hurt by Veilguard. I'm really hurt by Hellblade. Like, well, that's if they make a physical copy. Like, I'm still like every time something happens, I get really pissed off.
I'm still
That's
surprised
happening with
they
Hellblade.
haven't announced that at all yet. That limited run or someone else isn't making. it.
Right? Give me something to buy. I just need some merch. I need
Why
a
did they
statue
do that?
or a steel book. I need a controller. Amongst the 70,000 controllers that you have, I need a Hellblade controller, Xbox. Like I'm hanging by a thread. You fucks.
I feel like they'll do it eventually. Like they did it for.
It's really taking a toll on me, Sean. It really
They did it. They did it for Psychonauts. Like I would. Wouldn't
Oh
be
my
like.
god!
I think
Every
they
time
should do
somebody
it. at some point.
goes, they did it for X game that isn't as good as Hellblade. Just makes me more angry.
No, that's why
Yeah.
I think that's why I think it's like a no-brainer that they'll do it eventually. Like that's just how I feel
like,
about it.
Like a year
No
later,
way.
It's
No, that
over.
ship has sailed. No, they're moving on. They got Hellblade out, and that sucks because I didn't play a lot of the
I'm
brand
hooked.
new games this year. Obviously, Hellblade is definitely one of the best games I played this year.
It's
Yeah.
number
You and I
4.
both agree on that one. We both really
Yeah.
like that game.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it, and would love nothing more than to buy some shit for it.
It would be interesting as like give that game like a second chance almost. And I don't know that anybody would be willing to
PlayStation.
give it that.
They
But,
will
um,
on PlayStation.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
just put it on PlayStation. People just give it a shot. Give it an actual chance. I remember the review video that we had, and just like clearly people did not play the game, man. They were just repeating nonsense, and
Well,
that's-
they also
that
didn't
game's
watch
special.
the video. Clearly, they just literally commented on the thumbnail and called it a day.
Yeah, well, whatever. Thanks for the clicks, bitch.
Yeah. I like engagement.
Oh man, speaking of that, your review was excellent. I think I've told you that before, but yours was really good.
I want to do more of that. I'm trying to encourage the team as well to jump on this and find a way to like do their own spin on the review, and like because that isn't really like a video game review in the classic sense. It's pretty different, or at least I tried for it to be anyway.
Yeah, I
And
agree with you.
Yeah, I should probably find like whatever the next game is that I could do that with. Maybe I'll do a video essay on why Dragon Age: The Veilguard has disappointed me so. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
You should.
I could do that, but
I'd watch
then
that
I'd have to
video.
capture more gameplay from it.
Have you guys bought anything on Bonanza?
I've never heard of that. That used to be a
Neither have
restaurant
I.
here that gave people food poisoning, and then they closed it
Is
down.
that's what I'm worried about. Is this like is this like a scam thing I'm about to lose my
I
money?
don't
to?
know. Ryan, did you ever go to Bonanza?
I've never seen a Bonanza before.
I think it was a buffet. This was like the 90s, dude. This is a long time ago.
I'm just Googling around for ROM 64 ROMs because it's like my new favorite thing to do. And there's a seller on Bonanza that has a bunch of them at really good prices. I'm like, do I just like risk it?
Okay.
I don't know what this
Oh,
is.
Bonanza became Ponderosa Steakhouse. I've been to a Ponderosa Steakhouse before, but I've never been to a Bonanza.
I didn't know that. Ryan and I are on a whole other island, dude.
Yeah, Canada's an interesting place. But no, I went to a Ponderosa while I lived in Texas.
He's got Doom 64 Complete Edition, which compiles everything to one ROM. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Mario 60 or Luigi 64.
No,
Now we're
that was not.
fucking
No, we
talking.
don't need that.
Now we're talking.
See,
We
now
don't
we're
need that.
talking something you don't deserve. This is the spirit that Ryan and I are here for.
I love
Let's-
Luigi.
I'm-
let's
that's
get
why I'm
fucking
glad he's
weird
here.
with it.
I'm
Let's
glad
get
he's
weird
here.
with it.
Now I guess I know how Dev feels.
Oh my God.
PSVG. I don't give a shit about that, Donnie.
Even Tony Baker in the chat. Luigi, you say, with eye
The
emoji.
Legend of Zelda: The Ultimate Trial.
That sounds cool. Okay.
Good stuff, man. I'm about to.
It's
buy
hard
this
Zelda.
shit. It may not even work. I'm about to buy it. Who knows? I don't even know what I'm buying anymore.
Nagachaka and I recorded an episode earlier today about our not buying games in 2024 and what we're going to do about it. And spoilers for that
Maybe being
episode.
ahead of the game.
What's that?
I feel like you've been ahead of the game on that. Like you did this thing out of a thing that I even mocked you for, and like
I know.
as the year went on, I'm like, man, fucking Sean was fucking
Nailed it.
on it. Yeah,
Absolutely
he was
nailed it.
fucking
Yep.
on it.
I mean, that's you and I have bits of that here and there, you know, like we'll get mocked for this or that, and then eventually we're right in the long run,
You're just early.
you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but sometimes on some of the sometimes they take a big swing, like FIFA will outsell EA Sports FC or whatever the hell it's called, and I think I missed on that one.
Well,
So.
the FIFA game hasn't even come out yet, though.
No, I was
should say
saying
the
like
FIFA competitor.
Sean.
I was saying the old. You're right about that, but I didn't
Okay.
even know
You're
that
right.
at the time. I was
You're
just
right.
saying that
Okay.
whatever EA Sports FC, it wouldn't sell as well as the previous year's FIFA.
Because I'm
Yeah.
really interested to see what happens when the actual the new FIFA comes out from I think 2K's doing it because
Yeah.
because that might actually outsell
Mm.
Football
Yarden,
Club.
I
Whereas,
think Fable does make it next year.
yeah,
How would you find Mario 007, Sean?
I
It's
would like that
GoldenEye,
very
and you
much.
play as the Mario character. So
I've
Yeah, I
actually
would like
seen
that a
that
lot,
one.
actually.
this
Yes.
is the spirit that this is the shit that people are doing on 64s.
Yeah, I feel like these are created by a bunch of stoners who know how to hack shit.
Absolutely,
You know what I mean?
and that's what I'm trying to get
Which is
into, Sean.
awesome. Like these are all made in some smoky room somewhere with,
Dude, how
That's
fucking
what makes
cool
it great,
GoldenEye
though.
007
with the
is,
doors
like,
playing
like,
for some reason.
shoot Waluigi.
Yeah. Yeah, I want that. Yes,
Like,
please.
did we
Toad is
did we
Oddjob.
really need Mega Man Unreal Tournament? You bet your ass we needed Mega Man
Oh,
Unreal
yeah, we
Tournament.
did.
back
Oh
in the
yeah, that would be great.
You
Very
you kill like enemies dressed as the robot masters, and you get their powers. You get Magnet Man's magnet missiles and stuff. Like, dude, that
Yes,
was so fun back in the
please.
day.
I love
Like,
that.
I used to play so many of those stupid total conversions back then. It was so fun.
Oh.
That was my thing. That was my jam. That's how I
Oh, just-
crammed like 1,000 plus hours into Jedi Knight.
What have I done with my
Okay,
life?
Sean.
God damn it.
Tangenting off the 64 love. We were
Okay.
talking about Game of the Year frontrunners. So I'm Googling. Polygon has an article. So they've put it all together for us here. So this is even better. So here is a list of I'm gonna read them off. Animal Well.
Oh, I gotta play that. I have it on Xbox. I need to play it.
I have played
Uh,
that game. It's fun.
Helldivers 2.
Yep, gotta play it more. Yep,
Good game.
Good game.
Dragon's Dogma 2.
didn't play it.
Garrett Bland did not like that game.
Oh,
I remember him being very excited for that one. Like a
He
Dragon
was.
Infinite Wealth.
Haven't played it.
I wish I played more of the Yakuza games because they're funky, but didn't get to them.
Dragon Age: The Veilguard.
I freaking love that game. Sorry, Sean.
I'm happy you do. Look, I don't want to shit in your cereal or anything. I just don't understand it.
I want to picture
You and I will have a
eating
conversation
rice.
about it one day, Sean. We will.
Some
I'm
shitty
excited for
cornflakes.
that conversation.
Okay.
Balatro.
Oh, I had to hold on the library for Balatro card game.
I think Balatro is fun, but I'm just not into that style game.
It's one of people
Final
got very
Fantasy-
excited about it.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
There are too many mini games in that game, but I liked that game a lot. But the farther we get away from that game, the less I think it actually probably makes Game of the Year for a lot of people's lists.
Metaphor Refantasio.
One of the best games of the year. That game is so good.
That's a Donnie game if I ever seen one.
No, it's
Definitely.
not.
Donnie should play
No.
that one.
No,
Just
So
kidding.
at this point, I'd like to say I haven't played any of the games that I've mentioned yet.
well,
Okay.
Donnie, I will mention that
I
like
haven't
three
played
quarters
any
of these,
games. That's
three
what I'm
quarters of
saying.
these are
That's
role
like-
playing
It
games.
feels very weird because I'm like, I have not.
Helldivers you would like, except that you're so dead
I
set
think-
against
hang on.
multiplayer.
I gave Helldivers like a trial mission. I think I got through the introduction of Helldivers. I played Helldivers for 30 minutes.
No.
Silent Hill 2.
Amazing game, Donnie. Have
So
you
I
played
bought
it?
this game.
That's a Donnie game.
I have the PlayStation. I bought it. Just haven't played it yet.
Yep.
I've been so busy on other things, I have yet to get to it.
Dude,
Mhm.
I
Bought
can't
it.
wait for you to play that game.
I paid $70 for it. Like I bought it. Like however much it was, I pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
Go
Just
play
haven't
it.
played it at
'Cause
all.
Stream it.
I've always been a big
It's true.
Silent Hill fan, and that game
Me
was
too.
everything I wanted it to be. Like it was so good.
And the only game on this list that I've played, Astrobot.
Yeah, which I also love. I think
Now,
that
the
game's
problem
awesome.
for me is that of all the games I just read to you, my top 5 favorite games of the year, this list, only one of them is on this list at all. That's where I feel very weird.
Right.
I think that's
I-
great. I think there's
I
just a
keep
lot of
running list throughout the year, and none of the games on my list are on any of these lists.
Yeah. No, a lot of them are either role playing games because this was a very, very good year for role playing games. So if you're not into role playing games, that you already take a big hit right there.
good year to
'cause
have
there's
an RPG podcast, Ryan.
100%. I can't wait for
Corner
Garrett
the
and I to
market.
do our like
Yeah.
favorite RPGs of the year because we always do that as our like our final episode for the year. And there's gonna be so much to talk about because there were like, I kid you not, 20 plus really good role playing games this year, which it's one of the best years for RPGs ever. So,
Picking
but
up
if you're not into
another one.
RPGs, then
Black
know.
Myth Wukong was not on that list, and that probably makes somebody's list.
Yeah.
I think that game, if you look at it from the console perspective, it's tougher to make the case for it for a game of the year list because of the fact that it barely plays on console. Like if you play it on PC, it's great, but if you play it on console, it doesn't hardly play. Even on the
Persona
Pro,
3 Reload,
I love that game. It's so good.
Erd Tree.
Yeah.
Elden Ring.
Yeah,
This is a completely different article. I'm just scrolling through articles now.
Yeah. Elden Ring
And
DLC.
again, out of my top 9 games, only one has been mentioned so far in this past year.
You know what though? I'll comment on this because I'm right with you. Like, didn't play most of these games, but as I reflect on my gaming in 2024, I've had an amazing time.
Yep.
And part of
Oh,
it
yeah,
is
no,
because
yeah.
I freed myself from having to play
I've had fun.
basically
times.
what these games are.
I'm just surprised that like it just feels like none of the games that I like are being pulled up or lifted up or thought of well by the people that are. I guess.
Give me an
making these things
example.
happen.
Yeah, I was gonna say I want to know more
okay.
of your games, Donnie.
All right, so Prince of Persia, I thought was. amazing.
Oh yeah, yes.
Like I literally think the game was excellent. It was
Agree.
incredible at the start of the year. Ran great across all platforms. It was a great Metroidvania.
Yep.
I'm sorry that it didn't sell as much as Ubisoft wanted to, but it didn't take anything away from how good of a game it is.
hmm
It was yet to be mentioned in 3 articles from major gaming outlets.
Well, they suck. That's
Yeah,
the
it was-
conclusion.
like
They
it
don't know what
wasn't
the hell
even
they're
on the
talking about.
list. It wasn't even there. It wasn't even like honorable mention. It's just nowhere to be found, and that blows my
Yeah.
mind.
I know that there are some places that are talking about that, but you're right. It's not as widespread as you would have thought at the beginning of
Yep.
the year. And I think it's just that's what happens with games that come out in January. People just forget about them by the end of the year.
My
So I
But
think
it's
tough.
their job to not forget. I know what
Oh,
you're
I know.
saying. I'm not yelling at you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm getting
Oh,
a
I
little
know.
excited about this stuff. Like you're
because trust me, I did not forget about Prince of Persia, Sean. Let me
well,
just
of
throw that out
course
there.
not. Like anybody with half a brain can like think back to what happened. If I'm going to think about all the games in this year, the year starts with January. Just check.
Yeah.
Like it's. I can't. This is where I'm like, I get off the train with mainstream media and game awards and all. Like Donnie and I we've done full episodes on this stuff.
And
That
then
is
exactly,
unacceptable to
We're
me.
doing the same thing we've done every
year.
right?
Yep.
Every year. Like this started for me with Ori.
Yep.
100%.
And I was like, you guys fucking suck.
Yeah.
And right now I've looked through 4 articles and I'm now scrolling through Push Square. And it's all the same. Like a Dragon.
Yeah, because they copy,
Helldivers,
copy each other.
Helldivers was a giant thing. That was a big deal.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking through all this stuff. Tekken 8, there's the first one.
I love that game. It's so good.
So my favorite game of this year, my game of the year, and I'm somewhat biased, I understand. Echoes of Wisdom is yet to be mentioned on 4 or 5 of these articles. It's not even on there.
Yeah. Fart in the wind.
I'm
Gone.
barred until 2025 before I play that game.
It's blowing my
excited to
mind. I'm
play
like, you're not even gonna put it on. It's not even like the token Nintendo mention. It's just not on the list. It's not mentioned.
Bet if you
alone,
played
like,
as Link,
we're
it
gonna
would be.
put it there and not talk about it, right? Like it's not gonna win, but we're gonna put it there. It's just not even there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
but
the
I've
kind of
I've
stuff,
heard
like-
people be very hit or miss on that game in particular. Like there are a lot of people out there that are just like they're not really interested in that style of Zelda game where it's very, very different because it's very puzzly, right? And
It is.
I know that frustrated some people more than others. So
So
I
I
think
feel
I
like
think
I'm
that
not
that has to do with it more than
I'm
anything.
not all that interested in a lot of these games. A lot of these lists.
Yeah.
have.
No, but that's my
Like, with
mantra
these
though,
style of
Donnie.
games,
It's
I'm
like
like, I'm not
you
very
should
interested
you
in
should be
these
playing and
games.
celebrating the games that you love. That's
Oh,
one
I'm
of the
going to. Yeah, we're gonna do
You
our
should.
thing and stuff. It's just
yeah.
I can't wait.
it's just you can't like for me the analytical type that I am, where I compare and contrast and think things through. It's hard not to see the discrepancy.
Of
Oh
course.
yeah.
You know, like I'm looking at my list. I've got 30 games here because I kind of rank them as I go through and play them, and I'm thinking about things like Cat Quest 3 and New Star Grand Prix and college football and things that like these are the things to me that like made up the year.
100%. Yep.
And they're not even remotely even thought of about by any of these folks that
Well,
have any
those
knowledge.
sites are going away, man. They're literally dying off one by one, and I hate
I've
to see
gotta
people
play
without work.
Balatro. I haven't played it. I need to try it.
Yeah.
It feels like a shoe in for like indie game of the year, right? Everybody seems to love that. damn
Well,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
its competition is Animal Well, and then I would actually wager a game like Arzette actually stands a chance too in that category.
What was it? about?
Arzette, the Jewel of Faramore, which
Never even
Seth and
played
I
it.
both are huge fans of. It's like it's the game that funnily
Fable?
enough tried to be like the Zelda CDI games,
You'll
but
hate it.
actually was
Oh,
super
God.
fun.
Why
Yeah.
would anybody want to
It
do
was
that?
actually it was
Donnie.
so fun to play, Donnie.
I'm so
that-
glad I got to witness that.
That
He
is the
kicked
most
him out.
Ryan
He got.
shit. Did you hear that?
Dude,
No,
I'm like,
listen, it's like the
I knew
Zelda
where this.
CDI
I knew where it
games,
was
and I love it.
going.
Like, why the fuck would anybody want to
Oh
do
my
that?
god, that was amazing.
Ryan,
It's so fun to play though.
take that. No, we're not doing. Take the fucking hat off for one. Jesus,
Yep.
it's so fun to play. The Zelda CDI game.
This is the guy who says the Veilguard is good, Ryan or Donnie. So.
Look, I'm a person of eccentric
Point made.
tastes. Um,
Well made.
yeah.
yeah.
Lawyer.
Now we can't trust anything he says.
that's true.
It definitely just creates some sus, right? It's suspect.
Of course. I mean, I
Goodness.
I could talk about 20 minutes about Metaphor if you want to instead, if that's
So
more
Metaphor, I
acceptable.
get. I look at Metaphor and I see all the Persona stuff and like the new. I'm like, yeah, that looks awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
If I wanted to play a game like that, it looks really great. Unfortunately for that game, not a game I'm gonna play.
No, exactly. Like
But
I
it
know
looks
that's not a
great.
Donnie game.
I have it from the library right now, Ryan, and I haven't because I was playing Dragon Age. I
Yeah.
chose Dragon Age over this, which I had for a limited time from the library. I might just test to see how long overdue I can hold on to a game.
Oh my
maybe I
gosh.
just play Metaphor and just because I can't renew it. There's people waiting for it. They that's what the library's told me.
Yeah.
But
See-
there's no late fees as far as I know.
Yeah. See, Sean, you actually liked Persona 4, and I actually think you might actually like Metaphor.
I think I would too. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do things matter, Ryan, in this game? Do
I mean, there's no
choices-
choices.
Okay.
It's not like Persona.
Are there
Well, it's-
stakes? I guess is another way to say it. Like, is
Yes.
the world ending or something like something that actually seems to matter?
You are trying to become the next king so that another king isn't crowned that then wants to end the world.
That sounds great.
Yes.
What does Dragon Age got? They got these elven lords, gods things that like they
They're
just made up on the spot. And also there's a blight. We'll throw that in there as well because you remember that from the previous games.
Sean, I'm just gonna throw it out there. Metaphor has dragons in it.
It sounds good to me.
Just saying.
The dragons were the least interesting part of Dragon Age.
Yeah. But it's in
Who
the
cares
title.
about the dragons? Oh,
It's
there's a
in the
dragon
title.
here. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's the archdemon and the blight and the gray war. Oh my god. Dragon Age, it's so good, and they forgot all about it, and they got these bland characters that are ripped right out of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh no, not Concord 2.0.
No,
It
it's
is.
not as bad as that. It's not as bad as
I don't know.
Concord
It
2.0.
sounds a lot like it compared to like Sean. Like,
Same
that's
cloth.
All I'm hearing. All I'm hearing is that video of Sean watching Concord.
Oh my god, dude. When it hit me, I was streaming it, and I'm like, any one of these characters could have said any one of these lines. They could
Yeah.
all say the same thing. Like there's no my throat's getting a little sore just complaining about it so much.
Yeah. I still can't wait, Sean, for us to sit down and have a conversation about that.
There's like, oh, there's a romance option. Do you want to flirt with this character? Like, they're so uninteresting. They suck. This character sucks.
But Sean, you could romance them and learn more about them.
It sucks.
It's every time I say that, I think of Donnie. I was pairing, like, I think I was talking about like pairing Nintendo controllers. I'm like, this thing sucks, and Donnie really took issue with that. Like my use of the word sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, did you figure out your game sharing play?
Yeah,
You
so
talking about
I
it?
what I realized what you guys were all saying is like just let the kids use my account on
That can be the
their
primary. Well, you can do that, or you make their console the primary console, and you be the Wi-Fi check-in console.
right, but they
Then they can
each
use
will
their
have
own
their
profile.
own. I can't make my account primary on two, like
Oh,
on each
right,
of their
yeah.
Switch lights.
Yeah.
So,
So
that's
the-
okay.
The trick I'll tell you, and the trick to teach them, is what helped me and Jack for years, is that when they go start a game, they're gonna get the little searching thing, right? It's a DRM check. It's like, are you online? Good.
Yeah.
Once you get past that screen and the game begins to load, put that console into airplane mode, then you can play the same game.
Right.
different
But
console.
that's them playing on my account.
Correct. But all
I don't
three
want them to
play
do
at
that.
the same time. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
I don't want to mess with save files and
My
stuff.
I
cartridge
was just about to say they would probably mess up your save files, and
So
that would
what-
drive me nuts.
Yeah.
So what I did, because Jack uses my profile to play a lot of game share, what I did is I turned off the automatic backup and sync, so it's just manual.
yeah.
And he doesn't know any better, so I'm the only one that goes into the cloud and is pulling things down and uploading. So it's just a manual process
Yeah.
of when I'm backing up and saving.
You're a smarter man than I am. I can't keep track of this kind of crap.
I got you.
I'll probably just
Well,
end
then
up
buy
buying
cartridges. Buy
Cat
cartridges.
Quest 1 and 2 for Ellie on her own account. They'll start their own libraries at this point.
Well, if you buy cartridges, then you at least share the cart.
That's what I have been the whole time. Like
Yeah.
for the most part, this is a non-issue. It's just I actually already, so I may have already actually accidentally broken my vows, Ryan, because I did buy Cat Quest 1 and 2 because I was gonna try and let Ellie play it, and it turns out
Nice.
she's not gonna be able to play it on my account. So
But that's not your fault. You bought it for her. That was the whole reason you bought it.
yeah, it was a gift for like 100%. So anyway, it not a really a big deal. Anyways, it was like $7.
As far as I'm concerned, and Lockleth isn't here to correct me, so I'm just going to go ahead and say, Sean, I feel like you're let off the hook because that's not on you. You didn't
Well,
buy
again-
the game for yourself to play it.
I agree. Yeah, and it was obviously an accident. But what I will say, and spoiler for the episode with Nagachaka that's coming out on Patreon very soon, I'm worried I won't make it throughout the whole year. Nagachaka is like ringing bells, like we made it. I'm like, dude, it's November 16th. We still got like there's Steam sales coming. Like there's Black Friday. Like I'm not all the way
want to
there
know,
yet.
Sean, why he's in such a good mood about that though? Because he bought way more games this year than you did.
He bought more games this year.
Yeah, he bought like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and some other ones, like because he had like clear stipulations, like this is the list of games I'm allowed to buy this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I have to figure out something for next year. some
Whereas
sort
you
of
bought
weird
you bought
gimmick.
Space Marine, but like because you were contractually obligated to do so.
Yeah, but it was gifted. I didn't use
Oh.
my own money for it. That was
Well, then
gift
there you
cards.
go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That didn't, guys. I snuck by. I had a couple close calls, man. Had a couple close calls. I was excited for Star Wars Outlaws and got a code for that, so that was very lucky. Gift cards for Space Marine 2, thanks to the Royal Rumble, which honestly, Donnie, we're gonna have to do that again. You know?
Moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
I
a
think you should
moment.
draw it out of a hat this time.
So
You
lame.
should.
Like we do no like we do the superlatives.
Oh,
for
to
the-
assign them to the place.
but the one but the one that you have to buy or whatever, like the one you just pull out of a hat. Unless you
Oh.
want, or the opposite thing is, well, no, pull it out of a hat. No, pull it out of a hat.
What were you
or-
gonna say?
I was gonna say, or you make it 15 again, but like surely they're not gonna make the 15th person win twice in a year, like in a row.
Sean, I feel like you should make a wheel of all of the numbered contestants and then spin the wheel and then that's what's assigned. It's
Yeah,
like
but the
spi-
problem is
drawing
by
a
the
hat.
time you try to fill out the bracket, you have so many duplicates. Right, that'll take forever.
Yeah,
I don't think
there's
so.
copy paste now.
The superlatives we can assign to spots, but the question is, like, we have to have one. Are you going to do? Okay, hang on. Back
Yeah,
up.
let's get this straight.
Let's get this real.
In 2025, are you allowed to buy games?
Yeah.
Is this like a 1-year thing? Okay.
Yeah.
So then we need to pick a punishment then. So that was the whole
Hmm.
point. The whole point was that this one slot would go against Sean's convictions.
I
and
see.
it
I
could
see.
tip the fate of the universe.
Yep.
And
Yep.
So like, what game that Sean wouldn't want to buy or play? And then that
Mm.
be on the wheel. Like that, we need to put that. We need to assign that to a slot.
Not only that, we're gonna monetize this actually, and I will listen back to this and write this
Ooh,
down.
That's very good.
People can buy a spot and choose the game that goes into the
that's
spot.
even better.
Yeah.
Can I buy a spot, and make you buy an analog 3D?
Yeah. Well, maybe you and I, maybe the three of us and or Jace, like we'll have to price them out because some of those, like the 30th spot can't be worth as much as maybe spot number 4 or
I'm
something
gonna put
like that.
Donnie spot
Yeah.
10. Sean has to buy an analog 64.
That's what I mean. Like that.
Yeah.
That
Gotta
would
do it.
be.
That's a great extra life thing. It really is.
No, I want money, like cash money. Like this is going.
No.
Fuck them kids.
Jared. It's for
Oh my
me.
god. Oh my god.
This shit's for. We did extra life. We did 10 grand, man. We did our job.
We
We
did
did a
enough.
good thing.
We did enough.
We
for
did
the
a good
chat.
thing. This one's for me.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Also, for all your listeners, you probably didn't notice it, but I'm just sitting over here like Mr. Burns, like pressing my fingers together, like
Yeah.
in anticipation for filling up Sean's list
Sean
of
has
like
to-
all these games that I know Sean doesn't want to buy that
Sean
I
has
can have
to
the
beat
power to make him buy.
Castlevania 64.
Yeah.
Dude, no, don't ever make him do that.
I'm telling you guys, like, that we could put a price on this, and I think it would be great. Actually.
Sean has to play and beat Bubsy 3D. It's coming out in the
This is a
Bubsy
good
collection
idea,
next
you
year.
guys. Oh,
That is
I
a
like
good
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so random just assigning to it. Like that we can't that moment was so organic.
I know. Like the one game.
It was
okay.
perfect.
It
And I
really
put it in
was.
the
Like,
middle.
isn't it?
It was just like it has its equal odds. It's right in the middle. Like
Yep.
surely it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And
The
fucking
one that
does.
I didn't own.
and, like we knew it. Cody came. We're like, oh,
Oh my.
like I know that you know that feeling. I know that Jason. Like we saw. We're like, oh shit, it's fucking Cody Rhodes.
From the top turnbuckle.
Dude,
Right,
that's
like, it
that's
wouldn't have
top
felt that
moment of the
way at
year.
all if it was like it's Johnny Gargano. People like who? Like, of course that's not gonna win, but it was Cody Rhodes. We're like, oh shit.
That's Space Marine. I wish there was some AI tool that would like pop the image of the game on
Oh, like,
top of
over
each.
people in real time.
Yeah, just watch
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
games wrestle each other. That would have been amazing.
Oh, what a great game too. Fucking Space Marine.
Space Marine. Hell
So
yeah. Where's
good.
that on these lists?
It's on number
I haven't-
5 on my list.
I haven't played that game. I don't know.
Oh,
Oh, Ryan. It's
guess
just,
what? You and all these fucking journalists have votes in this fucking category because
Look,
it should be on the goddamn.
I want to
list.
play it at some point, but I only have so
'Cause
much
it's
money,
good.
Donnie.
Oh, it's so
I,
good.
I'm
Are you
only
allowed to
just
tell him,
playing
Ryan?
the Lord of the Rings, the Return of the King.
He's probably
set.
not
Oh no,
allowed to
that
mention it.
also that is a great game.
That
I'm
is a
with
good
you
game.
there.
Sorry,
Those
you
are
were saying,
great
Sean?
games.
Before
I
we
don't
go?
know if you're allowed to mention your involvement, but or
Can't
not. Okay.
In a month or so, I
Mm,
can.
Okay. Well, Space Marine 2 is a special game. And I want to get into like the endless mode of it. I want to keep playing it. I want to just I don't know what I'm doing with my life, you guys. I want to do all these things.
Yeah.
That's
There's
how I
only
feel.
so much time. Like, that's the thing. Like, there's only so much time to play all these
That's,
Yeah,
games.
you-
I
that's
have
the
a lot
feeling.
of games.
It's like
yeah.
Like,
I'm
Sean,
on this hamster wheel of all these new releases that come out, but it's like all I really want to do is fucking play Mario Party 2
Play
and Blitz and
StarCraft.
shit.
I mean,
Yeah,
Sean saw my wheel, the wheel that I put together of 174 games that I've never played before or and whatnot, and spun the Wheel of Fate. But like, because I spent half the year playing stuff like Bill and Ted on NES or Felix the Cat or just weird stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because like,
Stream
I
it,
just wanted to play
Ryan.
this one.
Stream it. Both you weirdos play these games for the internet to enjoy. Come on.
That's where I'm at. Like I have Silent Hill, and
Yeah.
I'm getting other games, and I'm just like, but I don't want to play it right now. Like
Look,
Call of Duty.
Some nights I just want to.
I'm with you on Call of Duty.
And I love Call. It's one of my
Same.
favorite games, and I'm sure it's amazing, but I don't want to play it right now.
This year
Yeah,
in
but
particular, this one's Call of Duty is apparently really good, and I haven't played it yet.
I'll probably play it on Thanksgiving, like when I'm not worried about work and I can sit down
Ooh,
and like
good
just
idea.
do something.
Yeah.
You know? Or like maybe Christmas break. Like that's like I want a break to do that, but like right now it's not what I want to do. What I
Yeah.
wanted to do was play Ready to Rumble Boxing 2
Yeah,
on 64, man. I mean, have you played it? It's great.
I haven't played that one.
I like that
quit
one.
watching Jake Paul fucking get into Ready to Rumble Boxing, get in the ring.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite launch games for the Dreamcast. Was Ready to Rumble Boxing.
Yeah.
It was so
Yeah.
fun on the Dreamcast.
Now see that would be the one. I would
Yes.
pop for a Dreamcast too.
At least the
If
Dreamcast has some
Analog
good
did a
options available now.
Dreamcast, or if Sega did a Dreamcast Mini, I would pop hard for one.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for
sport-
it.
The sports games alone would get me. Like literally
Oh.
just the early 2K. That's such a moment for me. I would buy one just for those games.
Yeah.
At least the
Fucking
Dreamcast
tennis.
has some good options though, as far as if you want to use like standard hardware. Like if you use the VGA out on the Dreamcast,
Yeah,
it actually looks really good.
And emulation for
multi-games.
Dreamcast is really great.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
too.
so that's also true.
And I mean, you don't have to worry about Never Drive because
yeah,
it's
but
the
I want the
Dreamcast. You
controller.
just burn your own discs.
Especially not that they would, because they would make it super cheap. But like if Analog would, but Sega wouldn't. But like if Sega made like a Dreamcast Mini that had a controller that had like some sort of, it didn't even have to work. Like if they did the Xbox, remember the Hyperkin Xbox controller had like the little screen. Like
Yep.
if they could do the VMU thing on the controller, that would be so awesome. Like I would buy it just for that.
It would sell as many as the actual Dreamcast sold.
It would. Funny thing is, it'd probably sell it by like 10 times.
It
Like a
might.
Dreamcast Mini in today's climate would completely outsell the Dreamcast.
People have really turned around on the Dreamcast. People
Yeah.
now actually really like the Dreamcast.
It's one of my favorite NCAA games. Is NCAA football
Ooh.
2002, I think, on Dreamcast.
Yeah.
I played Code Veronica on Dreamcast.
I love
Resident
my
Evil was a big
Dreamcast.
part of my Dreamcast time.
I love DDR,
Sonic, of
Dance Dance
course.
Revolution.
Sonic, several golf games, 2K,
Yeah.
like just great
Skies of
stuff.
Arcadia,
No,
Crazy Taxi,
yes,
MDK2.
MDK2.
but not. I was never a Shenmue guy.
Oh, me neither.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw people lose their minds and cry when the thing. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Where are y'all?
Yep. They were the same people who were right in line for Shenmue 3 when they announced it as a Kickstarter.
I played Shenmue 3 and I'm like, oh, what the hell is this?
This is your thing? Yeah,
This
I've-
sucks.
My whole opinion the entire time. It's like,
Sean, what the hell?
are
Why
we
did you
losing our minds over?
why did you play Shenmue 3?
I had a
more what I'm
code.
confused
There was a guy, I don't even, his name's Alex. Shout out to Alex. But
Shout out
turned
to
out he's a PR dude for like Deep Silver and a bunch of other things. It was like, it's actually a really good connection. I don't know how he found me, but yeah, he got me a code for that. And I actually ended
Oh.
up, I don't know if anything ever happened from it, but I ended up connecting. I'm like, you actually should be talking to Gabe Patillo about Shenmue, man. Like he's the one who loves Shenmue
Yeah.
Saturdays. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know that Gabe was really all that into like working with PR or anything like that. I don't know if that was much of anything that they ever did, but yeah, tried to like that was really the person who should be talking about Shenmue.
Man.
Yeah. There are some Shenmue diehards out there, but I am, as much as I love Sega, I'm not one of those people.
Yeah,
Okay, do not count amongst them.
nope.
I'd
What are you looking
rather
up
play
there?
Lords of Thunder on my Sega CD instead of playing Shenmue.
I want to watch Lord of the Rings extended edition. I've proposed it to Chelsea a couple times this last week or so because it's end of the year, it's Christmas time basically. You know,
Sure.
it's which means Lord of the Rings. She's not interested, you guys. I'm gonna be watching this movie by myself.
No, Sean, I have a better idea. Why don't we watch the Lord of the Rings in the Discord together?
Oh, we should do a watch party. Yeah.
yeah, that'd be fun.
Oh, that's a good idea. I still have to do the Star Wars prequels. Actually, somehow Lachlan is like 2 movies into these things.
What?
She's already watching them.
in anticipation for you talking about them.
Like on her own, like it just sort of happened. I guess she was already gonna do it. So
I can't wait for that. By the way, I can't wait for you to talk about those. On the
I already
podcast.
know what
It's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
say. The second one, not as bad as you remember it. At least for me. The second one, I think, is not awful.
awesome. Yeah. No, it's really. I think it's only Phantom Menace that's actually the truly awful one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll find out. I'm gonna review it. Apparently,
Yep. You told you because you
Have
said
you
you
never
said you
seen
would.
I've seen them before, but I
Okay.
as a goal for
Okay,
Extra
good one.
Life, I'm forced to
I got
watch
you.
them and create content about it.
Yep.
I got you.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm so confused.
I have so much to do in December because of Extra Life.
Well, I also have my 2 streams I have to do too, Sean, because I have to do I'm doing the Pepsi Man stream where I play as Pepsi Man, and then I'm doing a Sailor Moon stream.
Oh
as well.
yeah, get on that.
Yeah. I mentioned they're going to happen over the holiday break in December.
Excellent. Good. Good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because yes, the world needs to see Pepsi Man. They need to see that full game played through by some dude wearing a Pepsi Man outfit, and that person will be me. It's gonna be great.
We need more Ryan streams. We need Donnie streams. We need to see
I just
Yeah.
streamed this week though. I did a Mega Man tier list. It
Yeah,
was great.
good.
It was fun.
more
Yeah.
games.
I mean,
I don't
you
know
never
if
know.
I
I've got Inspector Gadget's Crazy Maze sitting here on my desk. We can play this. We can
Stream
we
it.
can find out what this game's all
Donnie's-
about.
Donnie's face.
Now, I would watch you play some PlayStation 1 wrestling games. Because
Like SmackDown?
but they are fun. Yeah. I
Yeah.
was thinking like Nitro.
I never played Nitro. I the only PlayStation wrestling games I had were SmackDown and SmackDown 2.
Well, that was the good one. Like the SmackDown games were legit great.
Yeah.
There are some really bad ones.
Yeah. Well, that's why I
That
didn't.
are-
And that's why I never bought Nitro because I only heard
There
bad
are
things
some
about
really
it.
bad ones, but that are hilarious.
Right.
Nitro is not. It's not good, but it's not awful. Nitro, it's just like real combo heavy. You have to
Okay.
learn a bunch of combos with characters and stuff. But
Yeah.
it is kind of like a moment, right? Mayhem was like the one that was like, and Backstage Assault was terrible.
Oh my
But yeah, I would like to see somebody play them, especially
Okay.
somebody's never played them. I would watch that. They're very
Yeah.
funny. They've got like FMV files on the character select screen.
Oh, that's
You gotta,
awesome. I
like,
love that.
Press a guide. It's like snap into a Slim Jim. You know, like shit. It's very funny. They talk at you. Yeah.
You're speaking my language, Donnie. Like you just have to mention the game involves FMV stuff, and you
Oh, it's good
instantly get me
stuff.
excited to play it.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. That's why I was so interested in Hellblade because it had FMV stuff in it.
Correct. I was gonna say, I think Saturn would be the next one up for one of these retro things, right?
Oh, here we go.
I would love Saturn, dude. I love the Saturn.
Well, because people want like PlayStation 2, but I think when you get the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube stuff, at least my understanding is that it would be very expensive to try and recreate it at like the hardware level like that.
Yeah.
Whereas like the 64 and the Dreamcast are like just right under like that range. And I was wondering like where Saturn fits into that.
Saturn probably is kind of around the same spot the Dreamcast is when it comes to manufacturing costs or
So
complexity.
I wonder, and I know the Saturn games, having talked to you and having gone to my local game store, the Saturn games are fucking ridiculous.
Yes, they
Talk
are
about
very expensive.
inflation, Sean. There
So
are people selling Saturn games for $400.
I know.
No.
Ryan's told me all
That's
about
ridiculous.
this.
That's
Ryan's one of them.
that's
those are some of the cheaper
absurd.
Saturn games, Donnie.
That's
there are
absurd.
there are Saturn games that are over $1,000 if you want
That
them
should be
complete in
illegal.
box.
I had a Sega Saturn and it was not great.
So the thing about Saturn, Donnie, that you have to remember, and the reason why all the games are so expensive, especially the North American games in particular, is because the Saturn did not do well in North America, and it was a very, very low print run for every game except for the sports games. So as a result, the games are all very expensive. And then what makes matters worse is that the Saturn did really well in Japan, so all the good games are Japan only, which you can import. But people wised up to that over the last 10 years, and they're now all super expensive too. So
I had a Saturn.
yeah,
I owned a Saturn. My mom at the time, I was living in Columbus. My mom was essentially like sleeping with like a gang.
oh jeez,
And like this gang, like they had like a raid, and like half of them got arrested, and one of the dudes that arrested had a Saturn
okay,
and like just left it, and that became my Saturn. Like it was just my
Oh my
Sega
God.
Saturn then.
nice.
And I'll never forget this is how you know this is real. The game that he had, there was an NBA game. I want to say it was NBA Jam, but I never remember. But
There
the
wasn't
game
a
that
on there.
the game that I remember playing the most was Die Hard Trilogy.
Yes, that's a good
Fucking
game.
on Sega Saturn. It was a good,
Ryan.
it was. I remember it being very fun, like running around. It was like almost like Max
it's-
Payne.
It's
Like
3
fucking
different
running
games.
around
One.
doing like yippee-ki-yay and fucking diving and shooting people and shit.
So, fun fact: that game is actually 3 different games in one, based on with each movie in the Die Hard trilogy being a different game. Because like the first Die Hard 1 is like the Max Payne style that you just described, but then
Yeah.
Die Hard 2 is
Yep.
like a light gun shooter at the
Yep.
airport, and then
Yep.
Die Hard with
played
a
all of it.
Vengeance is like Crazy Taxi, where you're
This
driving
is
around
all
the
the stuff
city.
that I played, and this is like what I remember most. And I had like an NFL game that I want to say was like Quarterback Club. It wasn't like quite Madden.
Right.
And then Virtual Cop.
Yeah. Virtual Cop is on there. Yeah.
Yeah. So that
That's
was
a good
like
one.
my Saturn experience. I had like a Saturn experience
Dude,
until I could like get rid of it, and I did.
that's so cool.
But,
Yeah.
like for a while, I had a
I-
Saturn.
Similar to your story where you were talking about how you moved around a lot and stuff, Donnie, like that was kind of my life too growing up. Like, I moved 18 times before I was 18. So like my family would just move all over the place. And around the time we were moving a lot when my mom went to prison was when the Saturn came out. So it's just one of those things where, because I was bouncing from home to home, I weren't really buying new consoles. So I was really bringing kind of like your 64. Like I was bringing my Super Nintendo and Genesis everywhere I went. And those were like the possessions I had that weren't close,
So
essentially.
my 64, I had a toy. Do you guys ever have like I'm sure you're aware of them or seen them, but like we used to sell like the wrestling action figures,
Yep.
and they would sell like the little rings that you could set up to like wrestle the figures in the wrestling ring. My 64 would fit in the ring. It's like the ring was like a box. Like you could lift the mat and put all the stuff, like the turnbuckles, the ropes and stuff in it. And my 64 deck would fit in it. So like I would always put my 64 in my wrestling ring, and then like my controllers and the wrestler stuff in my backpack, and I would like carry that ring around with me. I think it's the only reason I ever kept my 64, just because
Oh.
it could fit in that thing.
That's super interesting, man.
Yeah,
And
I never
crazy.
knew that you moved around and stuff like that. That's crazy. We have
Oh,
like
yeah.
some shared experiences
Oh
there.
yeah, my parents did not want to stay in one place.
Both moms went to prison. Like that's, I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, looky there. Hey, Ryan,
We're like the same
you
person,
get it.
Donnie.
You've seen it.
You both
Yeah.
podcast with me.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, lots interlacing there.
No, we both like Lollipop Chainsaw. This is the
Fucking-
clear line.
They just
between
announced
you
that
and I.
they apparently got a Switch fix coming because it's bad on Switch.
I'm
It's
waiting
real
for
bad.
them to fix that game because like I'm
It's
excited
real
to
bad.
play
Oh,
it.
it's
But
great.
I'm
I'm playing it on Steam, playing it on the Ally. It's amazing on. I imagine on console, it's great.
Yeah.
On Switch, it's real bad.
right. Yeah, because I heard at launch
So-
there were problems on PlayStation and Xbox as well, but I think
But I
they're
have a
probably fixed
physical.
by now.
I got my PlayAsia copy,
Okay, nice.
so I'm all set. I got my
Yeah.
add it to the Suda shelf.
Yeah, it's up there.
So
Like I
Shelf
also
continues
like
to
that
grow.
and Dead Rising. Like I want to really want to play both those games, like the Dead Rising remaster that came out. this year,
Yeah, I
too.
got to play that one too. I haven't got to that one either.
Yeah,
My game share partner on PlayStation has it, so I got to get in there and try that.
yeah.
A lot of these. The thing with the PlayStation is, probably won't have it for long because I definitely bought it for Astrobot, and it was worth it. I loved Astrobot.
Yeah.
But the thing with me with the PlayStation 5, and everybody probably has something like this, especially those of us that like try to have multiple things. It's just not in the rotation.
Yeah.
Like I don't think to turn it on ever. Like I'm never like
Yeah.
I want to play something. Like when I'm like I want to play something, but I don't know what I want to play. I immediately grab my Switch and just start scrolling through. It never even dawns on me like, oh yeah, I have those games over there. It's like I only play the PlayStation when there's an exclusive that like I want to play immediately.
Yeah.
That's when I'm like, go turn on the PlayStation 5. Otherwise, I almost have to be reminded. Like, hey, did you play Silent Hill yet? I'm like, oh shit, I forgot. I bought
I
that
mean-
game over there. Like I don't even know. You know?
Just promise me, Donnie, that before you sell your PlayStation 5, that you at least play Silent Hill first, because that game, I think you actually would really
Like
like.
I think I will, but like honestly, if there was like a killer sale on Silent Hill on PC, like if someone was like, you can get Silent Hill for 20, like I may pay $25 just to play it somewhere. I'm like, I guess because like I bought it honestly because I have a game sharing partner that buys most of the games,
Right.
and I was like, I don't feel bad. Like I'll buy this one,
Sure.
Yeah.
you know, thinking I would play it, and I just hadn't got to it yet. The funny thing is, when I bought it, I did the same thing. I bought Gran Turismo. It was on sale for $20.
Okay.
I've yet to boot the damn thing.
It's
Like,
a fun
the
game
entirety
too.
that I've had this entire console, I've yet to turn it.
That game's boring.
Is it? Oh,
It's
that's
got
something I
cars
was
in it.
hoping to hear. Yeah.
Ryan likes it, so what
Yeah.
do I know? Ryan thinks it's really
I
good.
didn't like
I think it's
motorsport,
boring as
like, at all.
soulless, but
So,
you
yeah,
like Astrobot, so
I also love
Astrobot's
Astrobot too.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
That hurts me, Sean. I'm telling you. If it was on a different box, you'd love it. It's really good. It really is. It's really
Yes.
good.
I mean, I was playing through the speedrunning levels last night because I missed out on them while we were at Extra Life, and they're all super fun. I loved like rescuing the new bots and racing
Yeah.
against the other people on my leaderboard. Like, it was really fun, dude.
It's got really good
yeah, I don't know.
design concepts.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna play Mario Odyssey because I never actually beat that game.
That's a really good one too.
Yeah, I think it's on the whiteboard. I think that
I
one's
was on
next.
everybody's shit lift on Shaq back in the day because I didn't think it was the perfect game,
Yeah,
but it is very good. I do like it a lot.
Yeah. This is the point where I actually defer from you guys because I don't like that game very much.
I like Wonder more.
you love Wonder. Yeah,
Wonder's way better. Well, it's not that I'm not with you. Like, I like Odyssey a lot. But
yeah,
back in the day when it came out, I was giving it a 10, and I really think they were just riding that Switch hype train.
yeah,
Like, I was like, Odyssey's great, like 8.5 great.
yeah.
Like, it's a
I think
really
that's fair.
good Mario.
Yep.
But like, I thought 3D World was better, which is why
I'm with 100% with you.
Same.
And
Yep.
and I've always hung to that. But at the time, like in Nintendo Guru Land,
Yep.
telling people Odyssey was 8.5 was like fucking smacking their kid. People were mad. I don't think
Yep.
I don't think I've ever got heat like that. There was a moment. Dude. I think people were like, "Dude, this guy sucks."
Dude,
Mhm.
Dude, Donnie,
Like-
I'm not even on a Nintendo podcast, and when I would tell people I didn't
People
like
were
that game, people
mad.
were upset. about
Dude,
that.
people were big mad. They were so pissed at me. How could you
Mhm.
say that? It's the greatest. And I'll never forget the argument. I remember the Nintendo Nostalgia guys. They came on as like a guest, and I was like, "So it's the greatest Mario game ever?" And they were like, "Well, no." And I was like, "Well, how many are better?" And they were like, "Well, Mario World and Mario."
I
3."
remember
And
this.
I was like, "So there's just 18 10s in the Mario franchise?"
Yeah,
I'm like,
they're all
"Make it make
10s.
sense." Like, yeah, right. They're all 10s. Like everything's a 10.
Yep.
Like, they
Yep.
can't.
Then why are we even scoring this?
Yeah.
That was the only pushback that I gave them, and
Yeah.
people were mad. Man, I'll never forget.
Yeah.
Kind of miss those days.
They were fun. Yeah, they're somewhat nostalgic for it. It's pretty funny, but I remember, yeah, Bobby himself was mad at me about that one.
Well, Nintendo dads gave it an 11 out of 10, so that's the ongoing joke there. So it's like, what does that even mean, you
Yeah,
guys?
like, it's not a
Like, we're
bad
all
game to
new.
be-
We're all new at this.
It's
you
not
know?
a bad game to be wrong on if I'm wrong on it. Like, I do like it. I do
Yeah.
like it, but I just think it went. I think it was just the Breath of the Wild Switch. It was just that hype. People were feeling it. You know, it was almost like they wanted it to be a 10. Like,
Well,
they just-
anything on Switch, again, it was like coming out of the Wii U era. It's like anything that wasn't hot trash in the summer is like, this is the best thing
Yep.
ever.
Hot
Like,
trash.
that
People
was
like that
sounds
were
like
that with
Burn-
ARMS
Hell yeah.
and Snipper Clips
Yeah.
and all the other games that came out on Switch.
that was it. Like, Snipper Clips was a Snake game. What was that one called?
not Snake Pass.
Snake
Yeah, I
Pass.
hate-
Yeah,
I
like
hate
a
that
bunch of
game.
games like that.
I
Like,
hate
Yeah.
that is maybe my biggest. I bought into the hype.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
All the podcasters were talking about how great, and I bought that. I was like,
Fast
this
RMX.
sucks.
Yep.
Fast RMX is legit amazing.
Is it really?
Oh yeah, no, Fast RMX to this day, some of the best visuals this little console could crank out.
Oh,
Like,
snap.
there
okay,
aren't many
okay.
people that have done games that look better on a Switch than Fast RMX.
Dang.
Honestly, if you want something that plays like F-Zero, this is the
Yeah.
closest
Of course,
you get to modern
yeah.
F-Zero.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
That-
I remember
no,
playing
they-
that
they-
actually-
those people
Maybe I
did-
just make it to the end of December,
Hey,
you guys. Maybe I just
those
start buying
people
games
did
then.
The Tourist, which is another game that I love. And you talk about visuals, The Tourist is great.
Yeah, very cool
Um,
lighting.
Yeah, like they're really good with like graphic, like whatever tech they use or whatever they're very good at it.
Donnie,
Surprised
did you
nobody snapped them up?
kickstart Hatchtails Chicken Wiggle?
I have made fun of you losers about that for years. You don't remember that? I went on Bobby's show.
Dude,
and
it's
was
been a
like, "Dude,
long
you're
time."
fucking idiot.
It's
But it came out. It came out.
Is it
yeah,
good?
yeah.
Is it
Jokes
worth
on
it?
you, Donnie.
It-
I got a
Is it
code
any
for
good?
it.
No,
It got
no.
it got an
hang on.
83.
I told him that like when it was announced. Like, okay, let's roll back the tape. We'll go back in time. before
Yeah.
Sean has
You
his
have
own
to.
network and everything. This is what was your old show called?
If we ran Nintendo.
If we ran into, because I was gonna say it was the Nintendo coffee. What was it?
Oh,
Cup of
Cup
Joe
of
with
Joe and
Nintendo?
Nintendo.
Cup of Joe.
Yeah.
All right. So this is before that. If we ran Nintendo.
Yeah.
I knew
Dude,
you guys
we're
were all-
talking eras here, man.
Right.
Like,
I knew you were all in with Jules, and I like Jules. Don't get me wrong. I and here's how much I like Jules. One, I've went hard for Dementium for years. Nobody even knew what that game. Like I've been trying to tell people,
Yep.
Dementium and Moon,
Yep.
great games. Like
Yep.
some of my favorite 3DS games. Also, I like Soccer Slammers. Like everybody hated that game, and I was like,
Ugh.
Soccer Slammers is pretty fun. You just got to get good at it. But I never liked Hatch Tales. Like I the chicken wiggle thing. Bobby really got the buzz going for that.
you
And
really
he got
did.
everybody going for it, and I got it and played it, and Nintendo Shack at the time, me and Jason Lacey,
Jason
and,
Lacey.
he was all in, and I played it, and he played it, and we talked about it. I was like, yeah, I just thought it was okay,
Yeah.
right? Like I don't hate it. I was just like, it's fine. Like I don't want to I don't never need to see this again. Like it was just
Yeah.
filler. And to see all of the hullabaloo and the buzz and the fuss about Hatch, I was like, what? Y'all are losing your damn mind trying to kickstart this thing? And Bobby brought me on. He was like, you got to get behind this, bro. And I was like, I definitely am not. And honestly, there was a time Jules blocked me. And I was
Yeah.
like, dude, this sucks because I really like your shit. Like, I'm one of the few people here that knows what the fuck Renegade Kid is. These are all Johnny come latelys.
Yeah.
And like he blocked me for a while, and I told Bobby, I was like, look, man, I appreciate what you're doing. I think it's cool. I was like, it's just not for me. Like, I just don't like Chicken Wiggle. So I have thoroughly enjoyed watching this drama play out over the year, like just laughing. And I remember, I don't know how long ago, it was 6 months ago or whatever. It was like, it's coming out this month. And I remember I hit the podcast and I was like, wouldn't the funniest thing be to delay this bitch? And it did. And
It did.
I was like, oh my God, there's no way.
Yep.
Oh, it was the best. It was so funny. But I do hope, because I think Brendan, who has been with us like since the beginning, was there with Bobby. Like I
Yep.
think he's been one of the folks that really backed this thing, and he was one of those folks that jumped on that bandwagon with Bobby.
Yeah.
So I hope for the folks that bought it, I hope they love it. I hope they do. And maybe
I
it's a
haven't
lot
even
better
played
now than what it was. But I had a 3DS, and it's one of those games I played for like an hour and a half and like uninstalled it, and never played it again.
Yep.
You know, to me, it's like a mobile game. Like I don't want to play this. This isn't Zeo Drifter. This isn't Moon. Like
Zeo Drifter's really good, man.
Zeo Drifter is great. Like this isn't that, and that was my only ever opinion on that. Is like this isn't good.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
Sorry,
Nope.
Jules. You know, like it is what it is.
Yep.
But I like Soccer Slammers.
Oh,
know,
Soccer
just-
Slammer sucks.
It was hard to grasp, but like in an old school sports game way, when you got a hold of it, it was fun. Like there is
Yeah.
an arcadiness about it. Like I remember I got into a groove where I really started running up the score on people. I was like, oh, this shit is kind of addictive.
Mm.
But there was a learning period there. It's like a punch counter punch thing
Yeah.
with that
Okay.
game.
Yeah.
that you got to kind of get used to. Because if you just
Yeah.
go trying to like Mario Strikers it, that game will kick your ass.
I'm pretty
You'll
pretty
lose
sour
heart.
on everything out of that dev these
out of
days.
Jules. Well,
I mean,
they
and,
lost-
and a lot of it is just because of the whole Bobby thing too.
of course,
Like it's just like it just
I get it.
sucks.
A lot of what I liked about them, I felt like was lost when his partner died and Renegade Kid went away.
Yeah.
Like none of the things that they're doing have sense. Feel like what Renegade was.
I didn't know his partner died.
Yeah, yeah.
I know
so,
they
so,
split,
like,
but I didn't realize that.
no, he died, and then like I think his wife was like holding his side of the company for a long.
Oh,
time.
is that why?
That's why Dementium
Oh.
and Moon never came over for a long time. They had to like work out some agreement and stuff. I maybe have that wrong, but that's what I
Hmm.
think I know. That's my record. I haven't looked into it in a year. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But that was my impression. Was that's how that went down, and I always like Jules. Jules talks his mind, like he speaks his mind, speaks his truth. I always liked him for that.
Yeah.
And I do love those games. And like on 3DS at that time, you know, Moon was offering something we had. Oh, speaking of Moon, I'm not sure if you guys saw. I'll talk about the Shack tomorrow. Ironfall is coming to Switch, which is
I don't know what
another
that
game
is.
kind of in that same, like, this is something I've been talking about for years. There's a game on 3DS called Ironfall Invasion. It's like Gears, but if it was on 3DS, which is not to say like it's not great, but if you had a 3DS at the time, like, this is the reason why I found Moon. there weren't a lot of shooters like that on 3DS. Like you just didn't have many options. So if you wanted something, like Moon was it, Dementium was it, and Ironfall was it. And I liked Ironfall. It's I'm not trying to sell you something. It's not amazing or anything. It was a kind of a barren. Like I'm wondering if they're going to do anything to it besides update the visual. Sounds like it's just going to be upres. But on 3DS, it stuck out, and I always remember it for that. And I'm sure on Switch it'll be terrible compared to the other shooters.
Pretty
but
good look. I'm looking at
Yeah,
I'm gonna buy
gameplay
it.
here.
I'm gonna
What's the heart rate? Is it sensing your heart rate at the
Your
bottom?
health. No, it's your how'd you die. Like
Oh,
your
it's
heart
just
rate
your.
goes
Oh,
down.
okay, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
But you fight like all these like robots and stuff that go around, and they go flying around drones and stuff.
This is insane.
like-
this runs on
it was-
3DS.
It was one of the games that ran off the nubbin, like the C stick.
Yeah, of course.
Used it as a second stick to shoot.
Yeah, it would have to. Yeah.
It
so
even
was like
has
one of,
the
like,
active
I want
reload,
to say it was
like
one of
from
the
Gears.
first, but I don't know. But like one of the memorable first-person shooters, like third-person shooters on.
Yeah,
on
over the
Switch.
shoulder, clunky kind of gears. Yeah, man.
Dude, this looks exactly like Gears.
Yeah,
That's wild.
was-
I've never.
it's
Man,
like this little indie version of what a Gears game could be. And yeah, so I've always had those games, like those games. Whenever we start waxing nostalgic about 3DS and shit, I always bring up Moon and Dementium. I love Dementium, which just came to Switch. If you guys didn't know, they remastered it. And it's Dementium
Yeah.
on Switch. So I've been around with the Renegade Keg brand for a while, and followed Jewel. So I was kind of gut wrenching to be like, I could have just jumped on the Chicken Wiggle bandwagon. Nobody would have thought. any
No,
differently.
you were right, as you tend to be.
But I was like, but it's not it's
Yep.
not that good.
That's a bummer.
So I felt somewhat exiled at the time a little bit.
Yeah.
People were like, oh fuck Donnie. It's like,
No, ahead of the curve, man.
Yeah.
I just look. I mean, I've always just said what I think and just stick to that. And
Yeah.
sometimes I'm right or wrong, but like it is like that means a lot to me. Like when I hit the podcast and stuff, that means a lot to me.
Yeah,
that
it's
folks would,
recorded.
like,
You can
take
go back
that
to it.
serious. Right.
Yep.
Right. And I do
It's
often.
evidence.
I'd be like, hey, don't like I didn't like this was it. And other times I'm like, I was wrong.
Yeah.
I said this and I was like the Xbox thing. I think there was a moment in time where I started to see this and I was like, no, this is great. Fuck console where this is, and like as I started to see more and more of it, I'm like, no, I wasn't. I took the bait.
Mm.
And now I'm starting to rethink all of that.
It's okay. It's all going to change at the Jeff Keighley's. Don't you worry, Donnie.
Yep. Because that award show, it's an Xbox. It is.
The reward show is an Xbox.
The
Just like
award
this
show is an
podcast is an
Xbox.
Xbox.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
You know, they could just make a meme out of all this, like because it kind of looks like one, anyways. I guess.
I mean,
I think that's what
Stein's
the-
already been doing that.
Yeah, I think that's
I've
what people
loved
are
his
doing.
posts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems to
It'd
be the
just be
only like
so
real
ridiculous.
weight of the meme of the campaign is that it's memeable.
Totally. Yeah.
I mean, Xbox loves their memes. That's why they have a fridge console that
It's an
exists or a
Xbox.
toaster.
it's an
So is
Xbox.
the toaster and the cassette player, and
Yep.
I think people's cat. Like there's all somebody was like, my cat's an Xbox, and you
Yep.
know, like
Not a bento box, though. That's just a
Nope.
bento box.
That's
I
a
like
bento
that.
box.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we came full 360 on this one,
there
didn't
was
we?
like somebody put like eggs in a box. And they're like, this is an eggs box,
Oh, I like
my
that.
God.
That's a good one.
and then this
Yep.
is an Xbox.
Oh,
So it was like a
eggs
carton
box.
first
I
as
like
an
that a
X
lot.
box. It was like this is an eggs box. This
That's
is an
just us
Xbox.
making the joke when we had the Xbox Drive fill-ins, Sean, and we referred to him as the Xbox, the Xbox.
The X box. Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
the
Yes.
Xbox.
Yeah.
Speaking
Uh,
of the Xbox,
Segue.
would either of you be interested in an OG Xbox, like a retro or a mini or something, like a nostalgia play on Xbox?
So I, as a huge fan of the original Xbox, would love that. I also think the original Xbox right now is in a really great position to play on your TV. So I'm not, chasing
Yeah,
something
you
like
have
that.
very moddable, the original Xbox.
It is. Not only that
Yeah.
too, but it already outputs in 480p, 720p, 1080i.
Yeah.
Like it already supports really good resolutions as it is, and it's honestly one of the three consoles of that generation, is easily the one that stands up the best on modern TVs. So for me, I would be interested in getting something like that, Donnie, but I don't know if it needs to. I don't know if it's as much of a priority as like getting like a new modded like GameCube or
No, I don't think
PS2.
Xbox don't do it at all. I'm just thinking out loud because I have seen like YouTubers and stuff modding and talking about how great life could be on original Xbox hardware. I've thought about it. I'm like, man, I'm buying an old Xbox.
Yeah, like actually, I don't know if
Yeah,
you've seen some of the HDMI mods for the original Xbox, Donnie, but
Yeah.
there are some really good ones. And again, it scales really well with modern TVs, anyways. So getting like a HDMI mod on it that brings it up to 1080p or 4K, like, dude, some of the stuff you can do.
Yeah, I
with
don't
the
think I
OG
even
Xbox
need
is
all
really
that.
good.
Just, can you get me a nice fat controller in my hand? Let me rip some music to the
Yeah,
hard
get
drive?
yourself a Duke,
Fucking
nice
yeah.
Duke. Play some Fusion Frenzy. Oh man,
Oh, it's so ahead of its day.
Brute Force. You can play some Brute
So
Force
good.
on that. Yeah. There's some really good original Xbox games though, especially again, like the third-party stuff. Like third-party stuff is way better on Xbox than it was
Yeah.
on PlayStation 2 or GameCube.
I'm good.
No,
No,
I'm just.
I have an
feeling
Xbox.
nostalgia.
I don't know. It's still.
We all have Xboxes.
I mean,
right?
I've got
know,
an
but so what
Xbox
do you
right here.
This is an Xbox.
I'm gonna drink out of this Xbox right
This
here.
Xbox is great. It's one of my favorites.
Oh,
fucking-
that is a good
This
Xbox.
literally is the best Xbox. Like 100.
Oh my God, Donnie.
Don,
We're gonna be talking handhelds for a little while. I think, my
Hey,
friend.
I can't wait to
Um,
do it.
I
Let's do that
think
that day
we'll
after
probably have one
podcast.
more episode of Sweet Hangs before I get one.
Okay.
And then probably January. January, I think we'll have some stuff to catch
Can't
up
wait.
on.
We're gonna talk emulation station,
Handheld
like, get
gaming.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
I'm
for
gonna
Sean
miss
to just
work.
fall off the deep end with that.
worth
It's gonna
it.
be great.
I haven't told Ryan yet. Ryan, when we're off the show, I'll tell you what the hell's going
It's gonna
on
blow
here.
your
Okay,
mind when you
okay.
start taking. I'm telling you, like I want nothing less. I want you to go and experience this and come back and confirm or deny my thinking.
Yeah.
Playing Xbox Cloud streaming is best on this, like in this scenario with
Yeah,
the high
I'm looking
refresh
forward
and
to
the
it.
VRR.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. It just is better. It fixes it.
Yeah.
Everything
Well,
just works. It just feels
It's gonna be
great.
good timing because I'm a
played-
week away from buying the rest of my components for my new PC. I need a
I played Game
CPU.
Pass on it through the cloud. And I'm like, I couldn't even tell if this was not like you'd be like, this is on the hardware.
Damn. It's an Xbox.
It is an Xbox. In that regard,
Oh, there you go. Maybe they're
Everything
onto
works
something with
itself.
this.
Well, I thought
Maybe
they would
everything
just-
will work out.
I honestly thought that they would just badge one of these.
Yeah.
Like I'm still waiting for them to be like, yeah, we've partnered with ROG, and this is the Xbox ROG Ally.
Mm.
Well, they're making their
Like,
own though. Phil
they're gonna
Spencer
do their own.
said that they're making their own.
3 years away. Like what the fuck?
They're still making their own. I think that's the play though. They're willing to wait the 3 years or
But
whatever
they
it
did
takes.
it for the Kishi, right? They were like, this is the Xbox Kishi for your phone.
Oh, I really wanted that to kick off. I wanted to want that, but I don't know, man.
Cloud's the future. All in.
Yep.
Fuck consoles.
This is gonna be
those
us playing
mobile
Xbox
players.
soon. Just doing this.
Just pull up a Zune. Do you have
Oh,
a Zune?
dude.
This is-
Well,
I've
like,
seen
this
that.
is
I've
an
seen that
Xbox.
meme. This is an Xbox.
Oh, have you?
This is Zune.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
Mm-hmm. We used to talk about the Zune in the early days of the Xbox Drive. Like, please leave a review on Zune Marketplace or whatever.
Oh my god.
Listen on Zune. Those are some of the that's the
Well,
early days.
I had a Zune and loved it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that is the joke of this campaign and this whole
Dude,
strategy.
one of my favorite things to do, and anytime anybody comes up in my face, which they do all the time, like what the hell? I love telling people that we were well into the the Xbox Drive was around before Game Pass was a thing. We were around certainly before like day and date games. Like we were
Yep.
covering that stuff, man.
Oh, I talk about that all the time. People are like, "Oh yeah, this is Game Pass." Like people forget that like Game Pass launched with like 100 games that nobody gave a shit about. They were
Totally.
like, you can get Kingdom for Catholics. I was like, who the fuck's gonna subscribe for that?
Yeah.
You know, like it took like a year for them to be like,
Oh,
oh yeah,
yeah.
none of this works.
Yeah. You can get Mega Man Legacy Collection available
Yes.
on Game Pass day
Yes.
one
360
when that game
shit.
was $5.
Yeah, it was like Hexic, Kingdom for Catholic. It was a bunch of 360.
It was an
shit.
awful
What
offering,
we
man.
do,
That
like,
was
Yeah.
Geometry Wars
brutal.
on 360 only.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep. I laughed my ass off. It was certainly something.
yeah, it was kind of like met with such a wet fart.
Mhm.
But it was such a good idea though. It was
Oh.
just yeah.
It was.
At the time it was not well executed. Just like when PlayStation Plus did their launch as well. It just kind of had the same
True.
kind of thing. And it's gotten a
no,
lot
I
better.
remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, I do remember that. They came out and they're like doing the plus and oh god,
Yeah.
I'm not nostalgic for like I don't want them to come back, but like I do remember we talk about this all. Sometimes we'll get on these E3 reminiscences. I'm like, you remember they used to talk about like Groove Music and Sony Music and shit. You threw like an hour
Yep. Yep.
dedicated to like Sony movies and shit at these fucking
I miss those days, man. But then again, even if you look back, like the OG predecessor to Game Pass, of course, being the Sega channel on the Sega Genesis, where it was literally you download your games to a cartridge that you had from your cable company that then you subscribe to, and it's great. You play a bunch of different Sega games that you just download. It was super fun. I was doing that shit in 1994.
I want to do a 64 podcast with Ryan now.
We
I'm
should,
telling you guys,
dude.
you-
I
you
could talk
definitely
about
should.
Mischief Makers with you for like
64
half an
bros.
hour. It'd be so fun.
If you guys aren't going to do a damn stream, then you might as well do a little limited run podcast.
I'll do a stream when I get mine.
I'm not. No, I'm not doing that shit. I'll take a
What?
picture of it.
I'll-
I'll
I'll-
send you a picture, Sean. Look how great this is.
Dude, the first thing I want to do with it, Sean, is go on stream and play WCW versus NWO and do a
Absolutely.
Royal Rumble.
Yes.
I'm
And
about
just-
to get
and just
every
stream
one
that.
of those belts all over again.
And I
Like,
wanna see it,
1000%
Donnie.
I am. I'm gonna put the cartridge in and wipe the data clear, and let's do it again.
And stream it. I'm telling you, dude,
From
it
the
would be
get-go.
amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure it would, but not for me.
Nah, whatever.
Yep.
Fuck you then.
We'll boot up. Since Donnie won't do it, I will go on stream and boot up
Yeah,
Beast
see,
Wars
Ryan.
Trans Metals on
Do it for
stream,
Ryan.
and we'll play that blockbuster
remember,
exclusive
like,
video game.
I don't even watch streams.
So what?
I'm just
That's a
pointing
fair point.
like how little like that whole. I'm not even doing any of that.
But
Like I don't even Twitch. Like I'm surprised people do. Like I'm like, why doesn't anybody have? You didn't hear me on Nintendo Music? I'm like, why?
I
doesn't
know.
anybody why does anybody care about? Like none of y'all have premium.
No.
You're all doing this wrong.
I actually have premium, so
Right, it's like
because I'm with you,
YouTube.
Donnie. I actually
Like,
don't.
YouTube, what the fuck's the matter
So
with you people?
here's the thing, Donnie. I also don't watch a lot of Twitch stuff either.
I opened Twitch for the first time. I had to log in last week because Kevin dropped a link in our chat about his extra live stream. I was like, oh, let me go retweet that. And I needed the link, and it's the first time I logged into Twitch in like a year.
Yeah.
It's not.
No,
even, like,
it's
on my-
mostly for me. It's just the fact that I pay for YouTube Premium. It's like, well, I watch most of my stuff on YouTube instead of Twitch.
And I just don't watch.
I
streamers.
should pay for premium. Like, there's
Well,
no
I'm just-
doubt for how much I use YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah, I should pay for
I
it.
Dude.
had YouTube Premium for a decade, and I couldn't even imagine getting rid of it.
Once they gave me that free trial from Stadia, Sean, for YouTube Premium for a year, like I could, as soon as that free trial was over, I could never go back.
It's almost
I
like that
was
would work with Game Pass. God damn it.
You're right.
Yes.
Back in the day, when everybody was doing iCloud for their music with Apple and their what do we iPods? I was about to say like iMusic, iPods.
Yeah.
I had Google Play Music. I put all my music in Google Play because I was an Android guy.
Right.
Yep.
So I don't remember when this happened. I know it was like if I had to peg it like maybe like 2013. I got an invite saying like, hey, in a year or two, Google Play Music's going away and it's gonna be YouTube Music. And if you subscribe to YouTube Music, you get YouTube Premium for free. Like it's all together. You want to sign up for it, and I think they give me a trial or something. And I did that, and I've literally never thought of departing it since.
Yeah.
I never watch any ads or commercials on YouTube ever, which saves me. I can't tell you how much fucking time. And then I also have my entire music library for my whole family is there. All my
Yep.
playlists, everything. Like, it's the whole thing.
Like I was
So-
subscribing to Spotify for a while before I got Premium, Donnie, and as soon as I started subscribing to Premium, I canceled Spotify Premium for that reason because just like it's all my music's on YouTube now.
It would be one of the
like, if I'm on
last
the
things I'd
road.
cancel if I had to. Like if I lost
Same.
my job and everything went away, it would be one of the last things. Like I would literally look at my gas bill or YouTube Premium and be like, I don't
Yeah.
know. I think we can be warm. Like we don't need that.
No, I do the same thing.
Gosh.
Like because I don't subscribe to Netflix every single month. I don't subscribe
I'm not lying to
to.
you.
I
Prime
know you're
every
not.
month.
That's,
Like,
I know.
I at one point I was like, maybe I should do Spotify because there was a period, and I think it still is the truth, but like there was a period there for a couple years where like Spotify was really killing it. They had all these playlists you could share and like the survey recaps, and YouTube wasn't doing any of that at the time. And I was like, maybe I should do that. And I'll never forget. It was in the Discord, and I was like, how do you load music to it? Like, what are you talking about? I was like, well, I got all this like rip music from when I was like
Yep.
a fucking degenerate kid that I still carry. And then
Yeah.
like here's the other part of it. It's like I have a lot of live music recordings that aren't like published. How do I load? And they're like, you can't. And I was like, what do you mean you can't? And they're like, they just
Mhm.
don't do that.
Yep.
You
I was
used
like-
to be able to, and they took that feature
Oh,
away.
really?
Oh, that's
Yes.
even worse.
So that was like a
Yes.
deal break. I was like, so I just can't. So never mind. And I
Yeah,
never thought
I'm
about
totally
it
with
again.
you.
Yeah.
Because Apple Music, you can do that, and but the problem is, I took a 3-month trial for Spotify. I was like, well, I mean, who cares? I'll just give it a shot, and I'll save my whatever $10 or $12 a month on Apple Music, and if I don't like it, I'll go back. And I didn't like Spotify at all, actually. Like
Really?
all those like extras that you're talking about, and of course, like it didn't
It
know
seems
me.
very
Like
social. All
Yeah.
the social music happenings are definitely happening on Spotify.
For sure. And I wanted to kind of see that, I guess. And what I realized is I ended up not wanting to be part of it at all. And so I ended my free 3 months there and went back to Apple Music, and everything was gone because my subscription had lapsed. So all my playlists, all the music I had uploaded from before, like all that rip
See,
music you talk about, I
My-
did the same
my
thing.
iPod to my Zune to my
Yeah.
Android phones, I had carried like 64 to 120 gigabytes of music with me the whole way. And
Yep.
I have not many, but I have, let's say maybe 10 or 15 albums that I bought like at concerts, like albums you can buy like out, like by the
Mhm.
t-shirt stand and stuff. And several of these albums you can't, like, they don't exist.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if you didn't go to the concert and buy, like, they're like recordings of like live shows.
Yeah.
Like one of the ones that I have is I'm a Shawn Mullins fan. A big fan.
Yep.
Actually, I've seen him multiple times. I have a live recording of him in Oregon that he's actually tried to recreate this album like 2 or 3 times over, and he can't. Like, it's the best album he's ever made. It's just him at his best. It was a moment in time, and it doesn't get any better than that. And the idea that I can't load that and listen to it,
Mm-hmm.
like, it's like, no, that's a deal
Yep.
breaker for me. I've carried that with me to this very day. I can go to my YouTube Music and I can go into my download.
You can put it on your Zoom.
Yep.
I can, if I need to, I can put it on my Zune.
What a
And,
device. What a man, like Microsoft, they're so shitty at naming things.
Yep.
The hell is a
yeah,
Zoom?
that's true.
Yep. I remember my brother
I don't
Kyle.
hate the,
He
I
was
don't
a
hate the
huge
name
fan
a
of
whole
his
lot.
Zune.
I really liked my Zune. I really did. I was in the gym and shit hard back in the day with the Zune. It was nice.
Okay.
It wasn't like it was not sleek by any means, right? The fucking thing was a monster.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like a
Yeah.
brick.
I bought a Walkman. Did we talk about that?
Recently?
Yeah. Not like
Oh,
recently,
you
like
told me about
last
this.
year.
Yeah, no, it's not even that recent. This was a while back.
Yeah, no, it was a while ago. It's when I bought the Roadrunner.
Yeah. Yes.
I have a Walkman, which is made by Sony. There you go.
Yep.
Ryan. They're making new Walkmans, but this Walkman is the coolest shit ever.
It is cool.
When you flip it sideways, the screensaver is a cassette tape, and it'll put the name of the band and the song that's playing on the cassette tape, and you can watch it. So what I did is I got a little magnet in the Roadrunner, and I put it on the dash, and that's where I put my music, and it's like I'm listening to the cassette player run in the Roadrunner. People love that whole thing.
That's
That's
Crazy
so
expensive
cool.
for whatever. Guess what? It doesn't run half as good as the Zune ever ran. That damn
Oh,
thing is on
damn.
like Android 6. It is so slow and
It seems
janky.
like something Hideo Kojima would have. Like he always seemed to like take pictures of his like music player.
That
like
is,
a,
yeah, it is pretty hipster. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's some hipster shit for sure.
yeah.
I could
That's
totally
cool.
see me and Kojima having the same fucking music player.
Yeah. Or like a mini disc player or something like that
It
at
does
one
have
point.
excellent quality though. That's the reason a lot of people buy it. Is apparently the quality out, and it has an AI filter that will put like the background hiss and pops of like a record player into your song. So it sounds
Hilarious.
like vinyl.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, it does all kinds of shit like that.
Oh.
It didn't even sell it here. I had to import it.
Yeah. From Hideo Kojima.
Yeah,
Yep.
maybe so.
Directly from his
He
house.
sold it. Yep.
Every
He made it.
Walkman comes loaded with a copy of his podcast that was
Metal
exclusive
Gear
to
Solid
Spotify.
5. Why not?
Donnie, Death Stranding is on Xbox. Don't worry about it, man. Xbox
Oh.
is fine. They
Well,
got
when's Death Stranding 2
exclusivity is dying, Donnie. It's gonna be all right.
When's Death
Yeah, I
Stranding
get that a
2
lot,
on the
too.
beach coming to Xbox though?
Daniel told me this morning, he goes, "This is the way the whole industry is trending." I was like, "What industry?" It looks like one person's trending this way. and
I know,
everybody
right?
else is
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, Nintendo's totally putting their games everywhere
Like,
else.
Where's the
Yep.
industry?
I
You know,
can't wait for
Lego
Donkey
Horizon
Kong.
is on Switch.
That's it.
Yeah.
They're like, they'll pull that, or they'll pull Death Stranding. They'll pull like these ones. They're like, "That's the whole thing." I'm like, "No, it's not. That does not what that means at all."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry
But-
about it. God of War
Maybe-
Ragnarok on an Xbox. It is on an Xbox. It's on PC.
It is on an Xbox.
It's on an Xbox. It's like,
Maybe it will be on the next Xbox. We might be. I don't think they're going to do it, but I want to remain hopefully optimistic that maybe they do pull off this. There's like a Destiny play here for them to make. Like we set out to bring Windows to the living room.
oh snap! No, we're not
Fuck
talking
if we're
about that
not
anymore.
gonna do
No Man's Sky. You're on No Man's Sky, and I'm
Oh,
jealous.
it's so good, Sean.
I'm so dude.
Why,
I've been,
how has it been 3.5 hours before we got here?
hang on.
Because let
a
me tell
second.
you,
This is what
I was
happens when I
playing-
come in here.
I was playing
thanks a
No
lot,
Man's
Ryan.
Sky the other day, and I was like, how the fuck is Sean not playing this game? It is the
Yes.
game. It's the game Sean was describing when
It's the
wanting
game.
Starfield.
I still can't believe it's
Yes.
been this many years and Sean still is not
I talk
just
about
gone
it
down the
all.
rabbit hole. Because you've been talking,
This
Sean, you've
is
been talking
awesome.
about going down the
converted.
rabbit hole for that game
I'm
for
converted.
forever.
Sean, you got to play it.
I think I,
get it.
I just
It's
put it on the
so
whiteboard.
Like,
yeah,
and coming from me, that should mean something. Because
it does mean a lot
game
because it doesn't
that I
seem like it should
wanna
be a
play.
Donnie game.
No. And
Yeah.
once I've fished for like an hour, I'm not going to play it anymore. But like
Oh
I'm
my
already
gosh,
getting
I
like
love this.
missions to go find like the anomaly out in space or some
Hell
shit that I'm supposed
yeah.
to go track down.
Yep,
There's like signals that I'm decrypting and shit.
I
I'm
want
like,
to do that.
I'm playing and I'm like, Sean needs to play this fucking game. Like I get in the ship, I blast into the atmosphere,
Yeah,
I go
man.
through the fire layer into space.
Yep.
I'm like, this is the thing. This
Mhm.
is the thing everybody wants. And they nailed it.
It's one of
Here
the.
I am 8 years later telling everybody what they already know, but
It's
Yeah,
living up to
No
the
Man's Sky
promise
is
of
great.
when they showed it in the first place. Like that was what everyone was so
I
excited
feel like
about
it's
when they first
way
announced it.
beyond what they originally promised at this
Sean,
I
point.
know.
Sean, on this bad boy, that fucker will sing.
Oh snap! On the rock. Oh yeah.
And let me tell you this: if neither of you have tried it, on this, it's not bad. It's
On the
pretty
Switch?
good. It's
Okay.
a good port.
Let's
Like,
switch
I've
light.
played a lot of third-party ports, and most of them are bad.
Let me
And
see.
No Man's Sky might be one of the more impressive Switch ports I've ever played.
Do I have this installed on my PC right
Very
now?
smooth. It looks good enough. Like it's very good.
Installed on
playing-
the PC. I could play it.
I'm playing it on Switch and having a time. And here's the other thing, Sean, crossplay. I could go from Switch to my Xbox. I can go from my Switch Xbox to my PC Xbox to my ROG Xbox.
They're all on Xbox.
They're all
They're
on
all
Xbox.
Xboxes.
I could just
Yeah.
go the whole, and Xbox doesn't count every one of those. That's why their console growth is better than ever.
It's one of those. It's a game that has my attention so in such a big way that I'm like almost afraid to dip my toes in because once I do, like that's a married. We are married,
I
You
think
know,
you're right. No,
so
I
I'm just
100%
gotta live the bachelor life
save it for like
until
your Christmas break.
Nope,
Save it
nope.
for you have like a good runway to really get in,
yeah,
and then you can taper off, like
Yeah,
when life
ooh.
gets busy again.
yeah.
See, Sean, I don't know. I think you should take the approach of if you ever feeling like you need to buy another game this year, just play No Man's Sky instead, because then you won't feel the need to play other games
Do you know what got me?
or buy other games. for the
good
rest
one.
They got me with the fishing.
Dude,
you see the video?
they get every update looks great.
Did you see the video?
Yes.
The video came out and they're like, you can fish now. So all these people fishing all these lakes and shit. And just like, hey, it's like Fable. Fishing's something that'll get me. I don't even like fishing. I don't even
Yeah,
go fishing.
fishing and golf. Imagine a
Have-
golf fishing game.
God,
Oh
could
my
you imagine?
God.
Having grown, I've always talked about an Animal Crossing golf game, but that's
Yep.
we don't have time for that.
I know you don't listen to the Xbox Drive anymore, but I've been screaming about the way they keep updating No Man's Sky, and like Microsoft has Halo, and it's like you guys don't want to like take note, like at all. Like look at this thing. They like in every update matters. It's meaty the way they announce it. Like it's just and it's
Speaking
consistent.
of
It's just
Halo,
relentless.
to that third-person infinite thing that everybody talked about, is it the campaign? Like, can I go download the campaign and play it in third person?
I think you can. I haven't
Okay.
tested it, but I think you can.
When I saw the update, but when I read the update, it sounded like a Forge. I'm not getting into all that. And I was like, is this like a Forge only thing? I wanted to know if maybe you guys had played it and tried it, because like if I could play third person, I
No.
may try the campaign again just to try it.
Google says on the AI overview, it's not clear if third-person mode will be available in the campaign mode of Halo Infinite,
Yeah, I
or if
thought
it will
was
be
a
limited to multiplayer.
Forge multiplayer only thing. That kind of
Mm.
bumped me out. I was like, I could give Infinite another try. Maybe see if all these updates have made a difference.
yeah.
Third person.
Because
Just
like
be
Forge
different.
is fun, but it's like you have very
not trying-
mixed
I'm not
results
trying
with it.
Understand learning a whole new Halo thing. Like I don't know what Like I know what Forge is, but like I don't know how to navigate.
Well, even
it.
then,
I'm
it's just like you're not going to play that by yourself anyways. You need to play
No.
Forge with other people.
no.
Play Halo 4. People should play Halo 4.
It's
But
okay.
yeah, the Zelda. My history of loving Zelda games has taught me to love like fishing and like an adventure game.
Yeah, fishing's nice.
Like if I can just go in an adventure game and like go walk around and find a place to fish, like I'm kind of into that. So when I
You
saw
should
the
play
No
Neon
Man's-
White, Donnie. Play
When I
Neon
saw
White.
the No Man's Sky thing, I was like, fuck, I should probably give that a try.
Yep.
And then I gave it a try, and then it literally, Sean, it took my life over for like 4 days. I played nothing.
Hell yeah, I want to do that.
I was like, holy shit, though, this is really good. Though.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I've been
it-
listening, man. It's like
You
I'm
remember
right
I
there.
jumped into your streams for Starfield, and like
Yep.
we would kind of talk about what it is and what it is, and I still don't really understand what Starfield is, but what I saw you play and what I heard you say is nothing like No Man's Sky,
Right.
and what the things that you were after and wanting is No Man. Like it is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I hate to say that because when that game came out, they were like almost always compared against each other, but now I understand exactly what it's like. Oh yeah, but if you played the other one, like you get it.
Mm-hmm.
And it is kind of crazy that this company like did like I don't want to say ran circles because that would be somewhat dismissive to what Bethesda did, but
Yeah.
for how big and how many resources Bethesda has dropped into this thing, it is kind of crazy how No Man's Sky is like probably doing a lot of that a lot better than they are.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Hmm.
Their DLC that they just dropped wasn't received very well, right? Like I've never played
I
it,
know. Yeah.
but I'm just talking about what I see online.
Yep.
Reddit
That's the part I
reviews,
own.
like-
I own that DLC. I bought that
That almost got me because people were like, "Oh, it's like this very like almost like horror themed slam." I was like, "Oh, this."
That was why I was
kinda my
excited about it too,
thing."
Donnie.
Yeah.
It's very story and lore. I was like, "Oh, it's talking to me," and then it comes out and everybody's like, "It's bland and boring." I'm like, "Oh."
Well, yeah, because the
Yeah.
horror parts was only like a certain section of that, and the rest of it was just more exploring this one planet.
That's
which-
such not, dude. Like market. Oh, I hate marketing like that. It's
yeah.
like misleading. Ugh.
They almost got me, but not in the end.
It
Nope.
But,
sucks.
I'm really happy that I have No Man's Sky on cartridge. I imagine it'll be even better. That's like I've been snapping up a lot of cheap shit on Switch. Like,
Yeah.
if I can find cheap shit on Switch for like, I got No Man's Sky for $14.99
On Switch,
cartridge. It was
So-
on sale.
but you have like a handheld PC. Like why?
Oh, I
what's-
know. Yeah, I could play it for Game Pass at any moment for free.
Yeah.
I know. But I am at my root, my core. I'll never not be a Nintendo fan. Like having a Switch cartridge of something means a lot more to me than
Oh,
having it,
okay.
like literally anywhere else. I rebuy games that are on. I just bought Batman. I own 4,000 copies. I own Batman.
Like the
on
Arkham
every-
games?
Oh yeah, the whole Arkham. I can play that anywhere I want, and I just bought it
Yeah.
on Switch because
Those games are good.
Yeah, like GTA trilogy. I mean, I could open up. Like I've got a shit ton of these. Oh, I bought Sonic X Generation. It's terrible on Switch. It's got this weird
Yep.
frame rate thing. Like I'm just waiting for Switch 2 to play it. But did I buy it on Switch? I did.
Mm.
Because
That game's really fun, but that Switch port I hear only terrible things
it's
about.
bizarre. I was just reading about it today because I got it. I feel like was it 2 weeks ago. Came out.
Yeah, just
Um,
a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
I started playing it, playing Generations. Generations is a great Sonic game.
Yeah.
And I'm playing it and I'm like, something's weird. Like it's smooth, like it feels smooth, but it also feels like it's in like almost like slowed down.
Right.
But it's smooth. It's not like chunky. It's not
Like
like,
almost like Sonic was underwater, despite the fact that
yeah,
it's
like
moving at a
something's
good frame
off.
rate.
And then
Yeah.
I read I got a clip, I got a recommendation YouTube today. Digital Foundry says that the frame rate on Switch is locked at 31 and a half frames a second.
Oh my god,
And that's why it's fucking weird.
that's
Because
disgusting.
that's weird. It feels off. You're like, why is it like this? And the crazy thing is the visual quality looks good on Switch.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that they reported on is apparently some modders with a modded Switch just turn the frame cap off. They didn't mod it, they didn't overclock it. They literally just turn the frame cap off. The damn game runs near 60 frames a second throughout.
Of course it does. So this was an
So why is it
intentional
locked?
design choice. Yeah.
Why is it locked?
Yeah, they intentionally did that, which makes no sense. And I heard the shadow portion runs even worse too. So it's
Yeah,
just
the
like,
shadow
it
portion
sounds
I
like a
haven't even tried
mess.
yet. I'm like, I played it for an hour and was like, this is weird, and literally was like, I guess I'm waiting for Switch 2.
Yeah,
When Switch 2 comes, I'll play Sonic Generations.
no, an Xbox 360 game on your Switch. Yes,
Correct.
of course.
No,
Yeah,
I've got a look. I got a bunch of these things.
See, look at that.
I
Look
need
at
to
all
get
these
one of
guys.
those things, like a little. What would you call that? Like it's almost like a little binder for.
Yeah, it's like you can get these on Amazon for like I think I got this for like $5 like a year ago.
I
Years
should
ago.
get
I've
one
had
of
this
those.
forever. It's just a little thing. It has slots. And I'm
Mainly
always
for
trying to-
travel. Like there's only a couple times a year that I would need that kind of thing. Because I don't like it when the cartridges are not in the case, because then I don't know where the hell it is. It could be
Oh.
anywhere.
Well, all of our games go into here, and then I put the cases in a bin.
Yeah.
But yeah. I for whatever reason, just nostalgia, just bias.
Yeah.
Really, I really enjoy having things. The things I enjoy, of course.
of
on
course.
Switch, physically.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
so I'm doing a lot of these days. I'm buying digital on Steam, physical on Switch. That's kind of what I'm doing
See, it's, man, Ryan, I need to tell you what's going on behind the
Uh-oh.
scenes.
Yeah,
I
I'm
need to tell
excited to hear about
this
it. I'm
ROG
excited.
Ally situation.
We can get out of here. It's 3,
Yeah.
4, like we're over almost 4 hours. So like
Yeah, we
true.
could probably.
We-
That's probably. I think people
it's
like
a long time.
who's listening still.
Someone.
There's 7 people.
Oh,
comment,
like live right now for sure. Yeah. Like,
Yeah, no, there's some people
Kudos to
here
you guys. Hell
still.
yeah.
Comment on
That
the
rules.
Patreon feed if you're still listening at this point. We want to hear from
Oh,
you.
Yeah, I
that would be
wanna
great.
know.
Yeah.
Who makes it to the end of these things? I do. I listen to them back.
The special code word is banana. You have to put banana in your comment, and we'll know.
Well,
That's very
Donnie,
nice
we
of
have to do
Donnie.
this again very soon, though. That we took too long to get to this point, which is all my fault, 100%.
I'm glad. you
And
brought the No
somehow,
Man's Sky, 'cause
4
that was
hours
on my
in,
to-do list.
well, we haven't scratched the surface. There's a lot for us to discuss.
Yeah.
There's still
I really
plenty.
want you to play it. Like it. Playing it was just like, man, this is what you were wanting. It's what you.
Maybe I'll stream it and I'll share my joy with the world.
Being a hypocrite, stream it, Sean.
Maybe I will.
He won't.
I streamed.
Sean streams lots of stuff.
I streamed the Veilguard, and you can watch where I start to realize,
I
oh
wouldn't
shit,
know,
this
Sean, 'cause
sucks.
I don't. You have to ping me when you stream it. You have to let me know you're streaming. I wouldn't know.
I'll ping you. Okay.
Okay. Ping me when you're streaming No Man's Sky. I'll definitely, because here's the thing. My dumbass, I'm not paying, like, I'm barely paying attention to, like, all the shit it is very, I would say convoluted, but there's a learn, you got to learn a lot.
Yeah.
There's lots of, like, it has that mouse heavy UI
Yeah.
where you're, like, dragging things and
Yeah, I
combining
want it.
things and fixing things. Like, I hate all,
Yes.
I'm like, can we just, like, automate this so I can
Nope.
move the fuck on?
I want to click on it.
Yeah. There's a lot of that stuff in there. And
Oh,
like
yeah.
learning like how the different like I had to go find I think salt. Like I was
Yep.
dying and had to find I had to go mine salt to live.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck even is this?
oh, I'm
And
in.
I'll leave you with this one. I was sitting there trying to figure it out the first time I was playing it. Played it for like an hour, just not even paying it. And I go, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like I remember my son played it, and I was like, I don't even know what am I doing. He goes, that's the point. You do whatever you want. He's like, you're not trying to do anything. And I was like, God damn, against school.
Yeah, I got to wrap my head around that. That could lose me. That might be too wide open.
No,
You do,
no,
but you do. There is a story. Like they do have points and stuff that get you going. But
Good.
the first thing was just like survive and live.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
That's
shit,
what I was
I'm
about to
supposed
say. There is a mission structure if you want to like go down the main
You
campaign.
don't even have
And then there's a bunch of side missions you can do too. Like there's
You
structure
can
to it.
Fly off in your own fucking direction if you want.
Yeah. Exactly. Like you can play it how you want to play it. Because I played it as well, like when it first came out, and I played it a lot. Like I played like 50 hours of it and really enjoyed it. But it was like when I did finish everything, it was like, well, now I have to make my own fun, and that's where I kind of fell off a little bit.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm not usually very good about that, but we'll see.
Yeah.
It looks really cool. I just want to fly around in space. I get my
Oh.
spaceship and just go
I have
explore.
no doubt on a PC or a good console, that thing's gonna look 10 times
Oh.
better. It's like, it's gonna
I
look
got this
amazing.
super crazy ultra wide screen, man. I've been waiting for
Oh,
that.
God.
Yeah.
We're talking about biomes and atmospheres. And
Oh, biomes. Yeah,
fucking-
give me the
yeah, like
biomes.
gas levels, and you're scanning new species and shit. And
Yeah.
I played for hours before I ran it. Like, and I did run into a part. I was like, oh shit, there's people here. Started talking
Oh, yeah.
to people. I was like, yeah, it's good stuff.
Okay. Okay.
I remember
Maybe-
playing that game when there were no people in it. That's
Might
so
have to sneak into that and sneak that in before the game of the year chats, because game of it's not game of the year. It's like game of our year. It's like game of like it's been a year and we pick a game. Like
That's why I
That's-
like
that's-
how
that's
we
how
did
we do it.
Do it, Sean.
Yeah.
Like I like the fact that it's just open and we can just be
Hell
like, what
yeah.
games did we like?
yeah, Celeste will be my game of the year. You know what I mean?
I think it'll be Amanda's
Hey.
game of the year.
If it wasn't, if I put like older games that weren't out this year on my list, like Half-Life would be fucking right.
Oh,
there.
hell, that's what I
Like,
need. Bring it.
I had a Half-Life
Bring it.
year, man.
Yep.
Like it was a
Yep.
big deal for me. I was like, oh shit, I discovered Half-Life this year.
Yep.
Where the fuck was I? I'm fucking.
Oh,
playing old
Half-Life 2
copies
is
of
like
shit.
free on Steam right now, I
I
think.
just added it, and I was just telling the folks, I was like, I might sit down and watch this documentary. Maybe that's the
Nice.
the match. That's like, go back and do more Half-Life stuff. I've been
Yes,
waiting.
sir.
I was gonna do what's the one where you reverse roles and become the bad guys?
Oh, there's there's Blue Shift where he plays the
Counteroffensive?
cop. Yeah, there's a bunch, dude. Hang
There's
on.
like
I've
the
got-
one. So I was told where you play Half-Life, and then there's like an episode where like you play Half-Life again, but you're the cops and not the.
Yeah,
The
so
Blue
there's
Shift
counter-
is with the cops. Opposing Force is
opposing
the
force.
bad
that's what I was
guys.
thinking of. Yeah.
So I thought I was gonna do that next, but maybe I just jump in on this hype and just do Half-Life 2.
Half-Life 2 is a pretty serious upgrade over the
Yeah.
first one.
Mm.
Like it's a way like bigger.
Because I did kept going. I played Original Sin. I've played a bunch of these things, man.
Oh, I think you'll be impressed like at the leap with Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
See,
And the 2 episodes for
2025
Half-Life 2 are also really good too.
2025 might be more of the same. If I can play
Do
60
that. Hell yeah.
games and Half-Life
Yeah.
2 and shit.
Do what makes you
Yes.
happy, man. You do
Mhm.
you, Donnie. That's the way I
Assassin's
say
Creed
it.
who? Like I'm over here playing Half-Life, man.
Yep.
The shit everybody played 30 years ago.
Yeah, do it. I mean, playing. Dude, look, they remastered Warcraft 1 and Warcraft 2 and Warcraft 3.
pretty
I mean,
excited
playing
for
that,
that.
Dude,
soon.
I can't freaking wait to play those again.
Dude,
Like
we
How
I
is that
have
not
them
coming to Game
installed.
Pass? That's
I
a
thought it
day and
was
date.
World of Warcraft. I didn't know it was any different.
I know that was
No,
such a great like. I think was it Dev who clarified that for you? It's like,
that's not even the right thing, Donnie. I was, oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Warcraft.
I don't
But-
know.
Sean, they also fixed Warcraft 3 Reforged as well.
I
'cause
saw that.
That was a big problem as well. Like I can't wait to play all 3 of those games again because
I didn't love-
I
I didn't
played
love
those back
Warcraft
in the
3.
day.
That was not for
Ooh.
me.
Aw.
It's pretty different. Like that's where like the MOBAs and that stuff kind of like starts to
Yeah,
come
because
in.
you got like the hero element to it that's kind of changed up the formula from StarCraft.
Yeah. No, I just want my orcs and my humans and orcs
Yep.
battling it out.
That's it.
Yep, that's it.
Yep. I miss the undead though. I wish the undead or the night elves were in older games because
Yeah.
I like those 2 factions, especially
Good
the undead
stuff.
because they really remind me of Zerg.
Oh man, Warcraft 2. Bunch of ogres getting all bloodlust. You got 9 ogres. They're all got bloodlust on. And then
Yeah.
you go wreck shop. Oh, Donnie, that's good stuff, man.
And then
That
they're
is-
wearing pirate hats because for some reason it's pirate themed.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Got me with that one, Ryan.
Yeah, Brian loves that.
I was gonna cut it right at the ogre thing, but it kept going. I was like,
Blah.